Signing for Ozarka or what?
Yeah, man.
No, I'm trying to be responsible, dude.
I had most of you dudes texting me on the side going, hey, is everything cool? Everything all right? So fun.
That what?
Let me go get that thundermax hat too. The red one? They're the same. Sacks are matchy-matchy on that hat, boy.
Yeah, like I can't be this candid with just anybody. There's a reason why I can be full transparent with you.
Shit, yeah. I think we got it live on Facebook and YouTube right now.
Okay.
We'll put this in the performance bagger page.
What's that? Oh, Facebook thing.
Are you trying to put your helmet in here too?
Okay. Why are you doing that? You are the only one who rode, so you're the real backer.
Yeah. We'll see what it looks like. If it's distracting, I'll take it down.
Do we even have a place to start with this?
No.
We got to keep this. We got to get through it.
One thing I thought of is
Do we have a time limit?
pull your camera roll up.
4 hours.
Not necessarily that we're showing pictures, but just kind of keep a timeline. Like, that's an easy way to do a timeline.
Yeah, right.
This is more than likely you snapped a
Yeah, unless
picture.
you lost your phone.
Oof.
Oof.
You can put the video thing on.
Let's see, lost your phone. You right. Found it at least.
That picture of Jacob and John at the shop with the same flannel. He said, it looked like one fat guy with two heads. And Jacob kind of had the blinking white guy face, like.
Let me check something.
She got my hair braided for this, boys.
You didn't?
No, I wasn't thinking about
Dude, why you be lying to us and say you're going to cut your hair?
I'm kind of tired of this. After like a week, 2 weeks, I'm tired of it. I probably will cut it off this weekend. Go full burr and start over.
It's all good, though. I saw you was pulling.
What should my next haircut be? YouTube, you tell us.
Maybe a reverse mohawk. Fucking just skid down the middle.
Oh man, this thing has gotten
some, at the pool.
Huh?
Last weekend. I saw you getting
Those black chicks,
So I
man,
was like,
they
"Oh,
loved it.
good."
They kind of loved
I
it.
bet they did.
Because it's one of those things. If you just act like it's not even there, then it turns into
If
like a
it's not a big
confidence
deal to
thing.
you.
Yeah, yeah. If you're acting like, oh man, they're looking at me, then you look weird. You got to bring that Kyle energy.
For sure.
What's up, Matt? I see you, my man. The Tennessee killer.
I don't care. I really don't.
Louisville.
I know. I'm gonna call him Jake,
Louisville, Texas.
even though I did call him Dragon a couple times.
his
Let
mama
us-
called him Jaden. I'm gonna call him Jaden. What is that? It's Coming to America.
Yeah.
The Cassius Clay thing. Justin, welcome, my man.
Louisville.
Y'all can talk. I'm just
We are.
trying to get a couple more things.
Trying to keep him in.
All right.
Letting the viewers ramp up.
So,
Let me know if it says any other of those things about like the stream health. All right, and then keep an eye on the drop frames.
ooh, shots fired by Mayfield.
Mayfield, fuck off.
Well, guys, we did another trip.
Bro,
A rough one.
it
We worked for it.
was a big one.
Rewarding.
Yeah.
I'd do it again tomorrow.
Hard work.
I struggled on that trip the whole
I
time.
did too, dude. It was so fucking hot.
I did
Jesus.
too.
I was not expecting it to be hot in Northeast.
Not the beginning of June. The very first weeks of June.
Y'all remember what y'all's total mileage was?
No.
Mine was a little over 40.
I think everybody was.
4,100. Y'all had a little more than me.
That son of a bitch Kyle
Insane.
beat me by like 100 miles.
It was just under 5. It was like, depending upon where you were, it was like 45 to 47, give or take.
I think I was at 45 or 46, something like that.
Yeah.
46.22 for me.
I didn't have a clear odometer going into it. Mine was rolling with my oil.
What up, Mark?
Anyway, yeah, I mean, so that was a long one, man. Like the first time for a lot of us going to New York City, right?
First time in New York City, period. First time in New York State on a bike. I've been in New York State before, but yeah.
I think I'm skipping ahead. How do you even start? Like, where do we start with this?
Well, 23 total states. It's the normal. First night was Chattanooga. We, you blasted through. At this point, we've all been to Florida, so you just go through Louisiana, Alabama, Mississippi, like you've done it.
Touch Georgia.
Yeah, touch Georgia and Tennessee. How was y'all's ride up there? I was late coming in, so y'all
Is
left
Dallas
east.
or I guess East Texas? Is East Texas to Chattanooga the new like light work day one?
Yeah, because it's
It felt
only
like it.
750 miles, I think.
And that day one excitement really like.
Oh yeah.
You
I
can
feel
go to
like-
the moon and back.
I feel
with
like we
that.
got there kind of quick that first
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, we had a good time.
Like,
It
We
was
didn't
good.
have that. Remember when we did it last time? We had that big layover with Winton for
Yes,
lunch.
we did.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah.
in Mississippi.
And yeah,
we had a quick lunch.
But this time, yeah, it was just ride time, and we didn't hit any of the heat yet.
No.
Yeah,
It
cold,
was
actually.
good. We were able to just cruise. Bikes were purring, no issues. The road was good. Like it was all still quality, just quick riding, right? Just distance riding like we do. We didn't get
there's
into
not
the,
a lot of
we
expectations
didn't get
on
into
day
the
one.
shit.
The only expectation is get there as
Get
soon as you
there,
can.
yeah,
You know,
right.
And we got there. Fuck, we got there well before sundown,
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I feel
which
like-
is great. I mean, that's
Yeah, I
the
remember
goal
we
every
pulled up,
day.
and as soon as we hit the bar right there at the hotel, those old dudes.
Oh, yeah.
and the old chicks were there.
Yeah.
I love- that was
a
actually-
days in, wasn't it?
That
Shitty
was the most
hotel.
expensive days in
Yeah.
ever because somehow, for some, well, actually no, there was a reason. Memorial Day weekend, right?
Yep.
So we kind of took that into consideration, but not as much as maybe we should have.
Yeah.
Because we were freestyling all accommodations on the whole trip, with the exception of New York
York.
pre-booking, Boston pre-booking, right? So everything was freestyle.
So I got a bunch of questions during this trip, and anytime we would stop and talk to people, dude, how do you it just seems like the undertaking of a trip like this is so big. So if you're watching this, taking notes, trip hack number 1, lay down a bunch of miles the first day. You have to. If you listen to this podcast, you know that's how you have to do it. You just almost try to get 1,000 almost to
Well,
get where
that's relative to like us living here. But say if you lived in an area, it depends on what you're doing on your trip. Because
Yeah,
like say
right.
if you're in New York and you're trying to go to the Rockies, then fuck yeah, you got to smash and pass everything, right?
Right.
But say you're New York going to the Smokies, there's so much to do between here and there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
You really have to. I would say trip hack is have goals for what you're actually looking to accomplish. I can appreciate freestyling, but if you don't have at least a loose idea of what the group or yourself is trying to accomplish, you probably mess up at some point, right? I think the pre-conversations and pre-work, even though this was probably the lightest one out of all of them that we've done, it was still very valuable.
Yeah.
To do what we did, and it was really, like I said, just a couple of pre-books, and then but moreover it was setting down the expectations of what we wanted to all accomplish as a group. So as long as we held each other accountable to that, we were
Depends on
good.
how many days you got to,
It
how
does.
many days you're trying to do this shit in too. So
yeah, that's at 14 days, I'm homesick. You know what I mean? Personally, like I get homesick.
I'm with
I
you.
could have done a few more.
I get homesick. I miss my
I mean,
wife.
you
I
do.
miss the house. I
There's a
miss
few
work.
of the guys in the group
what I
that
mean?
do,
And,
you can tell.
Dwayne.
Dwayne.
Dwayne,
No way.
Jacob, I think he gets a little homesick, or he starts worrying about work, trying to get back
Yeah.
to work. It's understandable, especially when you're self-employed.
Yeah.
So
But so like looking forward and knowing that at some point in time that we all kind of have an idea of doing bigger trips, like more days. It really needs to be a completely different lifestyle that I live to be able to mentally prepare for a 3-week trip or some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Most definitely. Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know that I'm prepared for a 3-week trip at this point.
I think it's I'm still years away before that. So, but I mean, like Jaden was saying, like the first day we wanted to smash miles, Jaden was a little bit behind, so he pretty much had to do that whole thing by himself. Right, yeah. Still made it to the bar.
Major boss move, because what time did you actually get up
1:30?
Out of Justin's? Maybe like 9?
I left Justin's 9-ish, but then I went back to the house to actually load the bike. I had to make a pit stop on my way out of the house. So you know that Whataburger by Jacobs, the one at the Shell that we all met at for the. When I passed that at like 1 o'clock, 1:15, I think, in the afternoon. And I was like, I'm really fucking behind. But, man, it was an awesome day.
You made good time, though.
Yeah, you did make good time.
Because you had posted a story saying that you were crossing the Mississippi, and I think we were almost there or we had just got to Chattanooga. One of the two.
When we crossed in, yeah.
And I was like, damn, it's going to be fucking late as shit.
Yes.
But you actually pulled out pretty good.
I had a couple longer stops than I had to. I didn't do the, usually solo, you just gas and go. Had a couple times where I just enjoyed it. It was kind of the first time I'd actually ridden the bike, especially with the bars. Stopped a couple times, and I don't know. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the fuck out of it, actually. Yeah. But I like solo riding, too, so it was perfect.
You can make it a lot better time solo.
Oh, yeah, you definitely can.
No, I could have made it a lot better time than I did, but no, first day was perfect for me.
Well, so I think the baseline for this trip that's been different, and I think that as we talk about some of these stops, the common narrative has been that we had homies come through, right? So Chattanooga, we get surprised with Craig, Tarpon Turbo.
Craig. Love him.
And
just shows up on the street.
Yeah.
Not the last time we'd see him on the trip either.
Yeah, actually.
No. Yeah, that was crazy.
The first night and the last night, actually.
And not the first time we've seen him cross I don't even remember. It was leaving Florida. I don't know if we were actually in Florida.
Oh, yeah, when we passed him coming back from Daytona.
He's messaged he's asking me what mile marker he's at, that we're at, because he's doing the same thing, and he's got all his trucking shit up, and goes out of his way to come meet us for 20 minutes for a gas stop.
Yeah.
Craig's the best.
Goddamn truck life, dude.
Yeah, right. I need to see my friends.
Well, I mean, to everybody, there was a guy that asked a question about how did the bikes hold up. We had numerous things take place. When we left, I was kind of chasing a wobble on my bike that I've had since the camp out, basically, and pretty much was just throwing money at it from the moment we left the camp out to even on the road. Yeah. And what I would say about that wobble, because you said it kind of looked like it went away. Well, that shit was back whenever it was just me solo on the way back from after Nashville.
Really?
Anytime I get like behind an 18-wheeler to kind of get around or wait for really a chance, it pushes my bike. So the thing is that it didn't do it stock, and it didn't always do it with the suspension. So that means that something's not right in my suspension still. It's either my suspension, because it can't be anything else. Brand new neck bearings twice over. You know what I mean? Yeah. The swing arm bearings are new, all new motor mounts and stuff on the bike. So front suspension is redone, but the rear suspension is not redone yet. So yeah, that was a kind of a scary thing for me, leaving on the trip and leaving with that issue,
right,
and trying to coordinate with friends like Jessup's that we ended up stopping at on day 2 to try to solve that issue. But I guess it worked out to my benefit quite a bit since we left. 2 days early, right, technically?
2 days, yeah.
That was huge. It was huge for the whole group because it allowed us to essentially give ourselves a buffer, whether we needed it or not, and then we ended up needing it, and it worked out.
I feel like we rushed a lot of shit, and we left 2 days early.
Yeah.
And, if we would have left 2 days later,
we tried to tackle a lot of shit.
We'd be pushing 500-mile days every fucking day,
into 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's, man... because New York essentially is the same distance as San Francisco is from us. So when we did that last trip, or that first trip, San Francisco was technically our furthest point. Right? So New York was, put like this, I clocked 2,000 miles like on the money whenever we got into New York. And then for some reason I did something on my bike and it erased my trip from the deal. But it was like right when we were in New York. So by the time we left to go down Long Island that day, like it was all counting fresh miles. And I had another like 25 or 26 from there, right? So even though I think that we've pretty much done the same amount of mileage on every trip, about 4,500 miles. There's something way different about East that I think that I might be able to articulate it along with you guys. But, you know, after we left Chattanooga, it was, first off, we had a lot of bikes with us. A lot.
Yeah,
a lot. It's
the most we've ever traveled with the exception of Sturgis last year.
Yeah. But Sturgis was kind of like a come on, come off.
Correct.
You know, because we literally would, you know, lose Jaden for a day, and then we lost Rob, and then Jaden links back up with Steve Chamberlain, but then we lost the other half of the group.
Right.
So it was this constant, like, filtering of people. You know what I mean? But
this was constant 9 fucking people.
Yeah, it was constant at least 9 until the very end when Larry dipped out, but we had as many as 12, 13,
yeah,
14, I think, riding up to the lighthouse.
With the people. Which,
yeah,
like
as far as people jumping on, people like Troy and Brendan and Taylor and
what's his name?
AJ, the guy from Connecticut.
Okay, obviously, dude. I can't even begin to start the people because I feel like we should maybe.
I feel like it's even hard to even. It's hard to really even talk about this trip because there's every day was something different.
Yeah.
Correct.
With almost different people.
Absolutely, with different.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Chattanooga was us with Craig, and then, you know, night 2 was basically we spent the majority of the day with John Jessup in Maryville at his new shop.
Yep.
Which is the shit, by the way. I know I've said it. You've probably already heard me say it. You've seen other people say it. They're not lying. We're not lying. If you're anywhere close, go the fuck by. Don't even buy a T-shirt if you want to, but just go hang out. Just go say hi. It's fucking rad. There's a vibe there.
Maryville, Tennessee.
Yeah, Maryville.
Yeah.
On the way to the Dragon.
Just outside.
And it's I couldn't say anything cooler about all those dudes that were there.
How did you feel? Because you said you started feeling a lot better cruising those mountains. I know that Trent is the other one that went with us that really hasn't had a lot of time in that type of terrain riding, because, you know, riding, which I think we should talk about it. In my opinion, another hidden gem is 40 going through the Smokies there.
Yeah,
the Smokies were awesome.
Maybe it's because we had that downhill slope, kind of like what we left.
Was that the one that we were hitting sundown?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking the one that I
40
thought was a good alternative to the Dragon, right, was when we did Blue Ridge and we came out on 80.
Yeah, that was a good road.
When you jump out on 80, it's very technical, a lot of tights, just like Dragon is, and it's none of the tourism. It was actually pretty killer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would agree on that. That Interstate 40 from it wasn't quite Maryville to Asheville, but where did we pick up 40?
We jumped into 40 in Knoxville.
Okay.
And then cut all the way over, and we stayed in Asheville.
Yeah.
That night,
that fucking little rip,
that's what it was.
Was amazing.
Picked up 40 off of 80.
Yeah. No.
No?
That was before.
It was before.
That's the next day.
Okay.
Because the next day we were headed to Greensboro.
Yeah, we hit Blue Ridge after.
That's what I'm saying. It's hard, man.
It's a trip.
But yeah, great interstate. For an interstate, it was awesome.
We hit at the right time too.
Car down
there.
there.
Yeah, there's a couple. I mean, this is one thing that was very common in ours. If it was just a couple of us, like that last year when we went 5 of us.
Yeah.
When you hit those roads and 5 bikes past you, that's a lot of bikes, right? You can kind of
again, it freaks people out.
It freaks people out. You know? But when you got 9 of these motherfuckers, like raw, just coming around you, you know, jumping over into the the other lanes, whatever it is we're trying to do to kind of enjoy these roads, freaks the fuck out of these people, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Unless if you are riding extremely tight formation, if you have 5, it's like 2 cars just zoom past you, right?
Yeah.
If you have 9, it's like 4 cars. There are a couple semis or something. Like, it's sizable.
It's intense,
and it's not something that you see every day, especially as a motorist, right? They're not expecting a motorcycle, let alone almost a dozen motorcycles. Yeah. So it can be sketchy, and the way that some of these folks actually react to it, you can tell that they're not accustomed to it. Yeah,
it scared the
they
fuck
get
out of
defensive.
them, or-
They jerk.
Yeah. Or they get pissed.
We almost got ran off the road a couple times. You
Yeah.
specifically on that road that you're
Yeah.
speaking of. It was a trip. It's one of those things. They can either respect it and say, okay, let them pass, or you get the cats that they want to fight it, like for whatever reason,
like
like
it pisses,
it's not acceptable that you are passing me at this point in time, and that's that becomes
Strange.
sketchy because you can't, with the exception of being nimble and quick and trying to get around them and pass, like you lose that battle every time. Like that guy almost put you off the fucking cliff essentially because of why, but didn't want you to pass or whatever.
All I'm hearing is that
That's
we're
sketchy.
starting performance get back whips, boy. Hell yeah. Come on.
No shit.
Man, but yeah, that. So I mean, we ended up smashing through that. It was a great time. Like it was one of those things like cruising on the major highway. So you're making time. You're making the best time you possibly can, but it's still a nice road, right? So that was a good part about it. We just found a quick little hotel to pull off the highway in Asheville that night. Next day, you know, we're trying to get to Jeremy's house, which got to give a huge shout out to Jeremy.
Yeah,
big time.
If you guys need to get a new bike, man, go check out Tobacco Road Harley Davidson.
For sure.
And
Jeremy
Good
Hinton.
dude. He'll hook you up.
Jeremy Highton.
Hinston.
Yeah. Dude's solid, man.
Jeremy H.
Put us up. He put us up in his house and his fucking fifth wheel. Was it a fifth wheel, right?
Yep.
And then, you know, fucking cooked for us.
Yeah.
Then he made us
Outstanding.
pancakes.
Yeah.
Then his wife missed pancakes.
The first of several fucking awesome hosts that you just can't even think enough.
Yeah.
And then
Almost surreal.
That was. He
and,
was the
and
first.
Jesse was there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, new Jesse.
New
Jesse.
Yeah.
Weber. That was the first time that we picked up a rider to ride with us.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
we
Troy.
stopped at Greensboro to have lunch.
Troy. His name is Troy, the guy that.
No. That
Yes.
Jeremy
Yeah,
stayed
that
with us.
Oh,
Same
Jeremy was
correct.
part of the trip as far as I'm
But
concerned.
you're right. Troy
Yeah, as far as one person that just
just
kind of
rode to
Yeah,
Jeremy's.
the day-
and then
the
Jeremy
day-
stuck with us.
Yeah, the day before we got to Jeremy's, and
Yeah.
we stopped for lunch in Greensboro. One of your buddies showed up.
Yeah.
From back in the day. And
old
then
friend of mine, and then
fucking Jimmy and his wife came.
Jimmy and Emily, Kellen, his wife.
The Troy guy.
Yeah, that was.
I felt bad because there was a handful of other dudes too.
Dude, there was a
I feel
bunch
like we
of them.
skipped past, but yeah, that was actually a lot of fun. I had a lot of
That
fun
was a
that day.
great
Yeah,
stuff.
we know you had fun.
Trent and I were a little late.
They're not-
That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah.
If he watches this, he'll know what I'm talking about.
That was only the second day, right?
third day.
Yeah, that was
third
day
day.
3.
That was day 3,
Yeah.
and I mean, it was cool to kind of stop through and big shout out to all these dudes. Like almost none of them rode. Like they were doing 300-mile days to
nobody
come
was
hang out with
close.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
3
That's
hours,
like
4 hours.
That's like we're on our way from California to Florida or California to something, and like somebody from Little Rock, Arkansas decides to ride down here to have
meet us.
lunch with us.
Yeah, right.
And then
But
turn around. That's a
super cool,
6-hour
man.
It's one of those
one-way
things,
trip.
I think, and it's much respect to them because the opportunity for the Texas guys to be in essentially, hey, you're in my state.
Yeah.
Let me come get you, right?
Right.
Because we're not going to be there.
Dude, that shit jacks
Maybe
me
ever
up.
again, right? For somebody to cross the state
Yeah.
to just come hang out, like
Well,
all that.
sometimes
Yeah.
it's
All that.
kind of like us going to Austin or us going to Houston. It'd be like if you know what I mean, somebody was coming through, and dude, I can't tell you. Like I said, it jacks me up every fucking time. I love it so much. It's the coolest thing you could do. In my opinion. Oh,
Yeah.
you know what I mean.
But yeah, that was a big difference. Not that we haven't had people come hang out with us before on trips, but this seemed like a coordination of every stop meeting up with other cats.
Yeah.
Because like I said, Jeremy and his wife totally, made us feel welcome and, took care of us there and had a good night there. Honestly, just chilling. It was like, I feel like we needed more of those on the back end of the trip.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We did.
We did
have
all the long days on the back end of the trip, which
So
is
it's like-
bad
long-
planning.
and long nights.
We
Like-
should have done that trip in reverse.
So when
Yeah,
you have
we-
Chattanooga, and we are basically essentially stay out till 2 or something
Yeah.
in the morning, and then back it up with a fucking like we're just going to the hotel and crashing, and then back it up with we're drinking in a backyard, eating sausage and things like that. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Like that's like
Fucking Clickety
little bit
Claxton
more-
showed up.
Wait, what?
Jake, we was shooting dice.
Yeah,
That's right.
bought this baby straight cash.
Cash money.
but
Take my money for you honkies change your mind.
So it's like after we left Jeremy's, man, we
Yeah.
How about you?
first off, everybody and their mom was warning all of us about the cops in Virginia, like so to the point where I was scared.
Yeah, we didn't speed through Virginia.
But do we even see many cops?
I saw 2.
I think, and they both had somebody pulled over,
They were
right?
lurking too. The
As
ones
soon-
that I saw were not setting out. They were like off
Hiding.
the beaten path, just waiting to just absolutely get somebody.
But pulling into Virginia Beach, the cats over there, Anthony, they do a bike night on Wednesday, but since we were coming in through Tuesday, they moved it.
That was cool.
And
Moved
dude,
it up a day, and it was awesome.
I hadn't fucking thrown sandbags that well. I was fucking killing it on cornhole.
That's not. I pulled
night.
my sack out from behind. I don't even remember
Fucking
why.
grandpa balls over here on the pigtail.
It was because the bar was closing at like 11.
Yeah,
They
it
were
did
like,
shut
all right.
down early.
Yeah,
Sweet
they
sis
fucked
out.
up there.
Yeah.
Fortunately, that town had alternatives.
Fuck
Well,
yeah.
yeah.
And we found them all.
So Virginia Beach was, I think, my first wild
Ben
night.
came out and stayed with us.
Yeah, Ben.
Yep.
Yeah. Bodywork.
Super
Ian.
cool.
Gertie.
He rode like 3 hours too, I think.
He did.
It was a
Jeremy,
good- Oh, and-
Sweet
yeah, 'cause
Bagger.
he
The,
left us
we
the next day.
talked about it a minute ago, but the first day was that first day to Chattanooga, 700.
750 was our longest mile day.
Yeah.
Which, God, we could have done a lot more, I think.
We've done. I mean, the other 2 major trips we've done have been more.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Yeah.
Colorado Springs
Colorado
is 800
Springs
Springs,
is more.
Yeah.
and then
Northern Nebraska.
that
is
was almost
more.
1,000. It was like
Yeah.
900 miles.
Yeah.
For
But
sure.
yeah, that
It just
Virginia
felt so
Beach.
easy on that first day.
Yeah. it
Virginia Beach was the first place we got to early enough, if you will,
Yeah.
and we pretty much were able to get the bikes cleaned up, go to the
Yeah.
bike night, get situated,
Booked the
and
hotel and got in.
did. Yep.
Yeah.
Got
Yeah.
in, showered. Went partied.
I was really
Fucking
wanting to see the
we
beach
did,
that night,
baby.
though.
Anthony,
Yeah, we
thank
didn't
you
go to
guys
the beach.
again. Sketchy for picking up that first round
Yeah,
of beers.
definitely.
Yeah.
You guys were
That was
awesome.
dope.
Such a
Appreciate
good
it.
fucking night. Everybody
Yeah.
that was there with us.
Couple dudes stunting outside when they left.
Yeah, oh
that's
yeah,
pretty
dude.
cool. I didn't catch their names.
I didn't either, but they all had East Coast and stuff. I don't essentially know what is East Coast and just everybody on the East Coast that stunts, or is it a
a brand,
specific
right?
group that has expanded out to whomever?
I think
East
it's
Coast,
like-
and let us hear your thoughts on it. YouTube Live.
I think that they're a specific group of dudes, just
I
like
think that's
Unknown is. But I
probably
feel like
right.
there's a lot of affiliations and things like that. I mean,
Right.
stunt riding community is so much different
Absolutely,
than
absolutely.
us. You know,
It wasn't the guys themselves that were doing the stuff. It was some of the other cats that were at the bike night, like East Coast and crews here. I'm like, are they? We're in Virginia Beach. I thought them motherfuckers was like,
yeah, North
Connecticut.
yeah. So, but they still got it,
Yeah.
and they came through pretty deep too.
Yeah.
Those guys, and I don't know if I think they were local Virginia Beach guys
Yeah.
or in that area, but Virginia Beach showed up for sure.
They got a scene.
and it was good.
Y'all got
to,
a scene over there.
Yeah, I mean that's what I noticed about it. It's like they have a scene of this style, whether it's just all of it, like the whole encompassing of it, like the style of motorcycles has a spot there now. Which, I know there's lots of spots. This is maybe an old conversation, but like this style of bike and this style of things is still really new to the motorcycle industry.
Right.
And so some areas are just like
There
T-bars.
There is none.
What?
What are those?
You mean those things you ran in the '90s? You know, like.
That's only California.
Yeah, come to East Texas.
I do think that's unique. I was thinking about that earlier today, actually, regarding like, I don't know what it is. There is, we've talked about it before. There's something with the Rockies,
Yeah.
right? It seems like the connectivity east of the Rockies is so strong and ever growing.
Yeah.
Like I feel extremely connected to, I don't know, 45 states. And then there's the Rockies, and there's only select folks that choose to make that effort to cross. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And those are the ones I think like way ahead. But we ended up meeting with Joe Kidd randomly, but this motherfucker's all the way across the U.S. and he's one of the few people, like I'm saying, that crosses the Rockies and has no issues with it and feels all the love that we feel because he's present east of the Rockies.
Yeah.
But when we say this was a people trip, It was truly because of everybody to the east wanted to be a part of what we were doing.
Yeah.
And we wanted to include them. So it's a mutual thing, right? If we were to just say, nah, fuck off, you're not welcome in essentially then that would have been kind of the same divide. But we wanted them to be a part of it just as badly as they want it to be a part of it. And,
the good thing about it too is like to tie in of a conversation we have quite a bit. We get to a town, we don't know what's going on, and I'm like, hey, where's the Chili's at, right? But the thing is, this trip and hanging out with everybody else, like we were able to they were able to show us where to go, what to do, what to see.
We found the Renos of the town, the Anvils of the town, not the
not the basic bitch stuff that I'm always suggesting because just the convenience.
Speaking of Joe, did y'all meet up with Joe on that trip, the first trip out to Cali, the Born Free trip?
No,
well,
because
we seen him at Born Free, but
he was at Born Free, yeah. But when we were in NorCal, he was, I think, he was somewhere else on his way back to Cali or something like that.
I don't remember seeing him at Born Free, but if y'all say he was there, I'm going to go say now.
I took a picture with him.
But definitely the last two riding trips, I've seen him in each one. So at this point, if I don't see him next year on Pacific Northwest or wherever
that's probably the hardest place to find him, though, is in his home state.
We'll get him to come out. Yeah. But then he's going to be living in Texas, so he may even tag along.
Come with it.
But one thing I was going to touch on a while ago when you said, I think you was kind of going into it, you said, I don't know what it is about going east. Like, if it's the scenery, or is that kind of what you was going after a while ago, or like?
I'm really torn because don't get me wrong, like being on the road with you guys is 100% badass. I love that.
Well, I was gonna say like going east is hard to, like unless you're right there around Maryville and that beautiful Smoky area. Riding because we have to do a lot of interstate to get to places and all that. Riding the interstates out there is like riding the interstates here or where I'm from. It's just pine trees. Mm-hmm. You don't really get to see a lot of the scenery and all that. When you fucking go west, you see everything. You see the Rockies in a way far distance, or you see all these badass huge red rocks and all this beautiful.
That's why,
scenery.
like when you would come up to these cities, or I would be so interested. Like when we came into Virginia Beach, I'm like, never been here. Like, how is the city? Like, the city was the mountainscapes on this trip.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, every time we got in the city, it was usually close to the, once we made it to the coast, it was close to water. So you're going over big bridges and
tunnels.
Lots of military stuff out there, like naval ships and all that stuff. So it was pretty cool.
I think that's probably spot on, with the exception of the Smokies, right? Because they eventually end. Once we surpass that, it really is, I think, kind of a change off. Big city on the east, lots of big cities,
right,
and big land on the west, right? And that's I think that's the difference, because when you're seeing big land, it can be really, you can just be
it's that big sky country, right? It's that Montana,
well,
really
it makes you feel small.
I synced it.
Yeah,
you big cities have a way of just consuming you and overwhelming you.
Not to skip too far ahead, I mean, because I really want to talk about New York, because that was probably my most favorite thing on the trip. But, after leaving Virginia Beach, it was another 300-mile day, which we had a bunch of 300, 350-mile days.
Yeah.
Which those are like,
wasn't too bad.
They're not bad, but I feel like that's the annoying number.
If we can get our ass on the road before noon.
Exactly, because that number is like,
it's not bad early, it's bad late.
That's another thing. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's another thing I was going to say. With the group size we had, it's fucking hard to get everybody up, everybody going, and get on the road at a decent time.
Yeah. Yeah, so like 350-mile day on a motorcycle with 10 guys is basically an 8 to 9 hour day.
That's what I was going to say, 8
you know what I mean?
hour day,
I mean, if you're in a car and you could, one gas stop or one pit stop, like you can do it in like 4.5, 5 hours, right? But when you have so many people on a bike and, we have the tanks that only does 125. So you're looking at almost 2-3 stops, or doing 3 stops essentially to make that 350-mile day. Right. So each stop is going to be 30 minutes to an hour. And then that part was draining, but as soon as we left Virginia Beach is when the heat started, right? And
It's hot as fuck.
yeah, because remember when we got to DC, which was,
It's fucking hot.
Yeah.
most of us switched into
No,
shorts.
You're right.
I
was trying to think where we went.
Yeah, DC.
On the way to DC. It was stupid up there.
Yeah, it's hot. And
It's
Ben
hot.
rode with us half the day, and then he burnt off back where he was from.
Yeah.
DC was something I really wanted to see, man. Like I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much as I did.
I was super.
You know what I
stoked
mean?
on
Like
DC.
seeing these things, it's like, yeah, it's fucking rad.
Yeah.
Like, all of it. Just seeing the city, even the little road we left out of to see the little neighborhood behind it.
Yeah.
Like that shit was dope too. I mean, I really enjoyed DC. I could see that place being somewhere I wouldn't mind going back to for sure. You know what I'm saying?
So many
There's so
people
much
doing
in that
activities.
Yeah.
There's so
I
much
like
in that
Scooters
city.
was fun as shit.
The
Yeah,
scooters
that's
were awesome. I liked leaving
We
and
would've-
going through those neighborhoods
I did too.
on the way to the pizza
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
More than probably the monuments. The monuments, I was like, nah, if they fucking bomb this, I don't care. It is what it is. It's fucking.
Wouldn't go that far.
I did,
come on,
but I
man.
did enjoy the scooters. It was so fun seeing it with you guys. But as far as like seeing it, I wouldn't blow it. Didn't
Well,
move my dick
the
with
thing about it is, if
Monuments,
we
you gotta
didn't have those
slow
scooters,
down.
we wouldn't have seen half that shit.
No.
Yeah.
We would not got to see all of it.
The most underwhelming thing there was the White House.
It was. I was kind of disappointed in that too because I didn't realize the trees
Capitol
out
is
front like
so much
block
bigger.
half the fucking house. I was like, what?
Like to me, my view of the White House
thought
has
it was, like,
always
wide
been like
open.
this main street, people are running around, and then there's the White House.
Right.
But no, it's like
It's blocked
It's
off.
very secluded in that area, and it's got this weird illusion that through like media that you
that you
feel
could
like
walk up
it's-
to the fence. I thought we
Well,
could
it
be
used-
like
yeah.
the main fence.
You used to could, I guess, but now they got it. The street blocked off in front, and they got a gate you have to stand
The-
behind to view it or whatever.
the monument, the Washington Monument, and Lincoln were hands down worth going through
Absolutely,
there
yeah.
alone, in my opinion. I didn't get a chance to go see the wall, the Vietnam Wall, but all the different war memorials were pretty badass and stuff
Yeah.
like that. But those two of the monuments are probably the most famous, I guess you would say there.
Yeah.
And then of course the pond and everything.
Yeah.
We're close in proximity too. It's tough. I think it's impossible to do DC in 3 hours or whatever we gave ourselves in a
Right.
very short period of time
Right.
because that wasn't our final destination for the day. And I've been to DC before, and it's one of those things that I think if you're going to truly do monument seeing and appreciate what they are and the symbolism behind them and what they all represent, you have to slow way down. Actually soak it in, feel
cry.
what it's about. Depends on who you are, right? I mean,
No, I feel like an asshole.
imagine what it would be like to be
Yeah.
somebody who's actually directly impacted with some of that stuff.
Oh,
It's
fuck yeah.
it's different than just tourism,
Especially like a war
going through
memorial
it.
or
Yes,
something, you know?
major difference. So
So a little caveat though, when you're around the memorials there, you feel like a sense of like I respect this.
Mm-hmm.
Did you feel the same when you saw the World Trade Center memorial? Because I felt like that was more of a gimmick there in New York.
No,
with all the
I
fucking
got,
vendors.
I got a
felt-
weird feeling over
I felt
me
the
when I was up there.
somberness
Yeah,
around
like
World
everybody's
Trade
just
Center.
real.
Y'all went
kinda-
into the thing though, didn't
Yes.
you? I didn't.
yeah.
I didn't-
Oh yeah, we walked.
It
up
was
to there's a
essentially-
museum there too. We didn't do that, but
Yeah.
we walked up to the.
Without jumping too far ahead, as soon as you kind of like cross the gate, it's like
Everybody's quiet.
Everybody hit the
like,
mute button.
It's fucking.
It was
That's probably why you
extremely
didn't catch it.
respectful.
I didn't go into that part.
Yes.
I didn't walk past. Yeah,
Yeah.
so I didn't
Yes.
feel that.
And it was
Whereas
the-
like at the Lincoln Monument, for example, right?
There's a fucking protest.
They were
going
just running
on,
up and down the
goddamn-
stairs, fucking
Yeah.
Dude, there
doing
was some models
Instagram.
there.
I don't know what it was about
A
Washington
lot of
D.C.
Instagrammers
or at least
in
on
the
that
wild.
day.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of young people in that city.
lot
It
of,
was interesting.
lot
I don't know
of
if they were
High
tourists.
school girls graduating with their caps and
Probably
gowns
was.
on,
Yeah.
taking
It was like
pictures.
school,
You know. And
field
it,
trips.
And it doesn't help that we were there like really close to Memorial Day. So
Yeah, yeah.
you know,
Oh yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Jesus.
and you know
The day
'cause
before Memorial Day.
I seen
no,
some.
the day after.
Was there Tuesday?
Was it a day of?
No,
we were
Memorial Day is
Virginia.
Monday.
The day after. It was Monday. We were
Right?
there Tuesday.
No, we were there
Virginia
Monday.
Beach.
No, we weren't. Monday was
Last Saturday.
Jeremy's house.
Dude, it's so
It was
hard.
Wednesday.
Virginia Beach
It was
was
Wednesday.
the bike
Okay, it was Wednesday. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Right. Okay, so it'd be Wednesday. Yeah.
Jackson.
So it's really close. Like,
Is this?
is it
Does this
terrible?
make sense? It seems like we're so all over the
Yeah.
place right now, dude.
Well, I'm still a little high. I'm trying to figure out.
Sorry,
like,
guys, we're working on
Y'all
it.
can't blame me for that one. I had no part in it.
It is a lot though, because it was sensory overload every single day.
Yeah.
For 14 straight days. So, I mean, you tell me how do you actually
First speed break.
put that back together and have it make sense, because it's not as cohesive as some of the other ones, because it was like a music analogy, it was more staccato, just we were not having smooth transitions, we were not actually making transfers, it was very choppy, right? And everything that we were doing was in small blocks of time, even within a day.
Yeah.
Every day was chopped up, and then add to that, multiple days were chopped up. So it was crazy. Like, DC is a perfect example, right? We rode from Virginia Beach to DC. That was a destination for us, and we were spending time in DC. So you want to talk about chop? We had to fight through traffic. We had to go through tunnels. We had, I think our commute was relatively smooth, but it was slow because we really started hitting
traffic.
northeast traffic.
No, we did hit a lot of traffic.
Really started hitting traffic, so it was chopped up. Then when we got to DC, we had to strategize where to park appropriately so we could navigate the city and be on the road in a regular amount of time, right?
Yeah.
We had a limited amount of time, so that was also
We still
chopped
had our
up.
bikes loaded down too with our shit, and
with
we
all
didn't
our
want to
shit.
park them on the street.
We had to be safe.
Yeah.
And then chop again. So we had been on the road all day. We didn't eat nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
So by 6 o'clock, I think, by the time we
It's like
we
5.
ended up leaving.
Yeah, it was like
we're
5 o'clock when we
have
got
to
pizza.
eat some food. So we chopped it up again because we went to this random pizza spot, and then another chop was getting to our end destination where we met all the guys, including Chop. But it was, dude, it was like that over and over and over and over every day. So I don't know. That's why. When we try to describe this, it's not as fluent as maybe as has been in past trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's not. It seems like this trip there was a lot of things in between destinations.
Yeah.
Basically, I think is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
So, we like I said, that night we stayed with Mark from Lexin.
Big
Congratulations to them. They were getting married.
Mark and Heather, thank you so much for putting us up. You guys are awesome.
Letting freaking 9 dudes stay in their house
Appreciate
2 days before their wedding.
With a bunch of family
9
over.
dudes plus their family, plus Tim,
some
other
guests,
friends,
plus Pat, plus Chopsky.
Yeah.
All these dudes, like it was a house full.
Will was there.
Yeah, Will.
Yeah.
It was like a goddamn influencers in the wild in that motherfucker. you know?
Yeah. Fucking Ben just sent me a video of Jacob carrying me to the room in Virginia Beach.
I got that.
We went hard to Virginia Beach.
I got that. But it
Can you airdrop it to the computer?
Is it
good?
I don't know anyone.
Oh wait, you don't have airdrop, fucking Android.
Shut up, queer. I would be like, all of us would be remiss without like really.
Oh, it's bad.
You guys said it.
Oh, it's bad.
Big thanks to Mark and his family and everybody.
All of them.
Because
And that's another. All right. So for a second,
it was great. So much appreciation. I hope that we were able to give you enough love in a brief period of time, because that's all it was for us, was just love coming through, and thank you so much.
Hit the hot tub.
so
Bro,
I woke
Dude.
up. I woke up in Virginia Beach feeling bad. Like all of a sudden, like I'm sick. I'm sick. This is sick. And so that the first day was going to DC, and I just had mucus, and I felt like shit. My head hurt.
Yeah, a lot of
and
y'all got allergies.
Oh,
on
dude,
that
I was
trip.
eating Dayquils or whatever, like they were Pez's. And I just felt like shit. So when we got when we got to, is it just supposed to say Pez? You know, but the ES. So when we got to Mark's, Pat was like, "Go get your bed. Go get your bed first. Fuck everybody else." I was like, "You're a genius." So I went and staked out my bed, and then took a shower, and essentially went to bed. I drank 4 or 5 glasses of water, and I think I was head on the pillow by 10. That was one of my bigger regrets of the whole trip. Maybe not regret, because I needed it, and the next day I did feel better.
Yeah.
But I fucking hate that I didn't really hang out with you guys and stay up and whatever.
Right.
Because like I said, I took a shower. I tried to drain myself as much as I could, blah, blah. And then I was, like I said, get in bed. And my whole thing was get some fucking rest tonight, drink some water. You got a long day tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so Heather was the sweetest. She was the best. I don't even think I told you, but I took a roll of toilet paper from your house. I'll send you one back.
What the fuck?
But literally, I used that, dude, for blowing my nose as far as like stopping at the gas stop.
Yeah, right.
I used it for several days. It was the biggest help. Fuck the rain gear, dude. The roll of toilet paper from Heather and Mark's was the best thing ever. So I owe you all that. You are the best. I love you both. Congratulations.
Yeah,
and yeah.
Yeah, that their hospitality was great. It was good to see everybody there, and like a couple of those guys I'd just known real well through social media. So getting to meet Tim, who's part of the First Manufacturing, Chopsky, the photographer that's kind of blowing up the scene and stuff right now.
Met him in Daytona, super cool guy.
Yeah.
And so that was a good spot, man. And but that's when we started. After that, we also had to start battling weather. You know what I mean? So the next day, the plan was to wake up and we were going to go have lunch with the team over at Electric Lighting in Pennsylvania, just outside of Philadelphia. And essentially, we jumped on the bikes and had to smash as fast as we could to New York to beat the storm.
Rain or beat the storm, yeah.
You know? And
and we barely beat it.
yeah, but
we were still rolling sevens or whatever the fucking thing is where you're doing well on weather. Yeah. Well, we were winning the life when it comes to weather at that point in the trip.
So we, like, I left New York that way, but going in that way, like, basically taking the New Jersey Turnpike from Baltimore all the way up. The Turnpike's boring, but it does kind of get you there quicker. But man, like, the New Jersey side, like, it just felt like, is there a fucking city here? Is this all like just warehouses and industrial stuff? Yeah. Like, it didn't feel like much, but man, I don't know, man. To me, now that we're like talking about being in New York, I was describing it to somebody else recently. I don't know where. I talk to people everywhere. It's fucking weird. Like sitting.
We kidding. You're famous.
Sitting at like where we essentially were staying, in Queensbridge, for the rest of New York, like just seeing the city over there to me feels like looking at the Rockies. It feels like looking at the Grand Tetons.
Yeah, it's a different kind of
like I could stare at that. Like we went to have those little hot dogs on the fucking water. I'm like,
some big ass buildings.
Oh, right there on the river. Yeah. Amazing. Yeah, it's a different kind of wonder, but it's still a wonder.
Yeah.
It's for all the shit I've always talked about New York City and just I don't need to go there.
Right.
It's pretty amazing.
I had a good time.
It's a pretty just to behold the whole thing and really take it in.
Yeah.
And the way it's just divided up and everybody fucking there knows every other place. You know what I mean? It's all new to
It's like one big deep fucking Elm with a train system that connects it to it.
That's true.
I think about it more like a Vegas. I don't want to be there for more than a few days because I feel like I'd be poor as motherfucker.
Well, yeah, it's very fucking expensive, but
I feel like I could do a week in New York to really do it right. Hit the
we didn't hit the
park,
park,
different places to eat and hang out, and
so much. But so much space to cover.
But how we kind of struggled with the train system for the first night.
Yeah.
But goddamn, is that not the most convenient thing in the world?
It is, man. And there's very well laid out.
Yeah.
Like, jumping ahead a little bit, but Boston's was not near as well as New York City's was.
Y'all didn't give it a chance. That's the truth.
What?
Y'all didn't give Boston's a chance.
It
was the same as we did in New York.
It was too far away from our Airbnb.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So New York was closer, and it was 48 hours before. So you were comparing the two directly immediately.
That's true. Yeah.
So
it wasn't as quick as like fucking New York. There's one like every 5 minutes. Like,
yeah. Well, just the train thing. I mean, we did have a little bit of a walk that we had to kind of do between the subway station and our hotel. But I mean, essentially, we parked the bikes and they stayed there for 2 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And another part of this trip was like as soon as we got there, the Monty's there, Monty Roach.
Yeah.
So
it was awesome.
We were kind of like looking for something locally around the hotel to kind of get some beers. I think we stopped in that one little bar on the side, like a little Irish pub, whatever. It had some the best fucking cheese sticks I've ever had in my life.
The big motherfuckers.
Oh,
too.
yeah, the
yeah.
first one. Yeah,
Good.
The non-Irish pub.
Yeah, it was like a Iranian
It was
dude.
owned by
Yeah.
for real, owned by some Indian people, and
Yeah.
they hired a fucking Irish guy
Yeah.
to be their bartender and called themselves the Irish pub.
Oh, that was
No, that was the other
That was
place.
a real.
That was a-
no, we're talking
No,
about the
this
first
guy
place
was the first bar we went to in
remember-
like the Queens area.
after we left eating the hot dogs by
Oh,
the
yeah.
river.
He had those fire
Oh,
cheese
yeah.
sticks. They're
Yeah.
real big. Yeah.
Yeah.
I do remember.
They had
Yeah,
the
he was like an
they had
Iranian
Corona
dude.
Premier on tap, but it was like
Super
flat.
nice. Yeah.
Right.
Super nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing going on in that.
But
in
he
that
was like
town,
Iranian
in
or
that
something.
area.
Yeah, but you know, like
The one I was talking about, the one that we
We
met
met,
Monty,
yeah.
yes.
so I mean, New York is really hard to kind of figure out what to do. I mean, obviously
or
we did
what
tourist
area
shit.
to go.
It's almost like Netflix. It's just such a bombardment of options. It's like,
Where do
which
you
one
go?
do I pick? I don't
Yeah.
even know where to start.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
You know what? That's a good point. And also, New York was one of the probably should have been the city over and above all cities that we should have kind of had a tour guide, right?
Yeah.
And that was one of the places that we stopped at that we didn't. Right? We came across Monty. Monty's not from New York either.
No.
He was just there. So
Yeah.
almost every place else we had some of that insider knowledge. New York, we were full freestyling, and we ended up being tourists.
Yeah.
All right.
But I mean, I seen that, but I wanted to see some of that
Agreed.
shit.
Yeah, I
too,
mean, we
you
wanted
know,
to
like,
see the Times Square.
I wanted to see
we wanted
Times
to
Square,
see the
Ground
monument.
Zero, Statue of Liberty. You know, all the tour shit.
Y'all did Chinatown. I think me and
Yeah, that was
I love
crazy.
Chinatown.
I think some of us dipped out.
Yeah,
We were going to
half
that.
of us
We
did.
were going to.
Y'all were
the-
going to the
Monty
comedy
go to-
show, yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
but y'all were
Me
trying
and
to
James
get
spent
to
like 4 hours in Chinatown.
fucking Indian Larry's. That's where y'all was trying to get to initially,
so.
and then it
rain
it started
picked back up.
fucking
The rain
rain
came back up,
hailing.
and I
let's
think y'all
go
just went
back.
back to get
Yeah.
cleaned
Correct.
up for the comedy
Correct.
show.
Yeah.
So before we move on from that, as far as knowing what to do in New York, Kyle and I found it after the comedy show. We ended up, you, Jacob, and
Oh, yeah, you said-
Me and Jacob went back.
Trent went back to the
Went back,
hotel.
yeah.
Kyle and I went to another show, I think to see somebody else perform. He knew, mutual friend, and whatever. But we hit a couple other smaller comedy things. But we walked through Greenwich
East
Village.
where we started the
Boy.
first night.
That's where we should. Well, I don't know if we started there the first night because
We just didn't give it. We started directly off of the fucking rail
Kyle
station.
and I walked through, dude, just several block, just block after block, and it's all kind of, it's like if Deep Ellum and Uptown fucked, and it's just,
It's
it
kind of
wasn't-
classy, but it's kind of dirty.
Exactly, you didn't feel like you were, this isn't really my spot, but at the
You're not
same
going to
time,
catch a disease that lasts
dude,
forever.
It was a mix of not quite the younger crowd we saw in Boston.
Yeah.
It was more our age and more eclectic, and everybody just seemed to kind of be hanging out. And it was one of those things. So we were in New York, just to put it in timescape, in a timeline. About 3 days after all the bullshit about the emails came out about coronavirus and Fauci.
Yeah, Fauci.
So New York, just as a whole, seemed to be fucking over it. The mask,
Right.
dude. If you weren't on the subway, you didn't really see a mask.
Yeah.
They weren't required in stores, bars, whatever. It
Right.
was a lot easier than I thought it would be. But we walked through that place, and dude, it fucked. We also walked through Washington Square Park, where if you've ever seen I Am Legend, where the big arch is, and he's got one of those. Dude, we saw a side of New York that I didn't see with any other part of the trip, as far
Yeah.
as just like people our age.
Right.
And it was
That's a good
just
point.
felt alive,
Yeah.
dude. It
hard
was
to capture.
awesome.
Yeah.
It left. I left
We're
New
the
York on a-
30-year-olds.
I left New York on a big high because of that last night. Where, like I said, Kyle and I didn't get back till 4 a.m. almost. But
Yeah.
we walked. I think that was the day I walked 10 miles.
Yeah.
But dude, it was worth it. It was worth it.
Yeah, we were
every
talking
fucking
about that
step
because all our iPhones they track your steps, and so
Yeah.
I think because we walked a lot that day before, going to the monument, going to the river to see the Statue of Liberty, and then walking all the way damn near to the Chinatown.
Yeah.
So that was a long walk, and then we went back to the room to get cleaned up, and then came back into town to go to the
Stand.
the stand
The
comedy
Stand
place.
NYC.
We saw Ari Shafir, Big J Okerson, a couple other motherfuckers were funny as shit.
Slav
Yeah.
baby or whatever. That guy made me laugh. Stavy, Stav. I don't know. Kyle's right now listening. Oh, motherfucker!
But no, I mean New York is like there's so much culture, there's so much scene there that I just want to be a fly on the wall in all these areas, like you said, like to be in that little area, Greenwich
Village,
whatever.
Greenwich Village, East Village,
Okay.
I think is what
Like all these different areas. Like I'm like, fuck, man. Like I want to be in all of them. Like I want to spend one night in all these areas, But like I said, this whole trip is, we spent the most time. We gave New York and Boston the most of our time.
we did.
And New York, I had fun. That first night, we were out till 5 a.m., and some of you guys were out later. I think I was out till 4, and y'all were out till 5.
Dude, you want to talk about the whole
That first night, a few of us were out later. That's right.
the whole city that never sleeps thing? Pretty legit.
Pretty true, yeah.
Dude,
It was
how about
4 a.m. It
the
was like
hot dog
3:30.
vendor was closing at 4 something in the morning. It's nuts to me. But at the same time, just in that very brief period of time that we were there, one thing that I definitely realized is how early the sun comes up there, and how fucking early it sets too. You know what I mean? Like 4 a.m. sunrise, 7 p.m. fucking sunset. It's a big change, right? First sunset. So it's almost like they have to be up in a sense to be able to stay online with the rest of the earth.
That makes
I
sense.
don't know, dude, but it did change perspectives on things for sure.
Yeah,
Because we're sitting there thinking it's like late night, right? It's call it 9 o'clock there, and talking to people at home, and it's 8 o'clock dinner time, and the sun's still up, and they're out having fun. And okay, well, the sun's been down for 2 hours here. We're on it already.
Yeah, I enjoyed it, man. Like that place, even like the whole place, even like Queens, all that shit. I'm just fascinated with New York City area. But
it's a different
I'm going
lifestyle,
back.
man.
I don't know if I'm necessarily on a bike. Hopefully so.
Yeah,
but
as
I'm
far as
going-
riding a
I'm going-
bike through New York City, that fucking sucks.
Yeah, no, it was cool parking, but I'm going back for sure at some point.
We had visions of
I'd go back.
hitting some nights, like night riding or whatever. And
Yeah, we should have done that probably.
dude,
If we had
I
another
was-
night,
by the time we got there, and
I feel like that's what we would
Once
need.
again, we were
I feel
pushing.
like that's what we would need local dudes for.
agreed.
Yeah,
The heat kind of was what I think put us
Killed a lot of-
off of the bikes.
Yeah.
dude, I
bit.
couldn't find baby powder
It was
anywhere.
so hot, so hot, and when it's so hot,
even
and,
think I
and
found
then
baby powder
it's
till we left.
stand still. Even when we're fighting through, it was too much. Like I felt bike was about to explode.
Yeah, it was hot as fuck.
Yeah.
And people up there.
As soon as we got out of the Lincoln Tunnel, we stopped at a gas station. We filled up, and then we, had to see how to get to the hotel. Basically, we just was right underneath the south end of Central Park. We hit the Queensboro Bridge, and as soon as you get off the bridge, our hotel's right there.
Yeah.
And it was 3 or 4 miles, right?
Just over 4, like 4.1.
4.1 miles,
Yeah, something like that.
45 minutes.
Yeah, something
Wow.
stupid.
On the, and you know what? I tried my best to kind of split where it was safe,
but you couldn't. Hardly.
but there's no way 9 of us could fit through it.
Right.
That's,
Yeah, multiple times.
Even
people-
the baggers,
people
like,
would just roll
they're-
out. They almost hit you. They don't care. It doesn't matter.
Chance
it
almost
was
fucking
a
nailed a
trip.
car that pulled right out in front of him.
It was a trip, and it has to be said because I think this was one of the things I know it got in my head because it was really beating me up and beating the bike up. Quality of road surface. Once we left the Smokies,
Shit.
arguably the worst I've ever ridden, especially in the cities. Right.
Right.
Just massive lose your entire rim in a hole type deal. Like really, really disgusting.
Yeah.
The best part, you talked about the New Jersey Turnpike. The one thing I'll say about that I dug was for the first time ever that I can recall, there was a separation of big rigs and car.
yeah, we had our own lane.
Car, truck. So small car, truck was in this set of, I think, 3 or 4 lanes. And then there was a massive divider. And then 3 or 4 lanes on the outside was all big rigs. That was glorious.
Yeah.
But with that exception, we were getting murdered with those roads. Those roads.
Yeah.
Arguably, they're some of the oldest roads in America. Also, they have to fight winter. Also, they have to go through seasonalities that we don't have in the South.
Could you
it's
imagine
major.
shutting down a part of
No.
that road for construction? You know how much more it would be backed up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that I think started taking tolls on everybody, right? So if you're riding a couple 200-300 miles and you hit 7 giant holes in that time,
God damn it,
that's rough. It's rough.
Yeah.
And some of them you see, some of them you don't. It's just one of those things. It's unique to that area, and that was definitely a difference for us for sure.
Yeah, I mean, the roads were fucking gnarly. The toll roads were even more gnarly.
They didn't stop.
The
whole state of New York.
It's like, bro.
I don't understand.
Yeah. How do you have that many fucking tolls in New York and you have the shittiest roads?
How much? It was like $47 to go from
30,
so basically from New Jersey, from the Turnpike, and then combination of the was it Lincoln Tunnel that we went through. It was like $47 just to get into the city.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid.
That's insane.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, we
money
did it.
They're making
we
on
did
that
it.
motherfucker.
Yeah, $47 with stopped traffic.
Yeah.
Just hitting the lotto over, and over.
It's fucking nuts.
But
I still haven't got a fucking thing in the mail for a lot of the tolls.
I'm waiting. It's gonna be there. Don't you worry. They're gonna get there.
Cover a lot of them up.
They gotta.
I tried to ride
they
the
gotta look
line
for
if it
their
works, but I
Texas
felt like a
plates.
lot of the toll roads we were going through, they had
that shit out.
a thing in the center. But I don't know. But yeah, I mean, New York, like I said, I could definitely go back there. I could ride to New York and then come home easy 100 times, because I you could stay close. You could stay in the Smokies all the way up.
Right.
You don't have to go all the way to Virginia Beach.
Right,
You could stay and go up through like West Virginia, and you can stay in the nice riding and kind of skip all that other shit. But and when we left there, we basically rode Long Island. We rode all the way to the end, and we jumped onto the Orient Ferry.
Yep.
Right.
That was nice when we got out
Orient
there.
Point.
Orient Point, yeah, and
was nice.
that was another
That was dope.
side of New York.
A lot of
that,
wineries, like
a lot of people running on the highway.
farmland, Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
It was nice.
Especially Orient Point. Like once you got to that community, you could tell that was a
Long Island
community
was
that
dope.
was like frozen in. You know, talking about roads though, leaving out east of the city, all throughout Long Island. God, those roads were the
They were
worst.
terrible
Yeah.
too.
The worst. But no, by the time you got to Orient Point to catch the ferry, the thing that I thought was really unique was it was, I don't know, what did it take us, 2 hours to get there, give or take?
I'd say
Give
hour
or
and a
take.
half, 2 hours. Yeah.
It was
It was 100 miles. It was
a
exactly
world
100 miles.
of difference.
Yeah.
A world of difference. And that particular, because it was the furthest point in Long Island, right? So those people essentially knew that unless if you're coming from Connecticut on the ferry, there's only one way into that town.
Yeah.
It's like, it's Madrid, right?
no shit.
Only one way in, one road through this town. And that's where, like Jace was saying, everybody was just on the roads, free. The place felt frozen in time in a
Yeah,
sense.
it really
was
did.
like, it was what I would picture 50s or 60s, just hometown being, kind of in a sense. The way that they depict them in the films.
Yeah, it
specifically.
kind of seems like just an old farm town, like
Yeah.
an old, like just older crowd, farmers, wineries.
It was weird. It was wineries out there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
A lot of wine.
Who knew there was a lot of wineries in Long Island, New York?
Yeah, no.
But there's a bunch, and it was either wineries or like antique shops.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of those too. Yeah, yeah.
But that's the thing, because everybody that we was talking about that was out there running and having their good time, wasn't nobody like below 60. Everybody is like retirement age out there.
Right.
So a hidden gem, I guess, for retirees.
Yeah.
I heard that Montauk, which is on the southern fork of the island, has a lot of badass like food places. I think it's more of a destination people go to hang out and ride there for a Saturday, eat and come home.
Yeah.
But
But the ferry wasn't bad either. The ferry was actually pretty quick. It was
It's quicker than we
hour
thought
and
it
a
was
half,
going to be.
maybe.
Yeah.
Not even
80 minutes. Yeah.
By the time we got checked in, so by the time we parked, basically we parked, we started walking upstairs, the boat was already docking, right? We showed up 2.5 hours before our reservation time,
Yeah.
I think, give or take.
And they let us on our.
And they let us on the earlier shuttle, which was awesome.
Yep.
And then and we parked our bikes, kind of secured everything, walked upstairs. Boat was already docking off. We're off, right? So by the time we got up, figured out where we were on the ship, and like we ordered some food, right? So that was kind of our breakfast, and finished that up, and we had maybe 30, 40 minutes left on the boat
we
ride.
went
it was
to
great.
the top deck and just observed.
It was great.
Coming into New London, Connecticut.
Came through there, and there was like, what was there? Super duper unique submarine building facilities.
Yeah.
Right? That was awesome. Like you literally saw like a bunch of shells in different stages for submarines, military grade submarines. It was awesome.
I heard that was a big thing right there in that part of Connecticut.
Yeah, that's
submarines.
That's really
one of the local guys that was on there said about that. There's like, this is where it happens. This is where it gets down.
Yeah. I
How
mean,
cool is
that's really
That's
why
super
my
cool.
cousin was there. You know, y'all went going.
that's right.
Yeah, because he.
It was dope. As soon as we got off the boat, we had some homies right there,
Yeah, that
ready
was
to
cool.
rip.
Waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool.
It's the local flavor. I'm telling you, it's the tour guide thing is good. It is a good thing. It's why we try to be ambassadors for our own city when people come through. Mm-hmm. But when it's reciprocated and y'all show us like what is what wherever we are, it's so much.
And honestly,
appreciated.
like,
so we're
you
just
know,
not walking around.
Somebody
stupid.
could come to your area and you're like, that shit's gay. I've been there 100 times.
Yeah.
But to them,
It's everything.
they're gonna be like, oh man, this is fucking badass, you know, or like somebody comes in town, and you take them to Strokers. How many fucking times we've been to Strokers, right? Same shit. But to them,
Take it easy, bro. I love strokes.
shit's fucking. No, I do too. I like it too.
I'm hashtag team
But I'm
strokers.
like, dude, some people are like, oh, they're fucking gay. We go there all the time. But like you said,
Yeah,
you get somebody
no.
out of town that
yeah,
they've
Hey,
heard
you
about
gotta
it.
do it. Come on.
Yeah,
Come
like
on.
fuck yeah, let's take you there, man, because they're probably gonna enjoy it, you know, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that getting off the boat and or ship, whatever the fuck it's called, the ferry.
Yeah.
It's called a merkin.
What's American?
There
Why you got this shit up here?
I shaved half the mohawk
Oh,
off when I
God,
got
we're talking
back.
about this?
The top half. Wait, you said what the fuck's on the back of your head?
Oh man.
It's
Okay.
Yeah,
I remember that.
I don't know. I like the whole part. As soon as we got off the boat, we're in Connecticut, so we're kind of knocking off that part.
Yeah.
That state as well, riding through some of it at least. We decided to eat in Rhode Island at a place where that was where the heat started to get to me because we ended up sitting outside
It was hot
in
as
the
fuck
sun,
when we got in Connecticut.
and we all talked about how bad we wanted to eat chowder on this trip. And that was the only time I ever tried it. I didn't have it anywhere else, and I didn't enjoy it because I was,
It was so
fucking
hot.
burned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
that wasn't
So
you
many
talking about
fancy people
the
there?
Red's Eats or whatever.
No.
Oh yeah.
This
In
is the
Rhode
place
Island.
in Rhode Island. The first place we stopped, I
It's
think
like
we
an
had
outdoor spot.
Wait,
I
yeah,
wasn't there.
it was like the yacht club.
Oh,
Remember
yeah,
that?
yeah.
So many
with the
fucking
thick butt
fancy
waitress.
people.
Yeah, yeah. You got stuck on the that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And homeboy said that that literally that's all that there is here. There's just boat people because this is boat territory, right? So we're like, okay.
Providence, right? Rhode Island?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
But I mean, it was crazy. As soon as we got off the boat, I mean, it was it wasn't even hardly shit of miles to get from the boat to,
It was 100 miles.
it was 100 miles exactly. Yeah, that's right, because it was 100 miles,
was 100 miles
to the ferry and
to
100
Boston.
miles off the ferry to our,
Yeah.
to the
Spot
T to our
on, yeah,
door.
yeah.
Yeah. And another thing about Boston, the neighborhoods, which reminded me of Milwaukee, is the liquor stores in the neighborhoods.
Yeah.
You don't have that shit here, man.
Corner store,
yeah,
bro.
it is.
Just a corner store.
Corner store has everything you need.
for
You
sure.
can go in there and get fucking Jameson or some bologna.
Or baby powder.
Exactly.
Or baby powder. Yeah.
It's like that corner store
Services that
It
community.
facilitates that neighborhood. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If you want to go to Walmart, you still can, but if you want to just run down quick, go to the corner store.
I feel like the spot we had in Boston was nice.
Dude, it was
A really nice house.
Yeah.
it was way too nice of a house for us to stay in,
Yeah.
honestly.
No, not at
they,
all.
they had rules
Fuck
and shit.
your couch.
The only issue they had there was the AC blew out because of the fucking
Yeah. They're not used to
because
it.
of the heat.
Heat,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Most houses
So
up there probably don't even have AC.
we got switched into the opposite side, and the hosts were actually very accommodating. They gave us a bunch of good reviews, so that was dope. But
Oh, did they? Oh, that's awesome.
it's one of those things it was so hot, unseasonably hot, right? In the north, it just doesn't get there. you have to understand. So I don't know what the actual temperature was. It was well into the
95
90s
one day,
right? So by the time we got into our Airbnb, the temperature it was a split level home. The temperature upstairs was like 89 degrees, right? It was insane.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had to figure a way to solve that because we were already. You can't go from being hot off the bikes to a hot crib. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, that was. Yeah.
So fortunately, yeah, we were able to solve that, but
it
was a good.
It was
landing
never
base.
quite as comfortable as it could have been, but the house was nice. They had a parking lot for our bikes, which was a thing that we were kind of concerned about, and also not knowing these cities, right? Not knowing where we're going to be okay.
Is it a rough neighborhood or
Quincy,
is it not?
Quincy, Massachusetts.
North Quincy.
Yeah.
Totally different vibe than.
So Quincy's like an
NYC,
Asian town.
right?
Yeah.
Like it's a predominantly
Yeah.
Asian
Yeah.
town, or what we would call a suburb. It's its own little thing, but we would call it a suburb of Boston.
Right.
And yeah, like it to the point where you're in town. Jacob or Larry and I went and did laundry. Trent went to another place. Half the road signs once you get into town are in, I don't know what the dialect is, but they're an
really?
Asian something. It's
Really? I didn't see
symbols.
that.
It's not anything, but a lot of like the road signs.
Holy shit.
So
It's a trip.
They're in tattoo signs.
How about the fact that though y'all could really tell the difference by the time we got there? Like we were in the oldest part of this country,
Yeah.
and the neighborhoods, everything showed it, right?
Yeah.
They live so differently than the way that we live here, right?
Yeah.
A 20-year-old house in DFW is a throwaway house for a lot of people, which is it's nuts. It's someone in Quincy that's been around for so many years, right? Would look at somebody who ditches a house from the 90s because they think it's getting old and just laugh,
Like
right?
it's a new car.
100-plus-year-old
1800 house.
homes every single
Yeah.
place in the neighborhood. And like
I
that
see crazy winners.
yeah,
Crazy
exactly.
with
And
it.
I've lived in something like that, so it wasn't as much of a trip. But the age is something that you just have to respect. It's you can't fake it.
Yeah.
You can't substitute it. They have been maintaining this home, this property, for 150 years. It's respect.
Wild.
I mean, I think you guys know I didn't really enjoy Boston much at all.
Nah.
But partly, a lot of that was to do with the fact that, like, the heat of that day, and then the lack of us getting something to fucking eat.
Yeah.
Because the food that I ate
That'll
at
kill
that
you. That'll ruin a day for you.
that restaurant,
hangry.
Boys got hungry.
Boy.
yeah,
For me,
dude,
a
I
couple
was
times.
I was irritated about everything.
Yeah.
So it's like I was so fucking hungry because that clam chowder was garbage at that place we ate it at, and that's all I fucking got.
Yeah.
So I'm like, as soon as we get there, I'm like, man, is there a fucking McDonald's or something? And they were like, oh, we're gonna go eat. I'm like, all right, cool, I'll chill. And then we're not going to eat, and I'm like, dude, are we gonna fucking eat? Like, I'm fucking hungry. And then it's like, all right, let's go get on the subway. We're gonna go downtown and eat. And I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Get downtown.
Then some fucking nerd picks up a tour guide on the fucking subway.
That was the worst.
Jesus Christ.
This dude
kid-
starts taking us to fucking like
Uptown
clubs.
fucking,
I'm
yeah.
like,
I was stoked
give me the
because-
fucking Chili's, dude. Anything right now. I'm just fucking hungry.
I was stoked because I thought he would actually like
Party with us?
lead us to where I didn't give a fuck if he hung out or not because it was just a random guy on the subway, right?
Yeah, he got
But
off
I
his-
thought he would lead us to where we needed to be. This motherfucker didn't even know his way
Yeah.
around town, so I
He
think
started
that put
taking
us
us
in
to
a
places
wrong
that
way.
had lines, dude. I'm
Yeah.
too old for lines.
Yeah,
Took
I
us
don't
to the
wait in
biggest
line to get in a
tourist
fucking
spot.
bar.
He took us to like a touristy spot,
Yeah.
like a
In Uptown Dallas.
exactly, but it was
It
one of those
was
things where it's
outside.
heavy
Every
college
fucking
area.
thing closed to eat. Like
Yeah.
there's a Mexican joint we passed by. I'm like let's just go there. And then no, it's right around the corner. So we follow him to this line that's going down the street, and I'm like,
No.
We never even got
dude, I run back to the Mexican spot, and they're like, oh, we closed 15 minutes ago for food. I'm like, dude, can I get some chips and salsa? Like there's no fucking 7-Eleven down there to get a goddamn
Beef some butthead nachos.
something. Dude, I was so pissed, and then I was like, I'm fucking done. I don't even feel like drinking tonight.
Yeah, he just went back.
So
Yeah,
I
but-
try to get an Uber
Yeah.
It was a fail,
Yeah.
right? Because the Uber, it was like 7 miles back to our fucking place.
Yeah.
But for those people in Boston that are doing those quick rides here and there,
They don't
they're
want to
like,
leave the city.
I don't want to leave. I don't want to go 7 miles out of town for $15.
Yeah.
I had to pick the most expensive Uber there was
Word.
to get someone to actually take the ride. It ended up costing me $38 to go 7 fucking miles. I had them take me to Applebee's. I had a
Yo, if this motherfucker wasn't hangry, I don't know what you can say.
Fucking Applebee's,
I'm
man.
I
gonna
had
spend
a-
all my money
I
to
had
go
a
eat some fucking
great-
riblets.
I had
This
a great.
fucking meal was cheaper than the Uber.
This bitch. I was so comfortable.
The fucking meal was, and I had a beer. It was cheaper.
God,
Yeah,
God forbid you be uncomfortable.
Fuck.
That's funny.
yeah it was.
We eventually made it, but I'll say this. So
It does,
So we
man.
we did Boston right after New York,
Yeah.
right? The comparison between the two, like you had spoke about earlier, where New York was with like how they were treating masks and just letting people in. We were able to navigate the streets, no problem. But we said it when we went out that night. It's like if you weren't a local, you were not really
You're
welcome.
not really welcome, yeah.
And it was a trip because we were able to meet up with a couple of our friends that we had
Yeah.
there, and that was awesome.
Kevin
but
and,
even they,
What was that?
Shiz
Shizglad.
glad.
What's his
Yeah.
name? What was his name?
but even they, we went to like their local spots, and we had the doors were locked.
Yeah, locked.
with locals inside.
You can see the
getting it.
motherfuckers in there partying
And we
drinking.
had to
Well, they got the
rap
doors
on the
locked.
door to get into the motherfucker
Yeah.
to spend our money.
Yeah.
It was the hardest I think I've ever worked to get a drink.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's crazy.
So I was with Trent and
And
somebody else, and I came up a little bit behind y'all in the first bar. And same thing, I was like, "Fuck, there, shit's going on in there."
Yeah.
Knocked on the door, and the guy opened the door. And he goes, "Yeah, fuck off. We're at capacity."
It's weird.
And closed the door and locked it. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I turned around. I was like, I don't even know what the fuck to do. Like, do I knock
welcome.
again? Yeah. So of course we knocked again, and he popped out. and He's like, "Just three, yeah. I guess. Come on."
Right.
I got in, and all my friends were there. I was like, "You
Yeah.
motherfucker!
I
The
was
bar's not
with
even
him.
close to capacity."
Yeah.
The rules
We
were
ended up
so
ordering like 20
great.
beers just right off the bat, so
Correct.
everybody could get 3 or 4 down. We was chugging fucking
Yeah.
beers. Well, that place shut.
I will say that the end spot though, that I'm
The
sorry,
end spot
you're probably
fucked.
leading to that.
No, yeah, I was just gonna say that. That motherfucker, they pretty much kicked us out of there. Well, there was
But yeah, what,
another
3:30
bar.
in the morning for? I mean,
No, it wasn't that. No,
no,
it's
it
like
wasn't late
that
at
bar.
all.
That bar
They
closed at
closed
like
at
11.
Yeah, they all closed super.
And there was a
early.
bar down the street. It's like, oh, it stays up till
no,
12.
the
Let's go down there.
I thought the second one though. I thought we drank there till like 2.
So the second one we did end
2:30?
up drinking there a little bit later, but it
Then-
still wasn't like late.
No, I would say it was before 1.
But here's the
Oh,
deal: we got there essentially after they were closed. That was the weirdest thing about it is they didn't really have.
but that's
or
one of the guys
abide
taking the
by
car bombs
posted-
with us, right? He did
Yeah.
like 3
Correct.
last calls.
Yeah.
They didn't. They wouldn't even say like literally when we went to the first bar. When do y'all close? 11 to 12. What?
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 Is it 11 or is it fucking 12?
It didn't make sense. So something was going on. So there was I don't know.
Well,
Some
it's probably
wokeness or
like if
something.
they're busy, they may stay up a little
Right.
later. If not, the fucking close,
rightfully
you know.
so. So
Yeah.
we ended up at what was
Fast Life crew in there.
our last bar.
Bitch, you
And,
know who I
uh,
am.
You're staying open.
That bartender was outstanding.
Yes, he
outstanding.
was a-
they were closed,
And we
let us
busted.
in.
We bust up in
and
this
drank with
motherfucker.
us
There's
for like
like
an hour and a
5
half.
people in here, and we bring 8 or 9 in. He's
No.
like, "All right, guys, I'll get
All
you
right,
one."
Yeah, 8 or 9. We had some hang-ons too. Yeah, we brought people to that one.
Yeah. He's like, "All right, I'll get you guys some beers or whatever."
One round.
And then we're like, everybody just kind of keeps ordering. He's like, "All right, guys, getting ready to close." And we're like, "Car bombs!" We did like 3 rounds of car bombs. He's like, "All right, y'all got to fucking go."
He did one with y'all though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the thing.
Why would
and
you want to
honestly,
just stay and take the money?
I agreed, but apparently it was.
But
I
he
don't
was
know
real
if it was like a
jovial.
municipality thing or whatever. It was like I said, it was really a gray area of maybe they just had some rules drop on them or something, so they weren't exactly sure themselves.
Well,
so they were
a lot of
because
the-
it certainly wasn't what they would consider normal.
Well, Kevin then was saying like they 3 weeks before prior just came off like all the
Yes.
super COVID restriction
Yes.
shit, you know. So
Major difference. And honestly, you know what? By the time we got to that last bar, like massive shout out to Kevin because he laced it all out. And
Teabagger.
that was awesome. That was awesome. It was so good to see you, dude. Appreciate you.
He said,
and that was just,
he said his wife wasn't proud of his performance that night because he came in and pissed on the rug.
My man.
Dude, I believe it. We drink a lot.
Yeah, we drank a lot
Very, very short period of time.
Yeah, quick.
Like from 11
And
to 12, we
next time I
drank
go
a
outside
lot.
and take a piss, I'm going to look up his name, his actual God-given name. But Shizglide. Motherfucker with a green street glide.
Yeah.
Like a
Called
fucking-
Dragon.
Yeah.
And
Was he?
Fucking-
Oh, no, there's only one.
fucking burning it down the street.
Oh, dude, so badass.
Oh yeah, I saw the videos of that shit,
Yeah.
man.
You got it.
Well, I went back home and watched movies on.
Bubble Bad Jace that night. Bubble Bad Jace.
Yeah.
I was. I started, dude. I went through this phase of watching. I think I started watching Wall Street that night.
The first one or the second one?
The first Wall Street.
The first one?
Yeah, the old one with.
Okay, yeah, because I
with
thought
Charlie Sheen.
I remember you when we were. Fuck, I don't remember where it was. You were still watching. I thought you had watched them in reverse.
Well, I'd seen the.
Wish we could take a time out on this. I just want to go like the 4 or 5 of us. Like, oh, let's expand on that. I got a couple more things to say about that night. But
Go ahead.
continue. No. We're good. We're good.
No, I just like after I me and Larry actually went to Applebee's.
Dwayne.
Dwayne, yeah. Let's be real.
Yeah, he was being a D-Wayne.
Dwayne.
I'm sorry. I love you, Larry.
So we went there and ate, and after that, man, I was like, man, I don't know if it was like Virginia Beach. We went hard as fuck, man. We really did.
It was a combo.
New York, both nights. I guess we could say that we were.
I went hard both.
We went super hard both nights, but we also did these cool little magic pills that make it to where you can go harder and it doesn't actually feel like you went harder. So I think that Boston was kind of like reminding me, hey, dude, you didn't get fucked up the last 2 nights because of us. And now we need rest, right? So that's what I felt like happened to me that night. I tried to drink whenever Joe Kidd was over at the house that night with everybody. And I sat there, I was pounding beers, and I just never got drunk.
Yeah.
I hadn't laughed
were
that
just-
hard. I haven't laughed as hard as I laughed.
Dude, I was laying in the room trying to watch a movie, and I'm like, I got to come in here and listen to this.
It's so
shit,
funny,
dude.
dude. That dude's got some stories.
Oh,
man.
my
Fucking
God.
hilarious.
The way he says them too. He's
fucking, was it Taylor?
How
Taylor and
nice would it
Brennan
be to
is-
hear
Oh
that?
my god, dude! Taylor and Brendan,
Wouldn't y'all
yeah,
love to hear that version of the Joe Kid podcast?
Oh my god! Right? Fuck.
That should be wild.
Yeah, that dude's wild, man. He's got some stories.
Hey man, you remember that thing we
But
did
that was
together?
that was the second night in Boston. That was
Yeah.
yeah.
That was night 2. Yeah.
Oh my
Night-
god.
Yeah,
that
we
was
you
such
know
a funny night.
the guys that linked up with us and we went to essentially go have dinner with
Oh yeah. Taylor and Brennan.
Taylor and Brennan. Yeah, so we went and had
cool
dinner with
spot,
those
too.
dudes at that spot, that Lincoln Tavern, I think is
Yeah,
what it was.
Lincoln Tavern.
Fancy.
Dope spot, nice area. They came back with us. They damn near stayed there till 1 or 2 in the morning.
Yeah, and rode home, and
Yeah,
then
and then
came back the
came
next
back
morning to ride with us.
8
to
o'clock in
Maine.
the morning.
Yeah, that was crazy.
And
Big
shout out when we were at the place, whatever the restaurant was,
Lincoln Tavern.
The Lincoln Tavern. Hey. I think his name was Devin. It's D Heavenly or whatever. Him and his wife came out. Same thing. Follow the podcast or something, but they saw we were here and they showed up. He was somebody sent me a picture, or Jacob sent me a picture while I was out smoking. He was like, "Are we expecting another one?" I was like, "No, dude. It's just everybody that's on this party is here." And he goes, "Because there's a dine." And he sent me a picture of this dude's bike. He's like, "There's a dude that like would fuck with us, like that would fit in with us if." And so that guy, they saw we were on the trip and they saw where we were going, so they rolled through just to say what's up. Like and they said they didn't even want to come bother us at dinner, like they knew where we were at. So him and his wife kind of hung out, and then when we came out to get on the bikes, they came out and said what's up.
Yeah.
Like I
that's
said,
cool.
it's D Heavenly, I think. I'll look it up again, but they were him and his wife were fucking super rad.
Yeah.
If nothing else, just hang out for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
that's the shit that, like I said, you just can't put it into words what it means. Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like-
You're in my neighborhood. You're in my state.
Yeah.
come to Dallas,
I'm just
you're
going to
staying with
come
me, bro.
through.
Like,
yeah.
I got you. Like,
yeah, I got you.
whether it's a guest suite at my building or like staying with me, like I
Right.
got you. Come on.
Right.
Yeah, that shit was really cool. You know what I mean? Like all that. Just like I said, this trip, I think the thing that
stuck out the most?
The things that stuck out the most and really became the dominant force of this trip is basically the people we saw in each city, in each area.
Right.
And we still have a lot more people to talk about on this trip, but just up until that point, I mean, these dudes, they partied with us in Boston that night at the room or at the Airbnb, showed back up the next morning pretty fucking early.
Yeah, ready to go.
And hopped on the
We
bikes
weren't
and
waiting on
rode with
them,
us.
for sure.
No,
Yeah.
for sure.
Rode with us all the way to the lighthouse.
Yeah.
You know, and at this point, I feel like this is where, after we left Boston, I think that this is where I felt like I wanted to see things, but we couldn't. You know what I mean? I want to take that road, or I want to hang out here, and we had this.
Started getting pressed on time.
Yeah, so Boston, we had this lighthouse to go to in Maine, and then we had Niagara Falls, right? So we had essentially
2 destinations.
2 days to do this, and it was roughly 750 or 800 miles, right? Yeah, actually, I think it was 800 miles.
Yeah.
Right? So
And
Not a problem if it's the first day, right?
Yeah, no,
it's like
no,
we talked
no.
about. But if we're 6 or 7 days in already,
And once
with
again,
lots of partying going on, nobody's at 100%, right? Our power meter.
that's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's middle of the trip.
Yeah.
So-
It's fucking hot. Everybody's
Dude, it was
tired.
hot.
A little bit annoyed.
That's the thing
you
that was
know.
gassing us up.
the heat was what was fucking with us.
The heat
'cause
killed us on this trip. It really
I
did.
do agree with that. I think this trip would have been different.
I brought hoodies.
Dude,
I brought 3
That's what
hoodies.
I
Didn't
did.
wear
Yeah.
one. No,
I
I didn't.
brought my
I'm
fucking
sorry.
thermals and
North
shit,
Carolina.
thinking once we get up there, it's gonna be chilly in the morning.
I wore my freeze out stuff to like Chattanooga.
Right,
And I think
right.
after that, I was like, I think I'm good with just like an undershirt.
Yeah.
Then after that, I was like, motherfucker, I gotta buy some sunblock.
Yeah,
Bought
it's
it.
hot as
Yeah.
balls.
Yeah, I had burn lotion with me the whole time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, like Maine was obviously like that was the thing for us that we really wanted to hit, which is Marshall Point Lighthouse, which is the one from the Forrest Gump movie.
Yeah.
And
I was emotional
that
on
didn't
that one.
That was
disappoint.
fucking good, dude. Once we got there to the
Once you
lighthouse
got
and
off
that breeze,
once you hit that peninsula going south,
yes,
dude, it was like,
I felt real good.
okay,
on that.
this is
okay, this is what
yeah,
Maine
yeah.
feels like. You know, breeze. It's probably, I would say, it was upper
so
70s.
good.
Like
Yeah,
it felt
Oh,
good.
it dropped 20 degrees.
Oh,
dude,
dude,
so good.
As soon as you got
Nipples got hard.
yeah.
Fuck.
I was like, fuck, let's just stay here.
But even like riding through some of those little towns on the way to the lighthouse, you get those like northeast beach towns, if
Yeah,
you will.
right.
I'm like, man, this is beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then you get to the lighthouse, and it's like not as big as we thought it was.
It's all good.
But
It's all good.
it was dope seeing it. You know what I mean? As like since we've been back, I actually watched Forrest Gump again,
Yeah.
and they actually showed that lighthouse like more than one scene,
Oh,
if
really?
you will, in that thing. It was pretty dope. But yeah,
They had
dude,
the-
it was.
They had the little poster and clip and everything inside the little museum
Yeah.
joint. It's a long 1993 is when it was filmed,
Oh.
Oh yeah,
bro.
yeah.
It's wild. It didn't even feel like that long ago.
We're chasing this shit 30 years
Almost
later.
30 years,
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
Just shy of 30
nutty.
years.
I mean,
But let's fucking be honest. That's one of the best movies ever made.
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy it.
The thing about that spot,
Some hardcore film guy right now is going, I've heard like real snotty film guys are like, that like, higher level critics kind of shit on
Whatever,
Forrest
dude.
Gump.
We
but
need to.
We don't
as
watch
far
the
as like
same
me,
fucking
like,
movies they do
yeah,
anyway,
exactly.
so.
Like
I love
So-
their movies.
I know we've hit several, right?
Yeah.
And one I do want to hit is kind of in the end, and it's a flash scene, you know, where he's running or whatever. It's like a rock bridge
yeah.
going across some water, but it's like mirrored because
yeah,
you can see
yeah.
it in the water.
We gotta
need
find
to
that
figure out
one.
where the fuck that's at.
hit that in the fall too.
Yeah.
Because that's
That's
what
definitely
so,
the internet.
Yeah, so on the movie, you have the part where he actually does the run.
Yes.
And then you have this other part at the end where I think he's talking to somebody, like I think he's talking to Jenny, and he's like, that's when he's brought up that part. It's like there's parts where I couldn't tell where the sky ended and the earth began,
Oh,
those
yeah.
type of things.
Yeah.
And so they showed a lot of different spots on that part of the movie. And it's just I don't know, man, like traveling the country, like you have to find a reason. Why do we want to go to Maine, right? You can do the Bar Harbor thing, which is probably going to be
everybody does,
the
yeah.
best thing, but
Right.
does going to like the main spots does going to Miami, like do you feel like you did anything? Like, we're going to Miami to
Cocaine.
do what?
So you don't do
What
anything-
everybody else does that doesn't have an
Lots of blow.
imagination of like traveling.
You don't do anything unique.
Yeah, unique.
To the point where
Sorry, didn't you go to Miami to get your?
no, where we had
Hey, I
gotten
rode
off,
through South Beach.
we had gotten off the bikes at the lighthouse, right? And at that, two things that are very memorable about that, not involving actually us. Number one, we were at a gas stop 10 miles away, very short. And when we stopped there was this random fucking yokel, Mainer, that
The people were
rolled up.
exceptionally nice.
Dude,
No, I'm talking about homeboy on the sport bike, right?
you look like a cow.
He rolls up on his sport bike, no shirt off or shirts off, just like living his best life. And we said,
Hey, what y'all doing?
we said we're going to this lighthouse that was literally 10 miles away. Not even. He
Nobody told him
he
that
said
in the
what?
podcast, right? Because that's the dude that we all took bets on. Whose helmet is he going to steal?
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough.
100%. But at the fact that he in his backyard, this is my point. In his backyard, had no idea
About
this
this
place,
Yeah.
and we just traveled all the way across the United States to see it.
Yeah.
It just shows the difference in humanity, right? And then the
He
second,
at a gas station 30
Yeah.
miles from it. He goes, fuck it, I'm around with
Shit,
y'all.
it was like 10, 15
that's what I'm
miles.
saying. It's
yeah.
right down the street. But then the second thing was when we showed up, there was a photographer there. Those two gals that were just taking some shots of probably just traditional Maine scenery, right?
The one me and you were
and
talking
then
about?
they like chuckle. Oh, you guys are doing a Forrest Gump trip or something like that? And we said yes, like dead ass.
And they fucking died.
And they're like,
laughing.
wait, what?
Are you serious?
What?
Yeah.
Serious? They're like, yeah, bro. Like this is one of many, many stops, and they're like, that is the coolest shit ever.
Yeah.
And to me, I don't know. Once we got to that space, like you were saying, we're going up and down the coast area there, and it was like little fishing villages, that type of thing. That's the closest feel on the far east coast as Bodega Bay area is on the far west coast.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it's
Yeah.
clear across the country, and it has the same vibe. Both oceans, same vibe.
Yeah.
It's dope.
It really does.
It was dope. But once we got there, it was like, it was special. I think it was special for all of us because it was our furthest point.
It's the first one we ever reached.
Furthest point
You know?
we've ever reached.
Yeah.
And we all did it together. Nobody stopped. Nobody had
No
kinda
bike
like
problems
stop
up
it.
until
Not
that
yet.
point.
Up until then.
Not yet.
It
Now
was
here we go.
morale boost. It was a morale boost.
And
I agree. I
If
think
you
it
got
was
there
a
and all of a
morale
sudden it was
boost.
like, fuck yeah,
Yeah,
we're doing this.
It did pump me up once we got
All of
there.
a sudden you're like, let's fucking do
And
it.
then
Like,
fucking-
we're on the back half, like this is the second half. Let's fucking do it,
And
dude.
Chance had
I
them
was-
dope ass
That's
gumps
the-
on.
I don't know.
That was a
if
cool
that
thing.
was
I
Chance-
absolutely
Chance's
hate that I didn't
idea.
think of something like that.
Dude,
I
me too.
loved-
When he told me that before the
loved
trip,
it.
I was like, "That's a fucking
He told you
good
before
idea."
the trip?
Yeah. He's like, "Man, I'm gonna wear these shoes, you know, when we get there, and I'll get everybody to sign them, you know, once we're there, and I'll hang them up or whatever, you know." I'm like, "Dude, that's a fucking great idea. I
is.
never
It really
thought
was.
of that.
I
Never
felt
thought of that.
special just being a part of that, even if it's.
I hate the way I signed my name on it.
I didn't
It doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter.
Yeah, Jaden
I
just
signed it like I
Jaden
signed a
just
check.
Jaden.
It doesn't even matter.
I saw that like you did your name in print, and I'm like,
No, I signed. I did cursive.
I did mine like I normally sign some shit, which doesn't fucking make any sense even to me, and I know my name. I'm like, I wish I just wrote my name Jace on there. It's like I was like, fuck.
He still got him. We can fix it.
No, believe me. I think that to us 9 guys, like that stupid fucking tennis shoe, will forever be like the solidarity of this whole trip.
Yeah,
Well, he'll be able to pull it out in 30 years, and God willing, who's
Yeah,
here.
let me tell you a story.
God willing, who's still here, we'll be able to look at it and get a fucking feeling that nobody, like, what, one of 9, like whoever was, you know, there's nobody, everybody else will go, oh, it's a fucking shoe somebody
Did
signed.
the
But
other
we'll
dude
all
sign
get
it?
fucking,
I don't believe so. And you know what? I really respect how courteous they were.
Yeah.
Gee,
They were. They made the effort to ride with us, and they didn't. It was a long distance. It wasn't anything close, but they also understood that it wasn't their trip, right? And they were so goddamn courteous to the point where they didn't even want to be in our group photo by the lighthouse. But we said, "No, come the fuck on," because like this is your accomplishment as well. And that was, I think that would probably meant a lot to them.
Dude,
you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Because
and there's a bunch of motherfuckers that could take some notes from Taylor and Brendan both, because there's a bunch of motherfuckers out there that follow brands, and you're in this for brand recognition and to get a fucking repost. These guys are the salt of the earth people. They were not looking for a fucking plug. They weren't looking for a mention. They came to the fucking camp out. Yeah. This is over likes of the same bike. Of me fucking hitting Taylor up a couple years ago, dude, I love your bike, whatever. Turned into a little friendship thing. Next thing you know, they wanted to come to the camp out a year ago, and they had like a crazy winter storm. Well, not only COVID, they had a winter storm where they're like, dude, we kind of can't get out of Massachusetts right now. Like, it's really bad up here. And they were pissed. They rode all the way to Oklahoma just in April. So as far as like, this isn't like, they're not chasing. These are just dudes that do what the fuck we do. Yeah. Except up there, and we even talked about some of the trips and planning stuff like that. And I said, you know, if you ever want to do a bigger group, they're like, dude, there is like, it's us two. Like, we've tried, we've looked around, we don't have like, it's us two. I don't know. I can't give both of those guys enough props because, like I said, they didn't. Just like you said, they didn't want to be in the picture. They didn't ask for. They didn't ask for a single
Hey, you think
thing.
I can get a shout out on your Instagram?
Yeah, no. They were the fucking cool suits. And then since then, Taylor was working, but Brendan turned around and made it to the East Jessup's bike night.
Oh, yeah. The first one's been on it.
Yes. Just, I don't know. I just respect it. Like, you won't hear me say that much. I respect both of those.
To me, that's all it is.
More than I can say. Like, I love a lot of dudes, and I fucking hang out. I'm cool with a lot of guys. I respect those fucking two guys.
When you talk about respect being an earned item, that element right there earned my respect.
How about the cat?
AJ?
Is it AJ?
AJ.
The guy.
That was the randomest
AJ Gillis,
ever, dude.
yes.
They caught us.
Random as fuck.
As we were leaving.
Vermont?
Vermont. He's
Way
a
up there
fucking
in
hog. In Joe Kidd's terms, a fucking hog. You know, somebody that fucking rides and just badass. He's a fucking hog, dude.
Hey, y'all know how close Joe Kidd was from coming with us?
Oh, yeah. You could tell he wanted to go
I
so
feel like if we all would have given
if we
the
would have
full
told him we
court
was going
press,
to Bentley's, he would have been in.
if we would have all given the full court press, we maybe
Forgot
could
about
have
that.
Yeah. So close.
But no, AJ, yes. AJ is a fucking hog, dude.
The dude just like, I mean, to give you guys an idea of what AJ did, he was messaging myself. I think he might have been messaging you as well. Yep. He's like, where y'all going to be? And he was trying to plan it out. And he was trying to catch us at the lighthouse, but we had already left. And we were literally taking a left to get back on the main road to basically essentially go back home.
To disappear, yeah.
And he just...
To head back towards where the fuck he came from.
Yeah, right.
He did 300 and so miles to get to us.
On a whim. Without any communication.
Woke up that morning, took off,
and then turned around, and we didn't even stop for another 100 miles.
Yeah, he rode with... Who knows if he needed gas or nothing?
Yeah, no, we just like, I guess he's with us now.
Y'all want to believe in some fate
So we stopped and got gas, and then... You know, after that gas stopped, the other cats, you know, kept moving south, and then he stayed with us, and we went into we went through Laconia, and I think he burnt off before that.
He
was in Laconia with us.
After
he gassed at Laconia and dipped out from there.
Yep.
The first one, because we'd actually talked to him, was the one where I know Larry got a massage. It was like one of the bigger truck stops.
Yeah, let's give it up for New York at the truck stops. They got those fucking massage chairs everywhere.
Yeah,
that
was
shit
pretty
is
good.
fucking
But no,
good,
he'd been messaging us, same thing, and I was like, man, I can't. Number one, I lost all signal, cell service at the lighthouse, so I couldn't. I felt really bad because I was like, no. It was one of those things where he was like, hey, I'm here. I got his message. I was like, fuck, dude, I have no way to tell him where we are or whatever. So once we left, I got it, and I was like, hey, dude, this is what we just left. I'm sorry, I can't ask. Hey, this guy may or may not show up. You know, we took off, and we're messaging on. You know, we leaving. That's that curvy road. I'm motherfucker. Just because I felt this guy's put in so much effort, like I have to give him trying to keep him updated on where we are. And sure enough, it was one of those. I'm looking at the map. I go, dude, we're on this. If you're on this, you're gonna see us pretty quick. And sure enough, we kind of had it timed up. And when he saw us,
when you
busted a fucking
bitch, you just knew, right?
Yeah.
I knew.
Dyna broed up. He sees us. We see him. He's like,
oh yeah.
Okay, and he just
there they are.
He did that shit.
He took her right, and
ripped
then
with
it
us.
wasn't even an intersection. He took her right, and then just busted a
Yeah.
fucking U-turn
It's
in
part of the
traffic.
line.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, dude, jumped in and was happy to do it, man.
So at that point, that
Shit
had to
gave me
be-
an energy boost. I was like, fuck yeah!
So that was as deep as we were the whole trip, right?
Yeah.
So we were the 9 of us. We added Taylor and Brennan,
Yeah.
and then AJ.
Yeah.
So, we're
12.
rolling a dirty dozen at that point, and that's a lot of fucking bikes, dude. And that was because
That wasn't when we started having problems though yet.
no,
not
that wasn't
yet.
we hadn't made it to New Hampshire yet. I was thinking, but that was a good road.
I'm about to say, let's give it up to New Hampshire. Their
Yeah, we ain't
roads are
got there.
fucking
Yeah, before we get there.
nice.
So
That was a good road.
one of the
though.
last areas before we hit that gas stop, I was like, I want to hang out here.
Yeah.
Like we had went across like some water
Yeah.
in a small little town that was tucked in a little hill. And I'm like, this place looks badass. There's other bikes running around, you know. I'm like, this place is nice. And then that's where we're just getting back to 95,
Yeah.
I think is the highway.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, I was like, there's just so much more, right? There's so much more.
Was that
That's
Laconia?
not.
We
No,
did
that
it
was
Concord.
That was in between.
that was in between the lighthouse and that gas stop
Okay.
where everybody split off. There was a little town tucked on a river, or I think it was like just part of the water that came in far. I don't know what it was, or a lake, but it was fucking nice. And then
We're moving from eastern Maine to the west, right?
Yeah.
And that's where we rode that. Call it
We knew we had
100
to-
or so miles.
we knew we had to make as many miles as we could that day because
So we
To
Niagara
kind of-
was our end spot the next day.
yeah.
So
That
whatever
way we
didn't
could
do
make
that
it.
day, we were doing
Yeah.
the next day.
And we rode through Laconia. That was pretty cool. I mean, we caught it as the sun was going down.
Yeah.
The New Hampshire roads, like you said,
Fucking
got to give it credit.
amazing, man.
They're beautiful.
Amazing.
They're amazing.
I would argue
That was
from
probably
a surface perspective, arguably the best in the United States.
Yeah.
yeah.
Top 5 for sure.
Right.
I enjoyed even just the scenery. You know, like
no, it was beautiful.
Agreed.
it was nice. It was, and I guess we hit at the right time, so there
Yeah.
wasn't a lot of traffic on the road.
Right.
And it gave us a chance to not necessarily haul ass, but just ride at whatever pace we
Open
felt
up.
like it at.
You know what though? I think that's a good point because almost this whole trip, almost the entire trip, right?
Yeah.
We were locked in some sort of traffic. Very, very rarely was it just
Yeah, we didn't
the
open
bikes.
up much.
You know what I'm saying? Whereas like when you go west, like you find yourself the only fucker around for 100 miles sometimes. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like we didn't get that, but only a few times. So when we did get it, we jumped it hard, and that was one of them. That evening when we were able to chase the sun like
Yeah.
that. Like I don't know what it is. Also, when the sun's starting to set, not that we're racing,
It's
but
energy.
we are like it's that second or third or fourth wind. It is
Yeah.
energy to the maximum, and like when I'm doing that with all the homies, it's so fucking fun. Like as soon as the sun goes down, I'm like, "Bap, all right, we can be done." But
Yeah.
until that point, God, it's fucking fun, dude.
Especially in, like literally, we were coming into the town just north of Laconia, which is, I forget what that town was called, but there was like water there. There's a dealership there that we passed. So you
yeah.
could tell that we're coming like 4 or 5 days before Laconia. So
Yeah.
They're setting
the
up.
prep
There was
is already
a-
taking place.
A minimal
Tents outside,
buzz.
yeah.
There was
minimal
a bike buzz
around
going
there.
on,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Police were rolling up and down the street pretty hard too.
Speaking of police.
but yeah, so I mean, like that area, and then like say catching the sun going down, and obviously we're all a little bit timid because of the deer and things like that. With Steve getting hitting one last year, and just trying. I mean, honestly, I barely saw any deer on this whole trip, but
Few.
I
Yeah.
seen some in New York, and that was it.
Yeah.
I didn't see. That's the only time I seen them right on the interstate in New York.
But that's the thing. You don't see deer. You,
you
you don't
don't.
see deer usually till it's too late. And I've been through enough of that in my lifetime that it's just you can do it, but you're rolling the dice, baby.
Yeah.
You're rolling the dice. So
They
that was
fucking
kind of our
hang
rule
out
of
on the
thumb the
side
whole
of the
time was
interstate.
just try to do all our miles during
home.
the day and then wrap it up. So when we got to Laconia, we made the decision. We had contemplated going another 100. We ended up going like another 30 or 40 to Columbus.
Concord.
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 Yeah.
Capital of New Hampshire.
Concord, New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was accommodated.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got
It was a stop.
It was one of the nicest hotels we actually
a
got to
nice
stay in.
Holiday Inn.
baby.
Yeah.
We didn't go out. We didn't drink. It was.
Yeah.
We went to Buffalo that
Got some
night.
B-dub.
Yeah, we did go to Buffalo.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
We drank a little bit, but
B-dub. Because we knew we still had a big day the next day.
Yeah, we had a
and the next
400
day
mile day.
was going to be a big day
Yeah.
from an accommodation standpoint, too. Like, we was making our way to go see homie.
Yeah.
And that was the next day.
That's
Yeah.
roulette, huh? Which one's cold, which one's new.
Yeah, them sides. It's cold.
Yeah, so homie himself on Instagram, he basically set us up at the casino in Niagara Falls, the hotel, and took us to probably one of the most expensive dinners I've ever been a
Best
part
meal
of.
probably ever, yeah.
Super nice.
Good food, great time. Jacob that night was the best.
Boy.
Jacob high. Because I didn't smoke with you guys, but I sat in the car when y'all smoked. And so I had like this contact high, if you will, where things were funny. You know what I mean? And so I was trying to escort Jacob back into the hotel. And, but there's actually a big thing that took place before we even get to Niagara on that day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
we
yeah.
skipped it.
Yeah,
Sorry, backtrack.
Whoops. My
Yeah,
bad.
it's pretty notable. We might as well say, essentially,
Just outside.
on the latter half of this trip, so Syracuse, New York was where we're talking about performance, Harley Davidson. We had bike issues for essentially the second time, but the real first time that was impacting our trip.
Right.
And Trent, goddamn it, if it wasn't him again, right?
Pulley boats.
Trent, if
Backed
y'all
up.
don't know, let's reverse back all the way to our original fucking trip, the
That
Cali
one.
trip,
That
the
trip.
one up on the wall that gets referred to all the time. Like, that's what really jumped us off. There's 6 men on this picture. There was 7 men that started that trip.
Yep.
And Trent was one of them, and it wasn't but 400 miles into the trip, and his pulley bolts sheared off, fucked his whole trip, didn't make it, right? Trent's had a run of bad luck.
Yeah.
So when we were in Syracuse, New York, what the fuck happened? His pulley bolts
Going down
did it
the
again,
interstate.
right?
Yeah.
The same fucking thing to the same fucking man.
Yeah.
Just couldn't have written it any differently.
Right.
But I think somehow in his mind and in his heart of hearts, he was saying, not this motherfucking time. It's not gonna happen to me again. So what ended up happening was we got ourselves into the local dealership, was that Performance Harley.
Which shout out to them. They're very accommodating.
Big shout out. It was crazy because we got in there. Yo, they dropped everything.
Every one of their techs started looking at his bike.
Tex said, like, we was in there, right? And ultimately he ended up being given a decision to make, just like anybody on the road that has some issues. And it was, wait for a repair item, or let's get you on a bike, brother. And man, this man decided to buy a
Trade in
motorcycle.
his shit.
He bought himself a motorcycle
Brand
on the
new
road.
2021.
Looking like chips over here, motherfucking
Motherfucking road
King.
king. No, I'm glad you brought up
the
that
spirit.
trip. But one thing I want to say about him before, as far as like he had the worst luck on the first, obviously of the first trip, had some bad luck on this one, had an incident or two before this. It just wasn't I've never seen anybody rally, and I've never seen anybody roll with the motherfucking punches like Trent did. And to add on to that, he may have had one of the more stressful and challenging trips as far as bike wise. And I know what it's like coming off wrecking your bike and getting back on it and going, I'm going to go on a big trip. And then all of a sudden you go through some technical riding. You're like, fuck, dude. Like, I'm running bike. Trust me, all the mental shit, I know exactly what he's gone through. I don't know if anybody had a more trying trip than him, but I also don't know if anybody had a more rewarding trip than him, because this motherfucker,
he fucking made
every stop we were at, gas station, hotel, whatever, Trent, I look over, and Trent's talking to somebody, and he's not talking to him like the whole this fucking asshole stopped me on the way to the bathroom. Like, Trent's talking to people. He's genuinely enjoying conversations. He's enjoying talking to people of different walks of life. The entire trip, he's the same guy he always is. I see him thinking of this Vietnam veteran just hey, he stops and thinks for Trent. I don't know. He just had such a good time that everything that, like you said, everything that life threw at him, it's just like he was like, "Fuck it, you're not gonna get me.
Sure.
You're not gonna ruin this for me.
He's
I'm
the
doing
MVP
this."
on this one.
100%. Because, like I said, he enjoyed every fucking stop we had. Every stop we had.
And it's one of those things you can't.
I feel like I learned shit from Trent, like stuff that I can like. God damn it, like that's an example. That's how you do a fucking trip, especially when things go bad. Especially.
It essentially, so there's a thing when you travel with people for the first time, and then when you do it multiple times, and it's almost unspoken, but when you travel with people for the first time, even though this wasn't technically Trent's first time, this was the first completion, right? And the same thing can be said about Chance. They bring an energy that
a new excitement
that you cannot generate when. So this is our whatever. Start counting off the trips, right? We've done a bunch, so we have a comfort with each other that has been provided by those trips. You lose the comfort with the people that you travel with for the first time, but you gain an absolutely exhilarating excitement out of these people that you can't. I can't get it from you anymore. I can't get it from you. I can't get. You know what I'm saying? I can only get it from Chance. I can only get it from Trent, and it was fucking beautiful.
Yeah,
it really was because when he came through, like we were damn near as far away from home as you could be. Right? It wasn't Amarillo like it was fucking last time.
Right.
We were in middle of New York State in Syracuse. Nobody's coming to bail you out.
No.
Time to make some hard choices.
He had a really hard
up.
decision to make.
Yeah. Yep, and he stepped up.
Whether it was
and he
lose
said,
a
"I'm
day
back
on
on
the
the road."
trip, but even that's I'm not even getting into the X's and O's. I mean, I think even if he would have taken the repair, he would have lost time, and it still would have been money. And like I said, he had a hard decision to make, and he made it, and he fucking showed up at dinner.
Bet.
Yeah.
At dinner.
Bet.
Perfect timing on that.
Like early in dinner too. It wasn't like, we're in the middle of our steak. No, motherfucker showed up. He ordered with us. Like he showed up at the beginning. We're having drinks.
Yeah. Smiling.
No, dude, with a shit-eating grin on his face.
You can't be mad at that.
It felt like, because he was already talking to Jeremy when we were at Tobacco Road about doing the Road King thing, and you could tell that he either I think me and him kind of spoke about it. I felt like he just had bad vibes with that Sport Glide.
Yeah.
He hadn't had good luck.
He said it was
3
cursed.
years in a row. It was the bike just, whether it was the pulley boats or the wreck before Sturgis last year or this thing on this trip, right? He just wanted out of it. And then, of course, he's newly engaged. His old lady and him want to do more riding together. And then, a touring bike is just a more comfortable bike.
For sure.
Right.
So I think ultimately he ended up getting what he wanted.
He already had the green light.
It's almost like the universe. It's like the universe was trying to
told him what
push
to do.
him in this direction, even though
It's a beautiful bike.
he had a really nice bike, man.
If anybody wants to come up on a fucking gem,
it's probably cursed, but you could probably get
right. There might be some devil in
I
it,
buy it,
but
motherfucker.
I tell you what, because we was in the casino the next night, Chance and Larry
he said,
both
if
said,
I hit the jackpot, I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go
buy your bike, Trent. Fuck you.
Yeah.
But beautiful bike. Now it's sitting in Syracuse, so that's what it is. Also, almost simultaneously,
Chance should have got on that bike, traded his shit in.
almost simultaneously, kind of unbeknownst to everybody, we've been kicking tires and talking about these Pan Ams and everything. I think it was that day, or maybe it was the day after, that old Dwayne decided to pull the trigger on the Pan Am. So technically, two bikes was bought on this trip.
I got a lot to say about that.
We ain't got it on my.
You want to talk about podcast? It might be a cold snack issue.
Listen here, Dwayne.
Episode.
Come on, bro.
Listen here, D-Wayne.
I think. Well, anyway, so in Niagara, Niagara was another, I think, first for most of us, right? Have you been there?
I had not been to Niagara.
All right, so Niagara was a first for I think all of
Every
us.
one of us, yeah.
So
I've been there. I'd done the
had
park
you?
literally 2 summers ago with TL when I was up there.
Okay, we get it. You're rich.
You do the boat deal?
I'm going to turn a Ford Escape.
Check me out.
Niagara was it seemed like Detroit. Like the bad part of Detroit.
as far as the
Broken.
hood.
Like it didn't feel like, it felt like a lot of houses with like gaps because the house burned down or some shit.
I
before.
imagine there's not a lot of commerce with the exception of the falls.
And then it's like crazy because like you're sitting there, and then you can see across the river to Canada.
What did we think it was?
Toronto.
We thought it was Toronto.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Toronto! Hey, fucking Texans,
Well, they had the fucking
motherfuckers.
needle deal over there, so I was like, oh,
Hey, man,
that's
let's go
fucking Toronto.
I remember when we asked him, Jacob goes, shit, man, I sent a video back to my family saying, look, there's Toronto.
Hey, close.
Homie says, motherfucker, that's Niagara. Y'all you take your country ass back to Texas.
I mean,
Niagara
like
on both sides.
coming into that town, it's like it felt very, it felt weathered. You know what I mean?
It felt like there used to be an industry there, but it's gone.
It's gone. Yeah.
I wonder if, like, similar to Monument Valley or something, I wonder if that park's been closed. I bet it has.
I don't know if I
But
think
the
that,
park's not-
I don't know that because everybody always says Niagara. You want to see it from the Canada side, and now I get it.
Yeah, because of mist.
You know what I want to see? I want to see it from the boat. That's where I'd want to see it
It's like
from.
you're just gonna see white.
Yeah.
Dude, I've done
Really
it. I've
care
seen a
about
couple
getting wet.
videos, and it's okay. I mean, I would say don't do it, but ultimately, I think going over maybe
Canada
having a
side?
drink on the Canada side
Yeah.
is where it's at.
Yeah.
Canada side, I believe they have some gondolas and shit that like dip down where you're not actually getting wet. The boat's cool, but again, it's a
I
photo
wonder if that
wall.
mist is always there or if it was because of the heat.
I think it. I don't know.
You know what I mean?
The what?
Yeah,
No, the
the
mist is there.
always
Yeah,
there.
it's-
So misty.
the
It's like a
heat
cloud.
may have had something to do with it, but it's always
It's
misty
always
there. But
misty.
fuck, I went there in August, I guess 2 years ago. It was hot as fuck then. Like I remember walking around, going, God damn, dude, it's fucking hot. Like
Yeah.
so.
I wasn't expecting that.
Well, the way
I was
the
expecting
falls
to see it a
go,
little
it's
bit.
like facing. It's kind of more pointing towards the Canada
It
side.
does,
Yeah,
and also
right.
like
So you can't like get around to see the actual falls.
You got to
I
go
don't-
down.
I don't
to
want
the-
to like talk shit about Niagara Falls because that's like I guess the biggest we got here in America, but she ain't that big, dude.
What was
Well,
it? It was,
when you get down to the bottom again,
It's
Yeah,
not just
yeah,
the-
It was
it's not just
100.
the
It was
wood.
180 feet, right?
So it's one of those things where I remember
It's
thinking
not
when,
that
when
tall.
I'm in the boat and I'm looking up at it, I go, a little underwhelming. Not quite as big as I thought it would
I
be.
think it's more for how wide Niagara is
Yeah.
instead of how
the
tall
sheer
it is.
amount of.
But
just
when you're up there,
the volume of
when
water.
you're up there, kind
instead
of close to where it drops off,
Yeah.
and thinking about, man, if I was in a bucket go or a barrel going over this thing, like,
There's a part of me
ain't
that
no-
feels like, yo, I could survive off this
God.
thing.
Oh, God.
That's what everybody
damn.
thought.
Says a guy that won't go to the fucking top of Pikes Peak.
I'm still.
Che.
I'm still holding the photo of the exact time that he bitched out. I actually have one. I literally have a snap on that ass. It's gonna come out one of these days.
Yeah, that's funny. It didn't really look, like I said, it didn't look that tall, but I think it's the
I was
volume.
more interested in the Amish
how
people over
wide
there.
Dude, that was weird too, yeah.
Oh yeah. Buy one get 11 free day.
y'all should have seen it. So we had a late night that night, and Kyle and I were a little later than y'all.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, bro.
you should have seen Kyle, the way the Amish people were looking at Kyle. as we were walking through
Are you
there.
one of
You my
us?
cousin?
Dude, it was because he had the
He had
fucking
just
curve-
cut his
he had
shit
the
up,
curved
too.
bangs and shit. They were just like they didn't know what to make of. But he had that long fucking beard too. They did not. He had him shook, son.
So, but isn't there like 11 different falls or some shit? Like the park is pretty vast from what I understand.
park's big
Like,
as fuck.
It wasn't just
yeah.
that one.
There's
giant
No,
another
we
yes,
saw.
yes, you can
There's
walk back there.
one of them was called Horseshoe Falls.
Yeah.
Then you got the Maine
Yeah.
Falls. I couldn't.
So that, in the grand scheme of things, I understand what you're saying. Underwhelming from a, I don't know. We had just come out of like
underwhelming.
some
Like I said,
giant.
I
fucking-
thought Washington.
I think the
thought
volume of
monuments
water,
were
like you
underwhelming.
said, Cody,
It
the
is.
just the pure
it's
volume,
the volume
that
of
never,
water,
ever
because it's
stops.
pretty fucking wide.
It's wild. Yeah.
I guess.
So
I
strong.
guess in the world of like, what kind of waterfalls do I like?
You like big ones.
I like
see.
tall
Yo.
ones that you can see the water falling a long
Hey,
way.
we're gonna take you out of the country. Let's go to Angel Falls. You'll change your life.
Okay.
It's like 250 mile or 250 foot up or something like that. It's in like Venezuela or some shit.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one. It's very nice.
Insane.
Nice.
Look up Angel Falls.
I don't know. I Niagara was cool. I think for me it was more because me and homie have done so much work together over the last couple of years. it was great to finally meet the guy in person.
For sure.
And
Shout out to Brian, dude.
Yeah,
I know we
dude's
already
solid,
said it
man.
once, but again,
Super
just
accommodating.
Fucking
love
hooked us
that
up.
fucking guy.
Yeah, he hooked
I'm
us
stoked that he's going to be at Sturgis this year. I'm really hoping that
Yeah.
he gets to hang out with
You better
us.
be.
You know what I mean?
Because now I'm the
He
mortgage
gonna
everything I had
He
to do
gonna
to
sleep
be
in the
there.
mud with us?
No, I think he has a room. He's
No,
he's
he was telling us about that. Yeah,
he's
got
a
house.
borderline hamster, dude.
bro.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Bro.
dude. No, he said he's got a place, but I'm
Yeah,
gonna get him out.
he's staying in Spearfish, but
I'm gonna get him out to the
he'll
Days
fuck with us.
End
We're
one
gonna let
night.
him know what it's like, you know. But
He's gonna come party with us one night. End at the Days End.
there you go. I really enjoyed hanging out with him. I thought he was, it was good to finally meet him.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
like I said, the dinner there was one of the best steaks I've ever had.
Top,
Amazing.
top,
Yeah.
top.
Great dinner. That lobster mac and cheese was dope too.
Yeah, it was. But I mean, the whole night was great, man. It was great to go up there and see him and get to know. He, like I said, he's tribal Indian, so he's, like hearing some of his stories about like growing up on the reservation and shit like that stuff's interesting to me.
On
Yeah.
the res.
Yeah, on the res.
Yeah.
But the next day, we ended up linking up. We ended up jumping. The next day, we were trying to make it as close as we could to Nashville, and we can get into like some of the decisions we made
Yeah.
and how we did it. But
Coin flip, son.
let's talk about the fact that like we ended up linking up with Sit Down Steve in Buffalo, and I actually fucking had fun.
That was a good time at that damn, what was it called? The Brew Works.
Riverworks.
Riverworks.
Riverworks,
Riverworks Brewery, yeah. That was a cool little spot. You could tell at night. I bet that place is fucking popping.
Somebody did ask if there was any cool breweries on Lake.
Yeah,
Riverworks in Buffalo was badass.
So
good
And,
food.
The only
The,
time I threw up on the trip was Riverworks. It wasn't even that we drank so much the night before. Like I said, I rode, we were fine, and we got to the Riverworks place, and I had a Dr. Pepper, and I'm like, man, just nothing really sounds good. Like, and at that point, I feel like I was on the backside of like the cold or whatever the fuck I had.
Yeah.
It's like, man, I feel fine, but I got there, and I guess I drank about a half a Dr. Pepper, and all of a sudden I was like, there was not a single thing on the menu that looked good. And it just had that grumble, and I was like, I'm going to go to the bathroom just in case. Like, it wasn't like, oh, I think I'm going to throw up.
Yeah.
And I went, and sure enough, it was just, after that, went outside, smoked a bunch of weed, came back. I got to the point where I could probably eat, and everybody was done. I was like, had a half of Cliff Bar in the bag.
Yeah.
Gang, dude.
We gotta say this. So
Whatever happened to that
James
photo?
threw up like a motherfucker at Jeremy's house.
Bet.
I was in the living room like editing photos, and I was.
The next day.
Oh!
Had to
I
get
was
it
taking
out.
a shit
Had to get the
in a
devil out,
bathroom
bro.
on the other side of the wall from you, and I heard all of it. James, I felt bad for you because I love you. I didn't laugh
Dude,
once.
I felt bad
I
for
did.
me because so much shit was in that toilet before my face was in there.
And
Dude. Everybody had taken their morning shit, and then I went, listen, I would have puked in the yard, but they had a little puppy dog that I didn't want him to go eat my fucking vomit, so I actually went in the toilet. Oh, my God.
it just makes you closer with the dog if that happens.
Dude, y'all need to
You
grow
know what
the
it was?
fuck up.
You know what? No. You know what? I ate.
Mine wasn't alcohol related.
I
Mine was
ate
stomach bug.
39 pieces of that fucking like pork belly
Oh
or
my
whatever the
God.
fuck.
It was good.
It
Shit,
was
though.
so good.
And
I was
that
eating it like
fried bologna?
M&Ms.
So I stayed away from the pork belly because it's mostly fat. I was eating the sausage like a
I ate a lot of
motherfucker,
sausage.
dude.
That sausage
And
was
I
good.
shit my guts out the next day.
Did y'all get
but
the
I didn't throw up. But
smoked
I,
bologna?
yes, I
Yeah,
had
it was
some of
good.
that too. That was good.
Dude, the fucking tacos he made the next morning.
Jeremy's
He
a
has.
good cook,
First
man.
of all, hey,
great.
listen. All right, come on. He's got a. Sorry about that. He's got a.
sound
Jeremy
like
does
Jace.
have an Instagram page just for his grill,
Yeah.
where he just posts food. It's like the Hitchkin Grill or something.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
It's got like
Start-
14
started a
followers. I'm
restaurant.
one of them. We're probably two of them.
Fucking nerd.
But no, I love it, dude. I love it, and
He's always cooking, man. When we lived next to each other, he was fucking always cooking something. It
and
was always
everything
awesome.
he made that we touched was fucking awesome. So great.
That's the thing. I'm not blaming it on his food, but I'm saying I overindulged.
Drank too
It
much.
wasn't. No,
Yeah,
it
no,
wasn't even.
that's
It wasn't
just
even the
your
liquor,
system
though.
being on the road.
But
and
we
whatever.
did have.
It wasn't the liquor
we
at
didn't.
all.
I'm sorry to jump back, but we did have that big delay on the way to Virginia Beach because we went to go to the dealership for Because
Jacob's
Jacob
pipe.
needed exhaust.
Jacob's pipe.
Yeah, Jacob.
Oh, yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
yeah.
His exhaust.
That's right.
The
cap
the
came
cap
off.
came off,
Yeah.
and the whole
Baffle
baffle
fell
came
out.
For
out.
like the third time.
TBR, right?
Yeah, TBR.
Yeah.
Send him a new pipe.
Sorry, dude.
And so
Yeah,
we ended up
He did not try to keep that pipe.
No, like 3 times it came off.
like spending a lot of time at that dealership with Jeremy.
Jeremy,
We
yeah.
did.
We tried to go eat, and that was a failure at that little area.
Oh, because you're a picky fuck. There was 12 places in there to pick from, and you didn't like
I
Yeah,
got
that
the
was a hot dog
empanadas,
place.
and they were not good.
And he
I
goes to
didn't
a
eat
hot
there
dog place.
That you know what though? When we talk about
There was
man
some
on the
good
road
food
or
in
just
that motherfucker.
multiple people on the road, right? There's going to be commonality, and then there's going to be divisiveness. And for whatever reason, maybe the hangry was stepping in or something like that, dude. That was the angriest lunch I think we ever had. There was like 3 motherfuckers sitting on this side, fucking 3 over here. It's like
Oh
West
my-
Side Story. Whoa, what you have today? Fucking empanada. No. Fuck you and your shit.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like me and Larry got like smoothies just sitting over there. Fuck y'all. Go on, fight, motherfucker, fight.
Yeah. Dude,
I wanted the fucking hot dog.
I got sushi, and that shit was good as fuck.
Dude,
You were
empanadas
mad
sounded.
and you were mad.
I wasn't mad. I was just like,
Yeah, you
there's
were.
12 places here. Can you not pick one?
They're all
It's like a food court. What'd
It
you call
was
that?
a food court,
but it was also one of those expensive.
It
food
was like
courts where,
it was like expensive food that didn't. It wasn't like, can I get a fucking burger? Can I get a nacho spot? Can I get a pizza spot? This shit was like gyros and fucking empanadas. Not don't get me wrong, I like empanadas. Gyros,
Chili's, bro.
Hero.
Euro. How the fuck
Euro.
you say it? Euro.
Euro.
I don't eat that shit. So fuck. I'll say
Hey,
it how I want to.
when Greece invades America, I'll worry
I
about how to
thought
pronounce
there
that shit.
was a burger spot in there.
I don't
I didn't
know.
see one.
I don't fucking know.
It didn't matter
Anyway, there
because
was
there was
plenty-
plenty of places.
somebody-
Somebody-
That was a place that I purposely, as I was on a budget on this trip, and that was one that I was like, I walked around, I was like,
We'll skip it.
I was like, yeah, dude, I think I'm good. I think I'll grab like
My
a hot dog
sushi-
at the next gas
My
station. Like,
sushi
I don't-
roll was like $8, and it was buy one get one free.
Hey, okay.
Yeah, I don't eat sushi though, or at least not.
I don't
like,
eat
it's-
sushi for like nutrition. I eat it so my wife has a good time.
Yeah,
it's just good
it's the same
as fuck.
thing.
Yeah.
I eat it after a few.
I like it
beers
too,
when
but
I'm
I don't. It's
at a
not like
happy hour or
I don't
something.
ever go to sushi. Go. I can't wait to be full.
You can get like cooked sushi, like hot sushi.
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
never eat
I-
sushi.
I'm
and go,
fine with
I'm about
sushi.
to
I
jump
can
on the
eat
bike
it.
for another
Like-
couple hundred miles. Like sushi's probably a good pick right now.
Absolutely.
You
No.
you had gone way harder than anybody at the dealership with the beers.
Oh,
You were litty.
that's right. So,
you had Tobacco Road hangover.
so we're at Tobacco. Yeah, I probably.
Fucking drank them out of Modelo.
So I asked Jeremy. I was like, "Hey man," I was like, "Y'all got any water?" He's like, "Yeah, there's like a fountain over there, like a little spigot." He's like, "But there's also like a customer fridge next to it that's probably got some bottled water in there." I was like,
Oh.
"All right, cool." So I open the fridge, and it's fucking stocked with Modelo. It's like to the brim. Like there's other beer too, but I was like, "There's too much." Like I gotta drink some of this beer. Like there's just this is fucking
Y'all
dope.
got way too much right now.
So immediately I grab a beer, and I forgot what was the night before. I guess it's just Jeremy's. So yeah, so I we partied at Jeremy's, but not hard. I felt good. I was still in that like, hey, let's have a beer for breakfast. In fact, I think I did have a beer at Jeremy's in the morning before we even went. And
Yeah, we had quite a bit of beer left over from that night.
yeah, and I think I had
not
one or two
premieres,
before we
but-
even jumped in the bikes and went to the dealership. So the Modelo's, boy, it was one of those things. I was like, hey, everybody, I was like, hey, you know they got Modelo's over here? Hey, Chance, you know they got Modelo's over here?
Yeah, I drank a few.
Yeah, well,
Kyle drew a dick in the
That was-
child's playground.
so that was also the dealership with the fucking suite above it.
Yeah.
If you've ever
dude's
been
house.
if you've ever been to a Harley
was so
dealership,
dope.
next time you go, double check and see if they got a third floor
That was
that's only
dope.
permissible by key,
Yeah.
because that's what we saw at Tobacco Road Harley. And
I
they-
What was his
wonder
name?
what
Ray Price?
Ray
I think
Price
that's
was the
exactly
yeah,
right.
he was an old drag
Drag
race
drag
guy.
dude.
He's like drag Hall of Fame.
The
too.
original
Like, he was
owners of
legit,
Tobacco
legit.
Road Harley.
Yeah.
So
I wonder what that place was like in its prime.
You know they had some parties
You know
in
what
that
I'm saying?
mother-
we
Oh
can't
my
even I
God.
can't even describe this to you other than it's a big ass fucking state of the art. Everything's fucking rad. Harley dealership, 2 levels, second level has almost like
Museum.
a museum
Yeah,
feel to it,
memorabilia
whatever.
shit, yeah.
Well, guess what?
Third level's the penthouse.
There's a third level that you can get to, but only if you have the key in the elevator.
Yeah.
You didn't have a hot tub up there though, bro.
And when you go up there,
I bet
but
he
because
did
it,
back
was,
in the
because
day.
it looked,
happening?
because it looked
I
like it was
guarantee
built
he
in
took
like the
that
80s.
motherfucker
or
with him.
Yeah,
late
it was kinda
had
outdated, but
like
it
a late
was
80s,
dope.
early 90s feel.
That place you have a hot tub built
How many square
into
feet
it.
do you think that? I mean, it was nuts. It was.
I'd say it's probably like
Oh, a few
it's probably
thousand.
Couple thousand, yeah.
2,500,
Oh,
3,000 square feet.
bedrooms,
Yeah.
Not, and you're not including all the roof space, deck
Oh.
Yeah, the
space.
patio space was
big,
fucking crazy.
Nice little view of
Coke,
downtown.
Coke doing
um,
party, living rooms.
Right,
So
like-
it's
Really,
like
they own
everybody
like the
did the
whole
Coke in
block
this room.
too, dude. That's what Jeremy was saying. Like all them places
block,
down the street,
yeah.
like they own the whole shit,
Oh yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That was one of the
That
coolest
place is
steps.
dope.
Or
What is it? That's Raleigh, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Raleigh.
Is it Raleigh?
So the
Yeah,
the
it was.
Raleigh dealer.
so if you're
Raleigh,
there,
North Carolina
ask somebody
dealership.
for the VIP tour of the third
Tell
floor.
Jeremy to take you to
Tell-
the penthouse.
Yeah, tell him Jeremy sent you.
Dude, we went way back.
Yeah, I
why
mean
we-
that.
When was that a
just
hangover
for
moment
throw-ups?
where we got locked out for a minute?
Kyle
we
broke
tried to
his
get
back
back in. We realized we were locked on the roof.
Yeah, just like
St. Louis.
something popped up on that deal. But while we were in Buffalo, we hung out with a couple of the stunt guys in Buffalo. We sit
Yeah.
down Steve.
Yeah,
Yeah, Devin.
dude, them boys was getting.
He was fucking
It was a
cool.
good ride. I mean, they took us on a little rip through Baltimore. I feel like we got a good motorcycle
Buffalo.
tour. Buffalo.
Homeboy, the
Buffalo.
goddamn cast on.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Really-
fucking
Burning it
Crutches.
up.
Yes.
crutches, doing burnouts all over the streets.
Stunners, stunt life.
Exactly.
It's
I
awesome.
forget his name, but I got his
Devin.
phone number because he texted me all those pictures when we took the pictures in the shark's mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name
That's
is
what I was
got
saying.
to.
Where'd they end up going? They were
I
shit.
think it was a
He
fucking,
texted to me,
it was
they
an
were-
Android phone for sure.
Yeah, they weren't
Oh,
that good.
Yeah, I bet they're good if he sends them to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got.
Yeah.
I got.
I'm not saying if you send
No,
them.
he sent them to me. I got
Okay,
them. Yeah,
okay.
yeah. His
Put
name
'em
was
out.
Devin.
Well, I got his
Yeah,
number and I'll
He,
pass it
he
on.
works at the dealership that homie has his bike worked at.
That's
Oh,
true.
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He knew homie.
So in Buffalo. Okay.
He knew homie.
Nice.
Yeah, so I mean, so what happened was we left Niagara, we went and saw the falls, and then Steve was in Buffalo, en route to Laconia for the week.
Oh, the gunshots, right?
It's fireworks.
Fireworks.
Oh yeah, it is like
fucking
4th of
July 4th
coming.
yet.
It ain't 4th of July, motherfucker.
June, bro.
The month and until Wednesday of next week. And that's the 30th.
June 25th.
I've been hearing them.
Golly.
And so we go to Buffalo,
Like I'm in
and
like I'm
obviously
back
we,
in
we
New
were
York.
gonna just smash through Buffalo.
Looks like a good photo of me.
eh.
Yeah, you could do some things with it.
We would have just probably smashed through Buffalo had Steve not been there.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
would have probably
Oh, for
just
sure.
like passed through it.
Total coincidence that we
Yeah.
linked up with him.
So hanging out with him, it ended up being one of those days where it's like, this would have been a great place to spend the rest of the
Dude,
night.
yeah.
actually,
If we
could've
didn't
spent
have
another
some
night
places to
Buffalo,
be,
for sure.
if we didn't have some places to be, we would have got some.
If we would have
trouble,
known
dude.
them fuckers were going to be there, like, and all that, it'd be
We would've
totally
got-
different.
We would have got in
Different,
trouble.
yeah.
So it
We
might
would've-
be better that it might be better that we had somewhere to be, but
yeah.
so like we didn't get out that motherfucker.
We would've
until
got
mid
shitty,
at
yeah.
like 3
Yeah,
o'clock.
3
Like,
o'clock.
It was that late?
We were late, dog. Late.
Damn. So basically, once we did get on the road, we made it to Erie, Pennsylvania, and we had two options, right? So we were either going to go. We did want to hit West Virginia, but unfortunately, okay, let me back that up. So what we did was we wanted to go to Pittsburgh for I guess we were going to call it dinner.
Yeah, that was gonna be lunch.
Technically,
Instead,
it was
we
gonna
had
be lunch.
in
Yeah, we were
Buffalo.
supposed to be there at lunch. But
Or do we go through Ohio and drop down into Cincinnati, right? So if we went to Cincinnati, we were going to have less mileage the next day.
Right.
If we were going to go through Pittsburgh and then stay in, I think, Charleston, West Virginia, I think is where we're
get
going to
the
go.
clip off West Virginia.
It was going to be another 100 miles the next day, right? But we were like, all right, fuck it. So we flipped a coin. God damn, these fireworks going hard out there.
Sure they are.
Yeah,
You hear him
You
say?
hearing good on there?
Ooh-wee.
So we flipped a coin
We in the hood, though.
and we let fate.
Yeah.
The other thing is the reason why we flipped the coin is because there was a bigger chance of rain towards Pittsburgh
Right.
than the way we were going.
Right.
Now we got rained on
Crazy. Because
in
we
New
got
York.
We got pissed
Shit
on.
on.
but we got shit on in Ohio. Yeah. And Styles reached out, offered us to stay with him.
Styles,
appreciate
Vance,
yeah.
Another dude too. Yeah, you guys are the fucking best.
That was the first time ever on a trip that we literally got rained on like that.
That we had to stop.
We got shitty conditions.
I'll take that back.
Yeah.
It was
When
bad.
have we ever had to stop like that?
Remember we stopped on that bridge
Muleshoe.
coming back from
Muleshoe, that's right.
Yeah. That's the
forget
only
about
other
that one.
time.
we
That's
stopped
the only
on the
other-
bridge
that's
for a
the
little
thing.
while, but it wasn't that long. We was there for like over an hour.
I know y'all two don't carry suits, but I always have my rain gear with me. I've never had to break it out until this one.
Yeah.
And it was appreciated.
Yeah.
For sure. But man, it was heavy.
Yeah, I was tired of being
It was
wet.
heavy as fuck, dude.
Yeah, so basically we ended up catching rain just south of Cleveland.
Yeah.
And it was pretty heavy. It stopped us for a while, and then we had to make the decision because I think initially we were pushing for Cincinnati
Yeah.
originally. But then that's when
Adam and Lauren.
Adam reached out to us and said that we could crash with him, and everybody would reach out and go, "Hey, you guys need a place to stay." I was like,
Dude.
"There's 9 of us."
Yeah,
Ohio-
you got to understand.
How about this? Ohio, like,
We
I'll
got
say this.
mad
I'll say
love
this.
from Ohio.
Yes, because I said this actually on the pre-podcast, right? So we've known Styles for a minute because he came to the original camp out, I believe, and but some of his good homeboys came to the last one and homegirls, and I don't know. I personally had a good connection with them, so I really appreciated that. So when we flipped that coin, I don't want to pass that yet because we flipped this coin. And I don't know, somebody took a picture. Like we said, this is our fate, and we just needed to be here, be part of the earth.
I was
what
thinking of
said.
piss
Like,
when it happened. Yeah,
and it was like, to me, it was part of our trip, and it was part of the beauty. But I knew because I was bummed that we weren't gonna do West Virginia. I was looking forward to West Virginia a lot.
Yeah.
But the fact that we spent the time in Buffalo with Steve and them, it almost stole West Virginia from us in a sense. So the coin flip, we were ready for the outcome regardless of which way we're going to go. But when it came up Ohio,
I'm on motorcycle vacation with my friends. Wherever the fuck I gotta go, I'm fine.
But when it came up Ohio, I knew that we were safe in a sense, if that means anything. Because originally when we got caught out in Cleveland, I had put a post out there. I said, "Oh, we're getting rained on in Columbus." Not the same city, right?
Yeah.
Significantly farther away. And Styles and fucking
Vance, Ryan Vance,
Yeah.
Vancer.
I'm sorry. A few of the guys reached out, like, "You're right here, right? Like, we got you." And I'm like, "Awesome. We might take you up on that." Like,
Because we
if you're
literally
ready,
we
if you're
considered
ready to
Styles,
understand.
Yes,
right?
you did,
Because
yeah.
it was like the next town we were going to
He's
go
in
into.
Ashland.
Ashland,
We
right?
were just trying to push a little further.
And then I think that
Baggersaurus Rex. That's what it was.
Yeah.
Baggersaurus Mike. Mike.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Mike was like, "You're right in my hood."
So
Sorry.
when Adam reached out, and I'm like, cool, that's like where we really wanted to be.
Yeah.
We wanted to make it to Cincinnati.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, that's perfect. So, and then with them and his wife going out of their way, getting pizza, getting beer.
getting everybody an air mattress or a bed.
Dude, we showed up to their house and there was a sleeping spot for 9 dudes to where we didn't have to share.
Nobody
a fucking bed.
shared it.
Literally
Nobody shared a
the
bed. That was
best
amazing.
That was 3-hour shotgun planning.
Yeah.
Here, come. Yes. Haven't met y'all really.
So
for most of us,
I met Adam
I think a
at
couple
the
y'all-
Down South
Down
camp
South,
out.
yeah,
That was the
yeah.
first time we met him. We vaguely talked for a minute, right? And I never met his wife.
they're homies of homies.
Yeah.
essentially.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's where
Dude,
all the love. is.
How easy could he be one of us? You know,
for sure.
like
Oh, yeah.
if he was at our bike night, he would be in our group.
For sure.
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah. They're
sure.
good
They're the
people,
best.
man.
But that's
Just
why I
to-
think the Ohio Cats, because
They're
from
a
what I've
family, bro.
gathered,
They are a fucking
they're
family.
a fucking family, but they're also no one's close to each other. They're they're like us.
Yeah.
Where he's
Spread
fucking
out,
200 miles away and I'm fucking 90 miles away
Yeah.
and you're fucking 100 miles. They're like us.
Yeah.
And they just said, "Okay, motorcycle."
This is what we got.
And they just do it.
Dude, they're
no
the
questions
best.
asked.
Yeah.
And that's
7
fucking
pizzas,
respect.
a 30-pack of
Paps.
PBRs, a stock fridge of everything else we could want.
Fucking beds.
A fucking bed spot for 9 of the dudes. And,
That was
and
dope.
2 or 3 of them actually stayed in a hotel a little in town.
They didn't know what they were getting into.
Yeah.
Exactly. We
Right,
didn't,
right,
and
right.
They were just trying to not impose. But, dude, they couldn't have set it up better. She woke up the next morning, made us her own family,
fucking
her own
cinnamon
famous
rolls and bullshit.
cinnamon
Yeah.
roll waffles.
So
Cinnamon
good.
roll and waffles with different cum sauces, basically.
Yeah. Adam,
It's
Lauren,
just frosting, bro.
Lo, Mom, whatever. I have a hard time calling you guys Mom and Dad. It's just weird to me.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I ain't
It
gonna
just
call
is
you
what
mom
it
and
is.
dad. Y'all the homies. That's
Adam
it.
and
And
Lauren.
also, you're like
Love
our
you.
age, so you're not mom
Love
and dad.
you. Absolutely fucking love
You're
you
just
guys.
us.
Can't thank
appreciate
you enough
that.
again. And it wasn't just the hey, we got you. It was fuck you. We stayed up talking for
It was
Yeah,
the extra.
one of them. I mean, it was
the
the
extra, yeah.
It was a weeknight.
made us feel
He had
like
to go to
friends,
work
like
in the
home,
morning.
you know,
Yeah.
friend,
Yeah.
like
He was like
family.
It was like a fucking
You could
Wednesday,
tell that
dude.
Adam really wanted to like call in and ride with us in Nashville.
Bet.
100%. I wish he would have, but
Yeah.
I also understand.
What was it?
Working.
It was Thursday?
He ended up.
Yeah,
You
it was
saw we
Thursday.
passed
It
him
was
on the
Thur-
highway.
yes,
Yeah.
we did.
Yeah, he was
It was
videoing us.
Thursday night because Friday we were in Nashville, Saturday. Okay. Yeah, Thursday night. Just randomly.
Thursday night we were in
Respect.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Friday we were in Little Rock.
Oh, shit. That's right.
Yeah,
We did.
so
we
it was
did.
Wednesday
We stayed with
night.
him Wednesday night.
Right,
yeah.
Wednesday night. Wednesday night. I don't know if that makes it
All
better
of
or
this is a
worse.
perfect example of
Love.
if you think if it's ever important to show up to stuff, this just goes to show you. Show up to events, show up to campouts. Challenge yourself. Do something that you wouldn't think you would do. Go somewhere. You'd be surprised how much love you have with
How much it opens up the
Yes.
doors.
How much the
Families
doors
all
open.
over
Yes.
the country, man.
Exactly.
Family ain't just blood. It's fucking.
So these campouts,
It's
the
people
down
that
south, the up north, the fucking fast life campout.
The camp.
All right, hey, let me hold on. I've had a couple beers. Not so much the up north, you guys. Y'all got some shit coming at the end of this podcast. Hold on, I'll get back with y'all. But just, I'm kind of fucking with y'all, kind of like 50-50. But for real, the campouts, the fucking events, go to them.
Yeah.
You may be fucking tight money wise, whatever. Go. You may not know anybody. Go. It's your first time. Go because you can't. Tell me. I mean, you can't buy into it.
No.
You can't buy into it. I don't give a fuck what bike you have.
Not a
You can't
chance.
buy into it. Show up, hang out, and then guess what?
Effort equals opportunity.
My door opens for you. You know what I mean? Just everything we've talked about. It's every single fucking person. I will go out of my way to fucking accommodate if they're
Yeah.
ever anywhere close to me. Oh, dude, you're staying in Forney? That's kind of close to me. You want to go have some beers? Fucking, I'll call for it tomorrow. Just whatever. Like, you get so much more out of it than what you put into it. And if putting into it is going to a camp out that you're probably gonna have fun to, you just gotta lay some miles on your bike. What am I missing here?
Yeah.
Fucking do it.
The other
Like,
element is you have to want to connect, right?
Yeah.
You can't be passive about it. It can't be something that everybody's uncomfortable to an extent when it's the unknown, right? But you have to be open to the possibility of whatever, right?
Yeah.
If we were never open to the possibility of this can be more than just a bike night, then it would just be a bike night, or it would just be a one-time meeting, or whatever it is. If we were never open to the possibility of this camp out can be something for all, it would just be a random camp out in Oklahoma with some of the homies, right? If we didn't allow ourselves to truly be open to the concept of meeting and interacting and connecting and actually providing value to one another, it would be hollow in so many ways. In so many ways, it wouldn't be what it is, because the reason why we fill this up the way that we do is because my effort equals your effort equals your effort equals everybody's effort who comes through. It doesn't matter where you come from, but we all take the effort that is required for each of us to be wherever, and then we reciprocate it, and it's appreciated that much more because it's not empty.
Yeah.
It's really a good thing to kind of fill y'all up with, and that's why, like I said, when we came into Ohio, the pavement had kind of been laid, regardless of when. It was there where there was some security. You know what I'm saying? Because of previous effort. And I love
because
it.
of
I
the
love
camp
it.
out.
That's a good way to say it. We had fucking love from multiple people going, stay with us, you're fine. Like, Ohio's a big state, and I felt 100% anywhere we ended up, we had people that were
Reaching out, yeah.
Yeah, like but you don't get this ain't a fucking Instagram thing, dude. You don't get this shit from fucking sharing posts and fucking putting shit in your story.
Right.
Get the fuck out there, put the miles on your bike.
Well, you know, I was going to say to what you were saying about these campouts is that, like, every year all the campouts grow, right? And so every year that people, like, we all know that there's some people that just, they have Craig's the gift of gab. He's going to come in any situation at any point in time, and he's going to be a part of it, right? But the ones that maybe are more shy, more timid, more reserved, this shit's going to keep growing every year, and eventually it's going to get so big that it doesn't make sense to us anymore.
Yeah.
But if you wait another year, and this is in the way and that's in the way, you're never going to be a part of it, right? And I'm not saying you're never get to. It's going to be harder to become a part of it because the wall of things that you have to accept, like we were just talking about before we did the podcast. We've made so many great friends that we're kind of like, I'm good on close friends right now. Right. Like, I don't know if I have enough mental space for another person to care about as much as I care about these guys,
so
you
much
guys.
Shit going on that it's hard to, be there for everybody. We have a big group of friends right now, and it's hard to be there for everybody at every event. Yeah. That somebody else is putting on or this is going on. People have to split up every once in a while, but try to make the big ones, and try to be there for the fucking party and hang out and just be yourself and be a cool motherfucker. Like you said, you can't buy this shit.
Right.
The thing is that, like, when these guys, like what the Ohio cats done, what the dudes from Boston have done, like when they come to the camp out, whether it's ours, I think ours makes the most sense because ours is where you're going to get the biggest melting pot of people from everywhere, right? The other campouts are very important and they're very a part of this scene.
They're just more regional.
They're more regional and they're more accommodating to people in that area, right? Yeah. But realistically, you want to get out there and you want to make these relationships. You want to get the opportunity to. I think us here in Texas and Dallas, we're kind of the outer loop of all the East Coast and what they have going on. I mean, that was pretty clear. Like, like Sketchy's Outcast culture is a fucking huge brand out there. Yeah. Right? Huge. Everybody fucks with them. Right? And I feel like, we should be fucking with them, but it seems out of our loop. Right. If that makes sense.
It is.
It is. You're right. It's over 2,000 miles away.
Yeah. It's not.
But I mean, I'm not saying that to say like it's not a badass brand. I'm just saying like
1,000%. But as far as like our loop and just you seeing some shit at a random bike night, no, dude, you're it might as well say East Coast and shit, not Outcast, because it hasn't really permeated, penetrated, whatever the fuck word you want to use.
It's regional, like a lot of brands are. Like you probably see, like Thrashin' brand probably has that regional thing too, where it probably hits us here.
I think Thrasher's way more of a national. Big
it
brand.
is national, but at the same time,
Outcast, like I said, you got the dudes. You came to the camp out once. Came to the camp out last year.
Yeah,
I fucking or not last year, but the year, but whatever. Fucking loved it. You had a good time, and you got dudes down here that fuck with you and really like your shit. But at the same time, it's not what it could be, and it's definitely not what it is out there. And it's not anything on his brand. It's just the fact that that's where you're from. And me and Saxon and the couple other dudes that wear their shit. We do what we can, but again, you don't pay me, so I'm not blowing you up. But
no, but that's just it.
I'm joking, Sketchy. But I'm saying, yes, you know what I mean. Like
any business has to make a conscious choice whether they're going to be
shows up
a Texas brand, a regional brand, a nationwide brand, a worldwide brand. Right? Yeah. Every business has to make that choice. If you put it this way, if you own and you are completely good with just owning those 16 states or whatever up in the Northeast, own the fuck out of them, be you, run it, love it. If you were completely good with owning Texas expanded, good, own it, be you,
Yeah.
love it. But if you want more, you have to cross, right? You have to cross
He did
borders
that.
to get
You heard it first from friends, my man.
No, but it's just
If
true.
you want
like,
Texas, come on out.
Well,
Come push out those
he
dudes.
did.
He
He
did.
did. He
No,
came to
no,
the camp out
exactly,
last year,
exactly.
and
You gotta come
I
to
think
some bike
that
nights. You gotta come to some Texas
Oh,
events.
calm down. Hey, we ain't calling nobody out to fucking bike night.
Yeah.
I'll tell you that much.
we're sorry. It's
Don't
it's
call
not
me the
night.
bike.
I usually perform way harder than this, but no, like it's hard because it probably sounds like it sounds like shade no matter how you say it, but it's not because
it's not.
what we're trying to say is like certain brands. They hit harder in different areas. I'm sure the Fast Life name brand
It
here,
hits the hardest here.
yeah,
Exactly.
But then you take it and you throw it all the way out there. It's like
Exactly.
the Fast Life podcast hits good there,
Right.
Not necessarily the Fast Life Garage, which whatever.
But
That's
that's
an
the thing.
analogy.
The people that it hits with, it's the same thing. It's
Yeah.
people. It comes down to people because the people that Fast Life hits with, wherever we are, even if it's only a few or a handful, right? They're the ones that we want to hit with because we're putting in the effort, and if they reciprocate that, it's the same thing, right? So if I'm a brand in California and I hit hard with 3 motherfuckers in New York City, those are the guys I want to connect with. Sure, I want some more, but if it's just
if
it's superficial,
if they're your
if it's
chess
not
pieces
genuine,
on the table, if they're your chess pieces on the table, you got to funnel into them. And I think that like what's probably is like clothing brands are tough. We've talked about this
Dude, they're
heavily.
a
They're
dime
very
a dozen,
tough.
bro.
I think Outkast could hit really hard here.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I said,
definitely.
It's just a little bit more of putting a presence.
Well, they're growing every day.
Yeah,
So I mean,
100%.
they're,
yeah, and that's the other thing.
They're-
They're not.
But I
They're
think
not
that's a
that old.
matter
They're-
of
they're
like,
very
like,
small
they're
years,
also-
maybe.
yeah,
small
like-
little stay for him here to fucking and dude.
They're
I
very
think they could
new,
kill
so-
it here.
But put it this way.
Outkast is like all the other brands that I think that
It
are
takes
a
time,
part
dog.
of our this generation of bikes, right? I'm glad that they're here, and I'm glad. I think what's going to be badass is as they grow and we grow, and when I say we, like us doing what we do, this scene, the thing we're a part of, as all this grows, we all get to look back and go, "Fuck, man! You
Early
remember
days.
this? Remember that?"
Yeah.
I remember when Outkast was just doing these T-shirts, and now they got now this fucking Dixon flannel. You know what I mean?
right.
So it's like,
Hope not.
I hope no. I'd rather a guy like him be I would rather his
Right.
brand go there because he's a fucking real biker. You know what I mean? So I'm stoked about it. You know, it's just it's just dope. But it's like these campouts, you know, as a whole, like not just ours, but like the ones that spawned off of ours are. We reap the benefits of it because a lot of cats that came out to help us out on this trip hadn't been to our camp out, but they'd been to a camp out that is in existence because of our camp out.
Yeah.
You know, so they have an understanding of who we are because those camp outs still represent who we are.
Our baseline.
Yeah,
Absolutely right.
you know what I mean. So it's like the up north camp out. You know, Steve's a loose cannon. You know, he's not trying very hard to make the accommodations up there, but people still enjoy it, and people still got that first sting of a camp out, and that's forever their home, right? That's their first thing, like it was for us,
Right.
So if we're saying what our baseline is, though, like if we're saying our baseline was Camp Out 1 and that existed because of the shit that we put in, the work that we put in beforehand,
Yeah.
right? The guys that have bloomed from that, Steve and Craig, essentially, I will 1,000% co-sign on both of those men for the fact that they've done what they've done and then they decided to move on with their own thing. Co-sign for days, right? If somebody went ahead and did something for whatever reason, you know, without kind of, I don't want to say without putting in effort for the work that we've all done over these past 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
4 years. I
Hey,
guess.
how do you do a camp out, Jace?
Yeah,
Like,
that's
calm
the
down.
thing. I can't co-sign on that because there's no connection there. There's no real like genuine interaction with the individuals. There has to be some of that for there to be some substance.
Yeah.
Otherwise, your camp out's gonna be you and just you, homie, like empty as fuck.
Yeah.
Because if we're saying like there's
You got to ask yourself first, why are you doing a camp out? What's your reason? If your reason is because you saw Steve's success, Craig's success, or our success, with our campouts, and you want to be a player in this game, if you will. Like, not that we're players, but the perception online is much different for people looking in than it is what's in it, right?
Yeah.
Our campouts are something that we do for ourselves.
Right.
Yeah, really.
You know what I mean?
Really. That's
Yeah.
absolutely right.
I see Steve as the motherfucker that showed up to the first camp out and nobody knew who the fuck he was. That's still how I see him. You know?
agree.
And that's why we're fucking friends.
Yeah.
Is because that's how I see him. He didn't come there with a big chest. He didn't come there, trying to show off or nothing.
Yeah.
And now he's blown up, and people.
He did show off.
I mean, he showed off.
But if you really fuck with Steve, you know he's the same dude. Like, he doesn't.
Exactly.
He doesn't walk.
But I think other people perceive shit.
Sometimes.
Oh, dude. Well, I know. I don't know. Yeah. I guess I've hung out with him with enough times.
Yeah, he's listening. He said what's
No,
up.
I'm saying I've hung out with him enough times where he doesn't, like, I've seen him just be regular fucking dude.
I
not
think that
guy.
what Steve is
Oh,
dealing
yeah.
Well,
with.
when you got fucking clown ass jerk offs, like,
No, I
you
get
got people coming at you.
I
That,
get that.
I've hung out with Steve. When I went to New York with him,
Yeah.
like, I'm used to dudes walking to me saying, "Hey, I listen to your podcast. Love what you do." Like, it's always awkward. I don't know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
This dude times 10 gets people coming up than I do, right? To the point where I was like, bro,
We get it.
I'm the famous one here, motherfucker. But we're in New York and everybody's coming up to him, and I'm like, oh shit, like I get it. Like there's no way to understand how to deal with public, like, people coming at you, right? And when Steve put out a persona, it is who he is, but the White Claws, drinking, hanging out in the shop, he's doing exactly the same things that we were doing, up there with rock cycles. They're hanging out at the shop parties, doing the lives. We were doing it too in the COVID thing. And these people identify, like, fuck, man, like, I wish I was in Dallas. I wish I was in Grand Rapids hanging out with these guys. They're having fun. They're doing what I want to do right now. Instead, I'm fucking stuck in this, town that won't let me go to fucking Chili's. You know what I'm saying? Right?
Yeah, exactly.
And so he thrived last year. We thrived last year because we did shit. Right? And people are like, fuck, man, like, I think Steve resonates so well with people because
East of the Rockies, dog. I'm saying.
Dude,
Nobody the Midwestern connection is strong.
I think we got like a little docking thing that took place this week with me, him, and Proper Baggers because we were getting shit talked out the ass.
Okay.
Because
For why? Oh, with
oh, dude, that's, yeah, like I said.
man.
apparently we're not OG enough, right?
Whatever,
But
dude.
dude, there's this. The thing is that, like,
Nobody
just
needs
like
to claim
just like
nothing.
you guys, I have another relationship with Steve outside of this, where I've traveled with this dude quite a bit, and it means something to me. Just like it means something to me with you guys. Like, it means something to me when someone's coming at us. Like, if anybody came at you guys, just like Homeboy came at fucking Thrashing, I've fucking put Miles down with Thrashing.
Right.
That's my dudes.
Right.
They're not paying me to say shit. I don't get. There's not a fucking thing in here Thrashing gave me, but they're my boys.
Yeah.
Right?
I need some thrashing shit.
Yeah, we do need some Thrashing
We
shit.
for sure need the
But-
thrashing
Get on that,
shit.
Lance.
There's so many. I think people with this shit talking stuff on the internet, they don't understand that, like, there are real motherfuckers out there, and because some of us have followers on Instagram, you think we're not real. Like, we're real because we have followers because we are fucking real, motherfucker. Like, we do ride bikes, we do fuck with people blindly and loyally, because I fuck with this dude. You know what I mean? Like, dude, that was another big part of my trip. That why I was in a different mindset. Like, that fucking purpose built bullshit. That fuck with me. You know what I mean? Like, I probably should have said anything.
Chattanooga?
Yeah. I don't deal with drama. I don't have a lot of drama on the internet, and I also
That's a
don't.
long ways.
Yeah, well, I'm friends with somebody, and it's like when you see someone that's like that has a brand and has a business and has employees and has a family, and you see some fucking queer talking shit online, basically that doesn't have a shop, doesn't have employees, and doesn't fucking like provide anything for the motorcycle industry other than laser engraved parts. I have a problem with that. Like, calm down. Like, this dude's running a
Does
business.
he fucking ride?
Does he ride? Yeah. Do you ride outside of your fucking state?
Yeah.
I was friends with that guy. I really was. But Unfortunately, because I was riding a bike across country, I didn't get a chance to answer his fucking messages. And so he makes a post and talks shit about me.
Right.
So fuck that dude.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not into this let's talk shit on Instagram. Like, I have a platform that you don't, motherfucker. I can talk all kinds of shit. Right. You know what I mean? Just like you did on your deal. But if you want to call me, we can talk like men.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know what I mean? I'm not calling you a bitch.
But you didn't, because you're a fucking cunt. And you know who we're talking about, and I wouldn't fucking do you the favor of naming your
fucking
Instagram
shift
name,
linkage,
'cause
dude.
you're a bitch. And I hope this gets back to you, and fuck you, find me, motherfucker.
We're talking about the dude talking about.
Well, I'm talking about the motherfucker recently.
No. This is another one.
He's talking about.
I've had
I'm
too
ta-
much shit talking.
I'm talking about the motherfucker
And another
this week
one.
who fucking knows who he is. And dude, get the fuck back, bro. Like, I don't even know what to say other than you're pathetic. I looked at both your fucking pages. You're a fucking hack. You're a fucking joke.
And I sent you a message and you didn't say shit.
You're basically the great value version of
Pussy
what
ass.
what you fucking think
Damn, we
these
got
guys
off
are.
track.
What you think they are. No, not even what they are. You're a fucking cuck. And I don't even know what to say other than you're pathetic.
down.
And like I said, fuck you, find me,
Keep that
because guess
same-
what?
keep
From
that
what
same
I can see
energy
in all
when
your
we
shit,
see you in
you
Sturgis.
don't ride to anywhere. You do a little garage vlog post, and you fucking
us because of
you fucking ask for advice because I can't find where to run this bypass. Dude, get the fuck out of here, dude. We're all across the country. You don't leave your fucking garage. You don't leave fucking California. Come on, bitch.
Keep the
I'll
camera
see
on
when I
that
see
side,
you.
for
And I'm
sure.
coming to the Pacific Northwest next year, so I'll see you then if you want to. Bitch.
You don't want no smoke?
When did this turn into a Patreon podcast?
Yeah, it's good.
What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
3
God
hours,
damn.
yeah.
Why you got so much hate in your heart?
He's not. No, dude.
You got hate in your heart, let it out, Whitefire.
This isn't even that. This isn't even that.
Golly.
This is seeing something over this last week where we're just like, God, are people that pathetic? Like, I thought in the motorcycle world, like, we're all above that. Like, the activity and the fucking bitch assedness I saw, I was like, oh, dude, that's just a whole different genre of just other shit. I don't know. That's kind of why I ride motorcycles, because I don't.
You want to know what the fuck it is? I'll tell you what the fuck it is. No, this is what it is.
Bro.
This is what it is. It's motherfuckers that aren't doing shit, right? They're not riding. They're not enjoying life. They don't have friends out the ass because they're making efforts like we just talked about with campouts, with events.
You tag a bunch of motherfuckers that don't follow you back in your stories, trying to get them riled up about something that somebody that they don't even know said some shit.
This
that
fucking
isn't
nerd
isn't
in
really about
NorCal
them. But
is trying to
see
do
your stories and I
vlogs.
look at who you're tagging. They don't even follow you. You fuck. You're literally the epitome of a fucking 7th grade fucking bitch trying to get some drama going on. Who ultimately gets her own ass whooped in the cafeteria. So keep it going. Keep it going.
Guess who they do follow?
Hell.
And guess who's actually friends with those motherfuckers?
Hell.
I wasn't going to talk shit. I wasn't going to respond to it.
Dick.
Just like I didn't want to respond to the purpose-built shit. Like I have respect for John and purpose-built. I really do. I don't think that was smart. I don't think it's smart to attack a company that has a business and a brand. And they're like, he copied, he stole. Dude, there's two sides to every fucking story. Calm down. You're on the other side of the country, and you're mad because a shift linkage looks like yours, and yours looks like Harley's. So that was my joke. That was my fucking 2 cents in the pot.
There's only so many fucking ways you can make a shift linkage to
Dude,
begin with. So.
Calm down. Like, have a real conversation. That's the problem. Like, that same fucking nerd in NorCal made all these posts. I sent him a message, said, hey, dude, what's your number? Let's have a conversation about this. If not, here's my number. He never fucking responded. I don't know what's going on.
He ain't gonna
Same
gain
thing.
no followers from that. He's a
Exactly.
fucking cunt. He's a fucking cunt. I'm sorry you can't put this one on YouTube and get any money from it or something else. But you know what, Saxon, edit that out if you need to. I'll give
You don't
fucking-
edit anything.
I'll give you 10
I don't know.
seconds.
It better
I'm
go
sorry.
on there.
I didn't really want to bring all this up, and it's just
We didn't even finish
When you
want
to go after somebody
No, we
about
haven't.
the fucking beverage they
Forget
drink,
it.
you want to fucking talk
Goodness
shit about my boy fucking because he lived in a trailer. Well, I'm regretting paying fucking rent, and this motherfucker's living it right. So many motherfuckers have house payments that they don't need, and you're, oh, you live in a trailer, if you drink White Claws, get the fuck out, dude. I'm actually mad at myself now that I even spent this
he
much
listens
time
to the podcast
talking about
so.
this bitch.
How
You know
good.
what? There's a few motherfuckers that I did some
He's
deep
on
diving
one.
that I saw some shit where people were on one side like talking shit about this and another side talking about this, like kind of riding the fence. You motherfucking, you're from Tennessee and you know who I'm fucking talking about, you fucking cunt. Don't fucking do it. Don't ride both sides. Don't fucking comment on some of his shit and some of his homeboy shit, talking shit. Don't comment, oh yeah, I know what you mean. And then at the same time, ride some of this shit. Like, fucking pick a dick and get on it, you bitch. Because that's all you are. If you're going to fucking ride both sides of it, that's all you are. You know the fuck I'm talking about, too.
Yeah.
Tennessee, you fuck.
People on the internet, they that's all they have is the internet connection. So like, which side do I get to gain more stance on? And don't get me wrong, like Steve's growing in popularity, our podcast is growing in popularity. What we do is growing in popularity. That's gonna like negate more motherfuckers that don't agree and don't like what we're doing. It's gonna look for the loopholes in anything we say or anything we like identify with. I get it, but at the same time, that's why I didn't respond to that motherfucker. I have something he doesn't, motherfucker. Like, I'll talk shit to you on here. And you can just repost it on your page with me saying it so that I get more fucking followers.
Yeah, it just
Bitch,
happened.
you ain't more than about 1,200 miles away. Don't fucking act like you can't
Dude,
get
I'm in
touched.
NorCal all the fucking time. He can holler at me while I'm there. Like, I'll probably be there before the end of the year. So let's hang out, dude.
Dude, even Jetty was pissed off. Don't let Jetty get a hold of you.
The problem is, like, man, all we're trying to do is promote positivity in motorcycles.
Except for like the last 15 minutes.
And it never happens. Well, it never happens until these fucking...
Lord, I apologize.
You're right.
Anyway,
he doesn't deserve
Nashville.
another second on it.
Nashville,
Jesus, we gotta like reset. Okay,
So we left Cincy.
no. So, kind of to wrap this thing up, I can appreciate what y'all are saying from a passion standpoint, right? Because when it comes down to it, the people that we fuck with and the people that put forth the effort, the way that we do, there's a reason. There's a distinct reason why we would essentially fight to the grave for these people, right?
Yeah.
I would do it for you and you and you and you. All these guys for the very distinct reason. Exactly why y'all just went off like you did, right? And I respect it. I can respect what it is. Y'all can have your own opinion just like I'll have mine and everybody has their own.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, brother.
But at the end of the day, it is about love. It is about passion. It is about the fact that you cannot wrong my brother for reason or not.
Yeah.
And just think you're going to kind of get away with it. You know what I mean? It doesn't work in this world. If it's the real world,
It's
the
too
small
small.
world,
It's
the
too
world
small
that
of a
we kind of
community.
operate in,
Yeah.
I think frauds kind of come up pretty easily by themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it takes some real motherfuckers to check them, to just essentially say, listen, this is what we invest in, and this is the way that we spend our time in our life. And all of these people that we've talked about for the last few hours on this trip, there's so much value in these people because these are the people that we will go to the mat for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And as a result, it drives passion. And there's so much love out of that because that's really where passion stems from, right? It's out of that deep burning part of all of us. And sometimes it does boil over. So we'll let it be what it is and we can move on. But I mean, at the end of the day, it really is a result of care about what you're doing and care about the people that you're doing it with and for, right?
Well,
and if you don't do that, then there's not a lot of substance.
So fucking what does talking shit about somebody do for you? Like why if you don't like what somebody does, fucking don't listen or don't what is
Tune out.
I'm just gonna talk shit to you because I
Turn
don't
the
like
channel.
what you're doing.
Motorcycle dudes that talk
exactly.
shit are the most Me Too motherfuckers I've ever met in my
Yes,
life.
exactly.
So the thing is, like like the brands like Thrashin, like Steve, people that are trying to do things and with who they are and what they're about, when those guys get attacked, and those are my real friends, not unfortunately, but maybe fortunately, you guys have careers outside of motorcycles, right? These guys' careers are motorcycles. So if I was in your fucking work group chat and fucking Jeb was talking shit to you about the way you did a spreadsheet, I'd be like, hey, fuck you, dude.
Fuck you, Jeb.
God damn it, Jeb.
You know, is Jeb a name? I don't even.
Jeb, we got beef or what, son?
Yeah.
There were 4 Jebs at Niagara Falls.
Jebediah's.
So
Noah, Jeb.
So like you,
Ezekiel. Hey,
Ezekiel.
Fuck you, Ezekiel.
my thing is like you know, like same thing. If it was Tony, if it was Mark, if it was Justin,
I feel you.
these dudes, like, you know, on the internet, when someone starts talking shit about you, right? Most of the time, I would never say anything back. I would just like, whatever, dude, calm down. Like, dude, say what you say.
It's not worth
whatever.
it.
Because I know that I live my life to where I can't be checked. And if you try to check me, I can fucking back up everything I say and do. 100%. I have a great opinion about why I think certain things are the way, but I'm not going to get into a fucking argument with a dude through fucking memes, right? If you want to have a conversation, let's have a conversation. I'll tell you why I said what I said. But if you're just going to fucking repost a fucking 5 or 15-second clip of a fucking hour-long conversation and say that I blah, 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 fuck off. The thing with Purpose Built is that I probably should have stayed out of it, but just like I look at you guys, and if it was somebody fucking with you, I felt like I should say something because this was dumb.
Yeah.
It was fucking dumb.
It was stupid. It was childish.
Right?
As fuck.
And I know John at Purpose Built, and I know Lance and the whole Thrashin family. And I know that Thrashin is a brand that has multiple employees, family members, generations working there. I know that their machine shop is in the same complex, not China, like somebody was saying. And I know these motherfuckers ride motorcycles. And that's one thing that I love more than anything is brands in our industry that put miles on their bikes.
And they stack miles.
So when they attack somebody like that I fuck with, me and Cody hung out. We stayed in this is their family. They're like
we
the
stayed
rest
under
of
the
us.
same roof with these motherfuckers.
You know what I mean? Like, this is family. You talk shit about them, I immediately think about all the people that work there and your little dumbass little internet feud that doesn't drive any more sales to your fucking valve stem cover caps, right? Like, this is a brand selling products and making things happen for families.
Yeah.
And you're supposed to be American, blah, blah, blah. Like, that's the most un-American shit I've ever seen.
No.
Stay out of it, motherfucker.
Is he gonna fall down the steps with that?
Probably. Anyway, I'm done with it. I'm over with it.
Yeah. All right.
Fucking done with it.
I tried to put a period on that. We can
So-
move on.
I had to have last say.
Thanks to Adam
appreciate
and them
y'all.
for
Yeah.
putting us up.
God damn.
We leave-
Cincinnati, Ohio.
We leave the next morning and headed to Nashville.
That is where we went, huh?
Nashville was, we got there early enough to where we could, we hopped in the pool and it got rained on in the pool.
Yo, that was actually a lot of fun.
Immediately.
Yeah, I had fun.
Rain in the pool was a lot
Fucking
of
took
fun.
a shower and got in the pool. What a gay.
Okay. What'd you do?
I went and fucking partied.
Lame.
You should have not did that.
I partied.
We got pre-drunk in the pool. That was fun.
Is this what we're talking about? You getting carried?
No, that was.
That was
that was
Virginia
Play,
Beach.
let's play the video. I want to see it.
Oh, it's bad. No, don't play it.
Virginia
It's
Beach.
bad. It's bad.
Oh wait, you got the video?
I haven't even seen it.
I dropped
I've
my
got
bi-
ones that I got, but
I dropped my
I
bike in the
haven't
parking
seen
lot that night
Ben's.
too.
There's a couple bike drops in this parking lot.
Dude, I dropped my bike.
Oh god.
That's it.
Oh god.
Oh boy.
Oh god. You gonna wait for Jay? Is he coming back?
Wait, which one's Cody?
He's in the middle.
Oh my god. Bro.
That dude says helmet on.
Virginia Beach.
Dude,
We stay in the Ritz, brother.
no sound, right? No. Okay. You
Oh
can
my
hear
goodness.
you can hear Ben in the background talking shit.
That's so good.
Like, you gonna be okay, bro?
That's so good. That's the
Oh,
realest.
fuck, man. I was asleep for that. That was the night I woke up and like grabbed Chance, right?
Yeah, correct. That was after that.
Hilarious.
I would love to see that on video.
Yeah,
Nope.
right. That would be fun.
Nobody took a video of it. It was live.
Yeah, that was I don't know. So yeah, we get to Nashville, man, and
Nashville stays undefeated. bro.
Nashville's a fucking. I get it. I get why people move there.
Nope.
It's
Nope. Nope. Nope.
Fucking Tony. Hey, fuck you, Tony.
I don't ever want to go to Nashville. The thing is like
As we pulled into
I bet
Nashville.
there's such a bigger, cooler Nashville than what we've experienced.
Yeah.
We've experienced I don't even know what the street
tourist.
is. The street.
Nashville's
Yeah.
fun as fuck.
No, I'm saying, but like
That is the street. That's the only place
So-
to go in Nashville.
Nashville is New York as New York is Las Vegas. They're all highly tourist. They know they're tourists, so they charge prices up the ass, and they all stay undefeated because very rarely does somebody come out with a W in any of those cities,
Yeah.
right? They either get
me 2
fucked
years in a
up,
row.
jailed up, lose their money, lose their
relationships. Yeah,
it's a lot. It's a lot. So, it is what it. One thing we did find out about Nashville this particular year, Nashville is by far over any place we've been in the whole country.
I agree.
The bachelorette party of the USNA.
You damn right. There had to
There
be
were
20 of them
more
motherfuckers.
basic bitches fucking running around Nashville than I have ever seen, ever.
Mm-hmm.
They have a bridal party of 30, and all these bitches look the same.
Yep.
It is a trip. And there were 14 of them in the same bar. Like it was a trip. I've never seen anything like it. The closest thing I've seen to it was Fredericksburg, Texas. And that's basic bitch city too. So it's I don't know. I don't know if it's a thing to just line up, Becky.
And
let's go out and party.
They all wear cowboy hats.
Dude.
I'm like, what?
Yeah, they're all country girls
Okay.
tonight.
All right.
yeah. The pilgrim hats is what they wear up there, right?
What's
the,
that?
the round ones.
Oh, only the fancy girls, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't
Cowboy
know.
boots and Daisy Dukes and
I mean,
cowboy hats.
Go back to Iowa. You can get married to Chuck. It'll be all right.
Yeah.
Like, don't come here. It's not
Make sure
necessary.
you Jeb.
Yeah.
You're right.
I think Nashville is like I was just saying, right? There's just like this massive draw and attraction towards the city and the street and the strip, but you know that town has so much culture in it now with everybody moving there, and even where we had breakfast, right? You're like, oh, that looks like some fucking fire ass brunch spots over here.
Yeah.
Is Jaden leaving?
Dude, I have no idea. Did we run out of beer?
Did Jaden just leave?
He's going to get more ice. I guarantee you.
You think
What
he
is
is?
wrong
Just
with
put
it?
the fucking beer in the cold water.
For sure, dude.
He's going
Yeah,
to
we're
get
out
more
of beer
ice.
too right now.
No, we're
We're not
not.
out.
No, we're not out of beer, but we're out
Up
of on
here,
the table.
yeah.
But
No.
I know
Need one?
I know Nashville
Did you count
has
as taps?
so much more to offer, like as far as like on the outskirts, if you know people there to hang out with and do shit.
Exactly. I
Like,
wonder
you know
what
the-
like real Nashville is. Like we've never had
But let's be
a
honest.
tourist or not tour
Tour guide.
It's
tour
probably going to be a
guide
hard
in
time
Nashville.
to because
do you
the
think
tourist side of
Nashville's, like,
Nashville
cool?
is pretty fucking fun.
I mean,
Yes,
it
exactly.
is.
That's
You
what I was.
just
Gonna,
gotta- you just
that's what I was
gotta-
gonna.
That's why I say it's New York and it's Vegas, right? It's fun. You just got to pay for it.
Do you really want to go to the fucking like the local spots in
Kinda.
Vegas?
Kinda. Hey, listen.
Not in Vegas, maybe New York, not Vegas.
So we went to Nashville. We had a little budget that we had for this whole trip. We went to Nashville with whatever was left.
yeah, it's $400.
Right? It took us about 47 minutes to go through this motherfucking shit, and we were drinking beer.
The buckets of beer were
Because
$48.
we did
a
Adderall
piece.
is why we fucked up.
Yo, y'all don't understand.
I mean, because there
It's
was
just-
fucking 7 or 8 of us pounding fucking beers.
Chance even bought a couple.
I know. No, Chance
bought
bought,
buckets.
Chance
I bought
bought a
2
couple. You did.
buckets.
I didn't buy shit.
So
Of
once
course you
y'all
did.
finished, I was done for the night.
Of course you did.
I don't know. For whoever
Then
bought,
Jaden bitched
right?
because it was Michelob Ultra and he bought his own Budweiser.
So we probably bought for one bar, right? One bar, and maybe how long were we there? 3 hours? 4 hours
Yeah.
most.
3.
That's like
Not
3.
much, right? 3 hours. Probably spent $700.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We're so
Fuck off. Like, that's touristy as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Like, Nashville, got him. Like, Kid Rock just got paid for sure.
Let's be honest though. There's a
And
good
then we the suckers.
people watching there though too. Like
That's all we did. We paid
that's a good thing about those
$19 a
tourist
beer
spots.
and watched Becky's run up and down the street. That's what we did.
Hey,
So, the biggest story about that night, though, is Cody B over here.
Man,
you fucking left me.
Shut
You
the
left the homie
fuck up.
hanging, man.
You are impossible.
No man left behind.
You are
Goddamn it.
impossible. Cody B. Goddamn Leighton ass Brantley. When this motherfucker's drunk, there ain't no talking to him. There ain't no talking to him. I can't fucking drag this fool nowhere unless he want to go, right?
Yeah.
And if he wants to fight, he can fight me, but he's gonna fight. Anyways, it was well past time. Like I said, all homies were going
faces,
home
right?
after
So
all
I want
the
to say
beers.
myself and Jacob went back to the room around 12
First,
12 to 1.
probably.
Kyle and
Jason
Jason
went
left
back
before
with the
that, right?
first-
Kyle and Jane left before that because Kyle was fucked
Kyle
up.
was peeking
Kyle.
in the bathroom.
Yeah, let's talk about Kyle for a minute.
He went hard.
So this year we stayed at Margaritaville. Thank you very much, Chance. Hotel and casino points galore.
Right.
Which was how long? Like 7-8 blocks away from the
Not
strip
that
area.
bad.
Say
Not that bad. Like
4 or
3.
5, yeah.
Yeah.
Three full-size blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that bad.
It was half mile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Half a month.
So, Kyle, goddamn jive ass honky boy. Whew, let's talk about this man because
The entire trip.
he was on a level unbeknownst to any other human being
When we
at
got
this
to the
moment.
Kid Rock bar, he was
This boy
fucked up.
was like, "Yeah, this is it. This is the last one before essentially the last one, right?"
Yeah.
Whoo-wee. He went full send for all you motherfuckers that like that shit. This boy had so many beers, it wasn't even funny. And by
He had 2 margaritas at the pool and he was fucked up.
10:45,
He didn't eat.
10:45, he
High
was
school move.
cross-eyed and crooked. This boy, he had to walk half mile back, stumble with a homie, and he was, oh man,
He's
all
puking in the
sort
Kid
of
Rock
phased and
bathroom in
dazed.
the urinal.
Yeah.
He was
Oh yeah.
puking.
He puked in the urinal.
Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Women,
put
y'all
his
don't know
chin-
nothing about that. There ain't no bowl in the urinal.
No, it was like one of the tall stands.
Tall ass urinal, just
Oh, all the way
chunks
to the
of
bottom?
shit
Yeah,
in the
all the way to the
goddamn
bottom.
bottom of the urinal.
Yeah.
Ugh. And he wasn't the only one neither. He wasn't the only one neither.
Kyle was the one that really fucking promoted, like, let's go to the pool first.
Bro,
I'm
I was
always,
with it.
dude,
I was with it.
I'm an adult. I want to go eat and then go drink.
We did.
Calm down, brother.
We ate.
Yeah, but
Yeah, we ate. What did we eat?
we've been like
Oh, we went to
we've been
barbecue.
scorched by the sun for the last couple of days. So this is the first time we got to have a pool, right? Even if it was just for a minute, it was like I could fuck with a pool for right now.
was awesome.
Just get in it. You know what I mean? And
You didn't swim in the rain though.
I got out just before the rain happened. I didn't do it on purpose. It just happened, and I was like, I'm definitely not getting back in there while it's raining. So,
Should have got re-wet. It was awesome.
but Nashville's a
Undefeated.
I like the town.
I like the town too.
I love it.
Cody loves it.
I don't love what it does to me, but
For as much
fucking-
for
Nashville's a good
all right.
time.
So as much as the Kyle saga occurred, and Jaden when he gets back, he can speak about this. But Kyle lost that one for sure.
It's
He
funny
might have
'cause
won for a minute, but
How
then
many
he lost
times,
ultimately.
you probably remember this best, but how many times were we doing something on this entire trip and Kyle would fall asleep
at the bar.
somewhere, but then like
He's the
2
best.
hours later, he's like, woo!
Yeah.
You're like,
the best.
He
is
will
he
not
taking
go to
power
bed.
naps?
This man refuses.
Yeah.
Right? It's like kind of his battle cry to I will not be the one in bed first. Right?
We did that the first night
Fair
in New
enough.
York City.
Fair enough. So
Like he's just like,
rather than going to bed, he just falls asleep at the bar.
yeah. He don't give a fuck. But then he'll wake back up.
Yeah, you ready, right?
Yeah.
fun.
But no, transferring over from Kyle to Mr. Leighton Brantley over here. Oh my
So,
goodness.
yes.
Oh my goodness.
So I go back.
Yep.
And I think I finished one of the movies I was watching on this trip.
Wall Street one.
I think I also watched.
Him and his fucking AirPods.
For
or
sure,
whatever
dude.
the fuck
They're
they
the
are.
best things ever. I watched 3 movies on this trip. I watched Wall Street. I watched Spider-Man Homecoming because it was New York and we were staying in Queens. I wanted to see like.
the most boring part of this podcast.
There you go. And I watched because I watched Homecoming. I wanted to watch fucking Endgame, so I watched that too.
Podcast!
Oh my god.
More ice.
We knew it.
Thanks,
we knew
brother.
Fresh ice.
I heard you. Back.
You're like, this motherfucker's.
I said that.
We
motherfucker
thought you
wanna
were
get
leaving.
ice.
Yeah.
Drunkenly? I thought you were Irishing.
Yeah.
Nope.
I said that.
All right.
Oh, I'd
Hey.
want some more beer if I could.
Hey, before we
But I'm drunk.
hey, before we go over to the we're in Nashville. We are not
Okay.
We're not quite transferring over to
God damn, we skipped a lot of stuff if we were in Nashville.
No,
No,
we
we didn't.
Okay.
We're not
okay.
quite transferring over to
All right,
Cody's
you're
story
right,
yet.
Reading.
We're not transferring over to Cody's story yet. We're gonna talk about Kyle's adventure
Oh,
for the evening.
boy.
Why don't you speak on it because you were his chaperone to the
So
pillow.
we all got to the hotel, but at the same time, we checked in at the same time, and
Made leave.
yeah, dude. Fucking, all right,
I'm
fuck my
listening.
story. So no, I think they just wanted to know about how Kyle got so drunk so quick,
Yeah.
and I'll tell you how. It's because we got to the pool, or we got to the hotel, and I guess there was an overlook in our hallway that overlooked over the pool, overlooked into the pool, and Kyle's like, "Hey, you got to see this." Don't worry about that. Actually, no, think about it.
I think we all get it.
Yeah,
We get
so, next thing you know, is like he was like, "Well, hey, I think I'm going to." If I remember correct, I thought he was going to chill out, and if I remember correctly, I remember telling him, "Fuck that." No, actually, I messaged the rest of the dudes because he was like, "Oh, some of them want to fucking go eat or something," and I think my message was, "Hey, all of you fat fucks can stand to like miss a meal. Like, let's all go to the pool together while we have a little bit of sunlight. We had storms rolling into Nashville. Let's go hang out, right? Like all together and let's drink at the pool." Well, it worked on some, not all, and we ended up getting down there. Dude, but Kyle was like this kind of actually all trippy if you don't know the truth about it. We walk into the bar and go, "Hey, Kyle, what do you want to drink?" He goes, "Give me one of those tall boy PBRs and a Long Island iced tea." Like, just real, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, are you trying to get, like, dumb drunk? Double. But Kyle was like that the whole weekend. And so he did that weekend. That was the night we got the good picture of you guys, you, him, and Trent out in the pool.
Oh yeah, wet.
Yeah. I took the picture.
He,
My phone, Android.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it.
Making it better.
but yeah, dude, he was just, he
want
was
me
in
to show you
that
the
zone
bad
where
ones?
at 4 o'clock, it went from, I think you wanted to take a nap. And I was like, well, let's just all go.
No, I wanted to go eat.
Somebody was like, you know what? That's a good idea. Let's go to the pool all together. Like, and then we'll go
I was
from
down
there.
because you.
But it went from that, like,
Common denominator. Jace always wants to go eat.
all of a sudden, well, somebody was like, I'm not
fucking
feeling this.
responsible.
Somebody wanted to go do something more adult, and I was like, well, let's just do this here because we've got access to the pool. They gave us a wristband when we checked in, so the pool means something. Let's do it while we're here and see
Yeah.
what's up. So, dude, Kyle just had no chill on this trip because he walked up and he was like, "Hey, I'm fucking dope. I don't know if you know about me. I'm Jive Ass Honky on Instagram. Got like 1,400 followers. I'm fucking double fisted." I don't think that's how you approached her, but it's essentially what happened because Kyle started double fisting and we ended up going out and we were all fucked up, dude.
Yeah.
And we met people at another. We went like 3 stops. So if anybody got the impression that Kyle got drunk on the first stop, that's not at all. Like, Kyle was like, "Gee, dude, we went like several stops and."
We went to the barbecue joint first.
We went to the pool first, barbecue joint,
Yeah.
and then Kid Rock.
Kid Rock's bar. And then that was it.
And dude, we were going hard.
That was
at
good.
Kid
Y'all
Rock.
went,
We
y'all
went
went
hard
further.
at the spot before the rooftop
I
spot.
did not. Only Cody B went first.
Oh. Well, I feel like I went hard at the other spot, and then we made it to the
spot?
the
Barbecue
rooftop
spot?
spot.
Yeah,
Barbecue
rooftop.
spot?
And then we went to another spot. Like I said, that's at some point I was right behind. It was just one. It just hit him a little bit where all of a sudden, like, I think I need to throw up. Like, it could have easily been me, but essentially when I got him back to the, because once he started throwing up, I went into a little bit. Like, I sobered up a little bit. And
You got that parenting thing coming.
Yeah, and I went into. Oh, dude, trust me, I was taking pictures of this dumbass.
When
and,
you
like,
got a homie full wobble, yeah.
But it's also one of those things where I was like, nobody's fucking with this guy, and I'm getting him home. Like, that's the fucking mission. It's getting done.
Fortunately, Cody B didn't have you. Is he taking a shit right now?
No, he's
Smoking a cigarette.
I wish I would have.
So yeah, so basically,
There have been two of us that got our ass whooped if I'd been with Cody that night.
nobody really knows what happened to Cody.
Cody doesn't even know what happened
Yeah.
to Cody.
Cody.
Just wait for him to tell the story because
100%.
the story's kind of over.
So
No, what I heard from that night was I got Kyle back, and dude, I was kind of like, yeah, you bitch,
Bro.
I'm going out.
You gonna tell him?
No, bro. Trent.
This is what Nashville left me with, a collapsed fucking nostril. My goddamn nose is bleeding.
Really? Golly. Come on, man.
So where are we at?
First time
We
somebody.
were talking. We were about to transfer over to you.
Some of the fast life bathroom.
you're not supposed to snort the shit in the bathroom. It's for fucking cleaning the toilet.
My left nostril been stopped up, and that motherfucker is
Going.
No, it wasn't even like I said.
I
don't know.
remember
we
the
just
night.
we just went into it, so it wasn't even crazy late. That's the wild thing. Like bars were definitely wide
So-
open.
But there
We
was
weren't
there was
late.
a sense of this is one of our last few nights where
No. Correct. Like as a group, we went hard.
there was no
together,
filter
right?
on for me.
No.
Yeah.
But the group kind of said, okay, it's time to call it a night. Go back.
I don't
Like,
remember that.
So it was after
No,
you took
neither.
Kyle back, right?
He was early,
So-
and then,
and then
y'all
you
went
had went-
first, and then me and Jacob went.
Everybody
Dwayne never
everybody
showed
ended
up.
up going.
Yeah, Dwayne was a gay.
Anyways, so it ultimately it just ended up being Cody and I. And
Chance said he went to the bathroom and
and then
everybody
we left,
left.
apparently. I didn't
and he was trying to
realize
call me,
that.
but I never heard it.
I believe that.
I believe that.
We walked down the street. Meanwhile, I thought we was walking back to the crib, and not Cody B. Cody, I ain't going back.
Dude,
So I'm going back.
The bars weren't even closed yet, man. You got to shut it down.
Anyways, I begged and pleaded for this man to come back with me. He said, no, I ain't going back there. I'm going to go in this
Don't touch
goddamn
me.
bar. We're going to find out what's
it.
going
Don't
on.
touch me.
I said, ain't nothing going on in there. Anyway, I said, listen, Cody B, I ain't fucking with you tonight. Either come with me or you better go on.
Or you're on your own.
He said, okay, peace. I said, okay. So I fucking peaced out, motherfucker. I went back, and next thing I knew was I woke up to 19 missed phone calls.
Not only did you leave your boy hanging in a bar,
Fuck you.
you can't even open a
Fuck
hotel
you.
room door
They ain't
for
no
me.
talking to you when you like that. All these phone
I was
calls.
trying to go to bed.
Yeah, I bet you were. At what time were these calls at? 5 a.m. 5 o'clock in the morning. So the layers of this story get peeled back. And what was that, Cody? So Jacob
I don't know.
also got these same phone calls. Apparently,
Jacob finally
he
answered.
answered his phone. I
Yep.
was asleep, bro.
And it woke Larry up.
And
Jacob and Roman, call in. YouTube
So-
Live. We want to hear from you.
Jacob said,
Larry was packing up. We're getting ready to go home.
yeah.
Dude,
No,
they were so
unbelievable. Nobody knew that.
Nobody knew that.
And so I'm calling Jacob. He finally answers. I'm like, hey, dude, open the door. I'm in the hallway.
This is my favorite.
He
This
said-
is my best.
He said, all right. He fucking opens the door. He's like, you're not here. I said, motherfucker, I'm standing in the hallway. Open the damn door. He's
Hey,
like,
one was in a row.
he said-
804.
he said, I'm standing in the fucking hallway. You're not here. And dude, I slightly remember this. I looked down. I'm like, I don't think our hotel had this carpet. He's like, I was like, fuck. I think I'm in the wrong hotel. I was at the right room number, but I was in the wrong hotel.
We're on the 8th floor, and every hotel now requires key access.
I don't know how I got up there.
So that's the fucking
Larry.
$1 million question.
No, that's how you got up there.
No, not in the wrong hotel.
No, yeah, I don't know how you got.
I don't
up
know
to
how
that
I got to
one.
the
That's a
8th
good
floor.
point. That's a good point.
You walked up on some nice couple that's go, yeah, he looks
No,
like he
they
would
would have kicked me. This fucking hobo needs to answer. Dude, you should have seen my pants. Did you see them?
I seen them. Yeah, I said. But the question is, were they like that before or after you went to
So
the
we
wrong
didn't even
hotel?
say that basically we don't know what happened to you between
we
the
were
moment
getting there.
he left
Yeah.
and the moment you showed up at
He
the
doesn't
wrong
even
hotel.
know.
I don't know. I don't
Either,
remember.
either you got beat up, jumped, or you called somebody's mama a hoe.
Yeah, that
Correct.
might have happened. Either one
Probably
of those
Mama
is a good
Ho.
scenario.
All I know is two things happened. So I had 19 missed calls or whatever at 5 o'clock in the morning, and I had a coherent message from Larry because he decided to just turn and burn that morning. He was going to skip Arkansas, get home. Okay.
That's actually my favorite when Larry goes.
Larry sends me a message. He says, I
"Walk
went
me up to the
down.
room, Larry.
Yeah.
He said, I went down
Well-
to pack my bike at 5 o'clock in the morning, and Cody ass was standing in the elevator bay, bloody and sideways, and he just got beat up. I said, okay, Larry, I hope you have a safe ride home when I wake up. And where the fuck's Cody at? Because he wasn't in our room. He ended up
Yeah.
in Jacob and Chance's room.
Yeah.
And yeah, your pants was all fucking sideways, your face was silly, and you bleeding out your face.
I don't know
That's
what
what
happened.
happened.
Well, Larry said, well,
Nashville.
so Jacob,
Nashville.
Nashville 2, Cody 0. Fuck me
Zero.
up. And then fucking Larry come down. He come out. It's funny to him.
Now you
I'm
remember?
retelling the story that he told me.
Yeah.
And it's funny to listen to him tell. He's like, the elevator opened up, and I'm just fucking standing there, bloody. My fucking pants are just filthy, blood all over them. And the elevator opened up, and I seen it was Larry, and I was like, my man.
I bet you did.
And then Larry said we got in the elevator.
God.
Larry said we got in the elevator. He said I just looked at myself and I was like, look at me. What happened?
I would love to hear Larry tell that story with
I
his
would love to
country
pull
ass.
those fucking hotel videos, man. Oh my god,
Bro.
There's no fucking telling. I was probably crawling. I don't know what the
In
fuck.
a city
happened.
like that, like security footage has to be gold.
Dude, this should be an
Like,
Instagram.
you know what
There
I mean? Oh, it
should.
should be an Instagram.
Dude, that'd be hilarious.
Not Instagram.
I
like,
made a scene
Drunks
when
in
I
the
got back
Wild.
to the hotel, and it was nothing like your scene.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
But like
about it.
me
Talk
and
about it.
Jacob walked into the hotel, and we saw the cars that were lined up underneath the pavilion,
Right.
and it was like a Camry and a
Hey, you gotta
fucking
preface this shit though.
yeah.
Why?
Well, we had to park our bikes on the sidewalk outside, and we're not rich, but we'll pay to fucking park our bikes somewhere nice, right? And we can shove them in somewhere. It's not going to be
It
inconvenient.
doesn't
Yeah.
take a lot of space.
Right.
And so
right.
when I walked in, I was like, of course, I'm coherent enough to know that like these people behind the desk have nothing to do with the cars parked out there.
Right.
But I'm drunk and I'm like,
You didn't care.
hey, can I ask why these bitch ass cars are parked underneath this thing and I have to park my bike on the fucking
What'd you
sidewalk
say, it
out
was a
there?
Camry?
Yeah. Like not even nice cars. I get it. You walk into there's BMWs and some nice end shit, some Benzes and shit.
Right.
No, fucking cars that I can afford. So
Hey,
come on, right? And so someone, they were being accommodating, dealing with me. They deal with drunk people every fucking night. And apparently I had a scuffle with a this floor's wet sign. As I was buying a Snickers. So I bought a Snickers. I was walking up to the room. I was just talking shit. And I tripped over.
The sign, you fucking
I
slipped
tripped
and
over the
kicked
sign. I was talking to them and ran into the sign. It fell over. And then I looked back and was like, I'm not picking it up. And I kept walking.
You know my
yes,
dad.
you are, sir.
You're not my real
not.
dad.
Not tonight.
I'm not
Nope.
calling you dad.
I had to park my bike out there. You pick it up.
That's right.
But yeah, Nashville was a good time.
Yeah, it was.
The next day we had a decent breakfast, and Larry jumped out. He dipped out, went home, and I guess you dropped your phone off your bike, which
I
is
didn't drop it. I hit a huge ass pothole, and it fucking came out of my
The
mouth.
last hoorah of them potholes, boy. Golly.
It was a blessing in disguise for me.
Yeah, fuck you. You didn't stop.
I didn't see it.
You were over
So at this point, like, I think at that point I knew that because it was early on that stretch, right?
Yeah, it was pretty early.
Give or take.
Yeah, I mean, we just got on the highway, maybe 25 miles, maybe 30.
Yeah.
And we were doing 125 on that. And so I was in this part where it was the first time I ever turned my lexins on the whole trip because I hadn't listened to it.
No sense to me at all.
Dude, I like silence. I like it.
I hate it now that I've had Lexin. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie,
that mean?
Lexin is the drug that cures me, and I can't.
dude,
I can't have it without.
I got to get the new one. That battery life on that new one is insane.
English.
You sound like a dog with peanut butter on the roof of your mouth.
Shut the fuck up, Mayfield.
So
That's my homie from Fort Worth.
Oh,
so we had with that
Cuidado, piece of mojado. Ciudado. What is that? I don't know. I've heard that word
It's
before.
fucking not English, is what it is.
It's Spanish, bro. And he's not even Spanish. He's a fucking white kid from Fort Worth.
caution, wet floor.
Caution.
we get it.
Jokes.
But
Stop making sober jokes.
I had a decision to make right there. Like once I didn't notice you were gone. There was a point where like I then like realized it, and I looked in my mirrors. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, anytime that happens, like you automatically like, is everybody okay?
Yeah.
That's the first thing,
Did
right?
somebody die?
And so Kyle texts me and he goes, "Hey, Cody dropped his phone. We had to pull over." And I'm like, "Fuck y'all guys. I'm fucking you going."
Sucks to be y'all.
Yeah,
What a dick.
Yeah,
Team players,
dude, I
man.
made it to fucking Justin's house like 2 hours before you guys did.
What'd that get you? What'd that get you?
I got there, took a
get you?
shower, finally got my Moe's that I've been wanting the whole fucking trip.
Fucking Moe's. That's what it got.
this
him.
motherfucker.
I got Moe's.
Okay, Justin's wife goes out and gets Moe's
Yeah.
and brings to the house, and this fucking faggot comes in
Yeah.
and wants to go eat Moe's
Right.
instead of eating
So,
the shit she
I
already
don't
had.
want your takeout Moe's.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be
All
for
right.
the ladies.
Yeah.
I'm not
want
ruling
Moe's.
against y'all, but I'm gonna throw a little. To be honest, she had gotten that for something else.
Yeah, for
not
the chick.
us.
And we crashed it.
We
And it was
crashed the
those things
ladies'
where,
night.
yeah, like they didn't use it all. She's like, "Well, I still have this." So
And there was
technically,
so
with
much
it being
left
kind of
over.
like
I
secondhand-
wanted a specific thing from Moe's, and there was one within a mile, and I had to
Moe's.
drive Justin in his own car.
Moe's is
I
not
ain't
that
mad
good.
at that.
I'm gonna say it. It's not
It's
that good.
aight.
Dude, you
It's
don't
not-
understand.
It ain't
do
better than
understand.
Chipotle.
The bet.
Calm down. Calm
Bet.
down.
Oh, he comes back. He got something to say.
Don't
He got something
don't
to
even
say.
fucking talk about Chipotle.
No, I will talk about Chipotle. Chipotle is where it's at.
Freebirds or fuck
No,
off.
no. I had
Moe's,
Freebirds,
Freebirds,
and Chipotle,
and Chipotle.
this week. Chipotle number one.
As far as like, what you get readily in Texas, it's Freebirds. Fuck off.
We don't have a free burger.
If we got
Wrong.
Freebirds is better than Chipotle, but
Wrong.
Moe's will fuck the asshole out of Freebirds.
Wrong 2 times.
Anyway,
What do you say, Sex?
Oh, is it the shit they had on the stove when we got
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Moe's. Yeah, exactly.
But that was again.
Yeah,
that
not
was
for
like
me.
that was
on the
that was a matter.
stove, not made specifically.
better fresh.
I did have a Moe's in Florida when we were leaving in Tallahassee when we were leaving Craig's camp out, and it was fucking good. It was real good.
We
Yeah.
had Moe's for like breakfast somewhere on one of these trips. Like, okay,
Last year in
breakfast
Tennessee.
nachos.
Yeah, I get it. You guys don't want to like what I like. I understand, but
Okay,
it
Chili's,
doesn't
calm down,
Don't want to
brother.
like what you like.
Calm
No, you just got
down,
bad
bro.
taste in food.
really.
Yeah, with
'Cause,
your fucking Chili's and Applebee's ass.
every time we go to Chili's with me, we have a good time.
One time in Western Colorado.
Walking up the stairs.
Montrose.
No, I thought I heard.
I thought I heard something too.
Yeah, dude, I was
What was
like,
that?
ready to
Calm down, man.
Anyway, but yeah, so like we ended up the goal was the thing we haven't talked about this, and where are we at right now? We got to figure this out.
320.
320.
All right, so we got to start wrapping this up in 15 minutes. So basically, the thing is that the goal, the thing that was made hard with this trip was we wanted to kick it with Mark for his wedding,
Yep.
and we wanted to also make the Rebels Den anniversary party.
Right.
So in order to do it, so we only had a finite amount of days in between the two to actually do all this shit and make it all work. And being on this trip and doing all this, it almost like felt weird. Like I wouldn't say weird. It was different when we finally got to Justin's and we're hanging out with, everybody from Arkansas, and
Craig was there again.
Craig was there.
Ben,
like
ladies was there.
Ben, y'all's wives were there.
Yeah.
It was nice. Like it was like
It was
coming.
like
it almost
homecoming.
felt like home.
It felt like home.
You know what I mean?
It did.
Well, it's close enough.
It was a long way from
Yeah.
home, but home.
And
sure.
But-
it's really crazy how quickly, if you think about it, like the Arkansas dudes have only really been a part of what we were doing for like a year.
No, I feel you.
They're
And
so
It's
strong.
crazy
They
how
feel
much
like-
home they are.
So much more like exactly like they're us, 100%.
Yeah, it feels
You know what I
weird.
mean?
It's
Or
the-
we're them, whatever the fuck you want to say it.
Is
you
it
know?
last year we were at Sturgis and then Justin and Scott, which at that time I don't think I really knew Scott.
Yeah.
No, that was
So
the
it was
first
like,
time we ever
I
met
knew,
Scott.
like, Justin
Last
rolled up, and I was
August.
like, "Oh, Justin!" I was like, "Oh, you got some fucking cronies with you?" Yeah, fuck off. Like,
Dude,
like
last
we hung out
August.
with a little bit, but it just wasn't like a. It wasn't like a. Oh, we're fucking getting together, dude. Now, I'd fight somebody for Scott. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
for
Like,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
But
it's
he's
on
like
a- such a
doubled
different
down,
level.
tripled down. Like he's
Yeah.
in it. Just
Yeah.
like we are, dude.
dude,
Just
yeah,
like we are.
he's- yeah, yeah.
100%.
It's clean, right?
Oh, dude, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, that's,
I like it.
It's the
let's
same
not
bite.
fucking all
just the
suck his
paint.
dick at once.
Nah.
It's all right. You gotta-
It's
hey, Scott, I
aight.
like you,
No,
but I
it's
want to
sharp.
bust your balls.
It's sharp.
Your fucking bike's cool.
I liked it better black.
Change those fucking foot pegs, homie. I'm joking, dude. I love everything about it. You know that.
Dude, it's a really nice bike, man. Like I actually wanted to take pictures of it while I was there, but I just
But Scott's as good as of a fucking friend
It was
as it.
109.
yeah, 100%, man.
He's done nothing but come out and support our stuff. He's been such a good, like I said, dude. Everybody doesn't have a fucking knack at putting shit out there, and
Scott does.
Scott's good.
He's
Scott's
the
good.
ambassador
He's
for
good. He's funny.
He is
He's
Arkansas,
a great
you
fucking
know?
guy, and like, dude, that guy has single-handedly raised his whole fucking state up as far as
I
like
agree.
their scene.
Scott's
and
kind
done-
of the voice of Arkansas
Like I
at
said,
this point.
Yeah.
You got Justin, you got Tony, you got dudes that are
Justin,
doing shit.
Tony
but
got
dude,
their
Scott's
shit
the one that's
going
pulled it
on.
all together and
Agreed.
actually going, "Hey, this is what the
Tony
fuck
said
we're
Scott
doing."
did blue to be like me. What the fuck does Tony have as blue?
He's just painting his Donna that he wrecked blue.
Oh yeah, nice try.
Did he paint it though?
I mean, he didn't paint.
He probably wrapped it like a cheap ass.
Tony got 9 black bikes.
Yeah,
He
it's
got
like
one
come on, dude. You got a
blue bike
sticker on the
somewhere?
side of every one of them.
Calm down.
You should get a paint sponsor, bro. Be famous or something.
Hey, big ups though to Tony.
dude.
Hook up on the ramp because
Oh, yeah.
I almost didn't make it home.
I feel bad as fuck though. Like I got to give Tony credit because the day of his party, like once I don't know. I think we all got there at the same time. Like we all did our thing. We did the chewies. We,
Pretty much.
you know, you had the belt problems on the way up there, and then we got there
That's the kind, dude. The
peak of
Chewy's
the
thing.
fucking the peak of the heat,
it
basically.
was like
Yeah.
99 fucking degrees.
so
in
hot,
Hawkins.
and
real hot. No
you know,
water
like-
in sight.
I mean, he had water and everything, but there was no water for us to cool off on. You know, like
Right,
jump in
that's
the
what I'm
pool.
talking about.
It was just, I don't know if it was like the trip
Next year
itself.
we all throw in and rent a big blow up pool.
Dog, no.
I think next year,
we
like,
have
I would
Rebels Den
rather-
party
I would
at
rather-
Best Western.
I would rather, I would
It was so
rather,
good.
like specifically go to his party for his party. Can't find it. I would rather go to his party and like it. Just the reason we're going there is for his party, not like the back end of something or something like that.
Yeah,
you know
it
what I mean?
just happened to work out.
If we
that
wouldn't
way.
have fucking cut it short and showed up on Friday, then probably a lot of people wouldn't have dipped out on Saturday. Just saying.
The reason
Wait,
I
who
think
dipped out on Saturday?
I did.
Just like I told
Wait, who dipped out on
Just-
Saturday?
I did.
Him, Jacob,
Who,
Chance.
who's him? Say his
Jace.
government name.
Jace.
Chase Hudson.
So this is why I feel bad, right? This is why I feel bad because
You fucked up and missed the pool party.
no, I don't. I feel bad because
It was
I
a
love
good
Tony.
time.
I love Tony. I love his brand. I love what he's doing.
I do
I
too.
Yeah.
think without what he's doing up there, like none of this stuff we're doing makes sense either, right? It's a regional thing, right?
It doesn't make sense in Arkansas, that's for sure.
And
He's a glue.
so with his parties going on, and I think that the heat was kind of annoying at a point,
it
and
was
I got to a
brutal.
point where someone said pool, and I was like, let's go now. And then there was like, let's
that's what I
wait
heard.
for this, let's wait for that.
We had to wait for the raffle because
Because
everybody with our group bought a lot of tickets.
I
So
heard,
it was
you,
like-
I heard you left about 7 minutes before we left.
probably.
You fucked up.
But I made it back to Dallas in like a great time and was in the pool and had a great night
Yeah.
with my wife. I got sex in Jaden's house.
Lucky me. My chick was busting my balls about coming home
sex in
early.
Arkansas.
And I was like, no, I'm good. I had some to drink. I think I'm going to stay here. I'll be home sometime tomorrow. And all of a sudden, Jay shows up at my place.
Awesome.
Fucks Britta in my place.
Awesome.
So my chick's got the whole like,
It didn't last
my
that long.
biological clock is over here ticking. Dude, yeah.
Yeah, we're sorry about that, Tony.
These motherfuckers should have
We didn't get to hang with you much, bro, man.
sorry,
There was
dog.
so much going on.
Dude,
Believe
but
me.
you know,
turn
like,
down the thermostat, and it
Yeah.
would have been a different scenario.
straight up though,
You know that.
I'm proud of that though. I'm proud of Tony, man. Like
No,
like
for
seeing
sure, dude.
seeing his shop, seeing the people there, seeing fucking
He had a lot of
Ben,
support, man.
Fucking
There was love.
the Tennessee homies, seeing Mark Matthews, seeing the Houston homies coming up.
sure.
Like,
Yeah,
dude,
for
I'm like,
sure.
fuck yeah, this is like everything. And I remember when this motherfucker decided to start riding his bikes, right?
calm down.
Right, ride them.
Golly.
Not like I'm gonna do a wheelie and clap for me. Like no, he fucking jumped on the bike and rode across country with us to the down south
wheelie
camp
and
out.
clap for me.
And now his life is forever better because of it. So you're welcome, motherfucker. And I'm proud of you at the same time.
I feel like
faggot.
that's the epitome of like the whole scene, like the
He's
changing
so-
of the guard, like
he's
it's
such a
eventually
dick.
coming to us where it's our scene. Dude, I feel like Tony's grabbed that by the fucking balls and said,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm doing something. I'm giving something.
But he is the guy in Arkansas. Like,
Yeah,
he
right.
is it. He's
Yeah,
running.
dude,
That's the thing.
like,
He's
that's
got the best shot.
I
the
say
fucking,
Tony,
Arkansas,
Tony
dude, the
and
southeast,
Justin.
like as far as like really what we do, and especially like Jay said, jumping on. I want to try. Like I want to expand this more than just a stunt tour, dude. It's like I said, this is our. At some point, it falls on us, and it's this thing only lives what we put into it. Dude,
His
Tony's
stunning-
taking the fucking torch and he's running with it.
his
in my
stunning is
opinion.
his business, right? That's where he makes his money. Just like
Yeah,
I make my money doing what I do.
absolutely.
But
Yep.
you could see he found a happiness in traveling on
did,
bikes
yeah.
with his boys.
It wasn't long ago.
Yeah.
It was barely over a calendar
And
year
Last
dude,
ago.
camp
how
out.
long have we known
Camp out.
of Tony? And then you
3.
see that
2.
he became a part of like this.
Well, it's smart business too because.
Oh yeah, it's a business thing for him.
Well, I'm just saying, there's most motherfuckers can't ride wheelies and do, you know what I mean? But you know what you can't sell them? Hey, fucking ride across the country, meet some good dudes that you're gonna like. Fucking ride across country. Anybody can ride across
he
country.
gets to sleep in
If you can
sprinter
fucking ride a
vans and
motorcycle,
shit,
you can ride
you know?
across country.
Let's be real, he ain't camping anywhere. He's fucking. He like knows everybody in America, so he shows up and gets fucking accommodations out the ass. I bet Steve probably hooked his ass up at the damn down south camp out with like a suite somewhere. Fucking.
Why
Did he
y'all
camp,
talking
or
so
did he
much
get a
shit about
cab?
I don't even remember where he slept.
Man,
If you got a cabin,
Nobody
it was
saw.
If you got a
so
cabin,
we
it was
all
a
had our
FEMA
shirts
trailer,
off
so
at
it wasn't a
the
true
down south
cabin.
camp out. I don't remember Tony being around with our shirts
he
off.
was just having grown men suck on his hair. That's all he does.
Yeah, he's doing drag shots.
You motherfuckers. That's really what happens when Tony comes through.
Dread shots.
Where are we at on this? All right, so we got 15 minutes. We gotta.
He said
Recap.
15 minutes. 15
All
minutes
right.
ago.
No, we got 15 minutes to talk about the rest of this trip, and we gotta wrap this up.
The rest of the trip is over.
So,
Basically.
so a little bit we left out was Larry when he.
Thoughts about the trip?
oh, gall.
So
Some people want to know, is there anything you change on your bike or you're traveling? Like,
Yeah,
Well-
I don't love Jason's ass at all, but that's what I drink.
goddamn right,
No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
whiny ass
I'll tell you
bitch.
I don't know. I don't know. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, but the only thing I'd change is I
No,
wouldn't
scroll
crack.
back up. What did it say exactly?
after this trip, is there anything that anyone would change about their bike or travel system?
Yeah, I wouldn't crash my bike a week before we went on the trip.
Yeah, you,
That's what I would change.
dude, I love my pack out. I started out carrying way too much shit, and now I just sport glide bags, and that's it for fucking 2 weeks.
you're lean as hell now, dude.
I don't need.
So
all
you
that
got
bullshit.
the backpack on the Farron.
I didn't have that on this trip. I just
Dude,
did
Cody-
Way too lean.
Cody
I
was
just did
fucking
bags.
saddlebags. Like Cody was most like
I don't know. I don't.
badass every time you
I
bounced
need,
it.
I
I
can
need
get-
more than that.
I
I
can
mean,
get-
I could do it, but I guess
But
I just
if we're
don't want
not camping, I can get 8 to 9 pairs of clothes in my fucking bags.
That's aggressive. But that's so you don't bring rain gear.
Nope.
You don't bring
Tools.
Nope.
tools.
Why would you, Larry?
You
Jacob
don't
have them?
bring. You bring what? 1 pair of shoes? 2 pairs of shoes this year? I
I
think?
brought one. That I usually
One
take
this
2,
year?
but I brought one this trip.
It's. I agree with you. Like, I would love to be more minimalistic, but at the same time, I already have the gear. I already have the setup to have a little bit
I
more.
don't-
So,
yeah, I don't
so
have
I
it,
just
no.
I just make it happen.
Right.
But yeah, no, lean is good. Lean is good, and at the
easy.
same time, this was as fancy of a trip as we've had. Essentially, right? We've never done a trip that's basically
All
full
hotels.
full hotels.
Right, right.
This was extra as fuck.
Yeah.
But
Everybody that came out of the Vassoff camp out. Thank you. I want to thank
it's
you.
it's just one of those things that like the vibe though. The only thing we essentially missed from this versus like a camp trip would have been campfires, right? But for the most part, we didn't spend any time not engaging with the people of the community or whatever. Very, very few evenings were we alone with just us. It was almost out of 14 nights, 13 nights, it was
Asheville?
call it 10. 10 of them were with people.
Yeah.
Shit, I'd
It's
say
pretty
more
fucking
than that.
close. Like,
I'd say more than that too, bro.
We probably got 10 minutes.
I
left.
remember
Y'all wanna talk
Asheville-
shit about it,
Well,
about something?
Asheville, we were
So what I
about.
want to do is I want to get everybody's thoughts on this.
Well,
trip.
no, not. I'm just saying.
I want to get everybody's thoughts on this trip, and then I want to camp like in this one, and I want to do like, let's just do Patreon. We're not drunk.
No.
I think this is probably the best we've ever
It's the
done.
best we've ever been.
Yeah.
hold on. Bring it back to like
Wow.
2 hours,
The
2
shit
hours
talking
and 50
episode?
minutes when these fucking
No,
queers
that was
went
just-
off
Hey.
on the whole goddamn world.
That's not drunk. That's like I felt that.
Let's just
Dude,
wrap up
I'm
our thoughts
playing.
on this
I'm
trip.
playing.
But I want to talk about Sturgis, and I think that'd be a great Patreon thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
So as far as
I'm
the
plugging
trip,
the mic.
and
Mic drop.
we put a lot of
it back on?
we put a lot out there as far as meeting up with people, people showing up, and people hosting us. And I don't know. I guess my final thought on that is just you can't thank those people enough. But at the same time, I don't feel like anybody. A few people we met on the road, but a lot of those there was some connection to something prior. Get the fuck out there. Like,
Yeah.
if you're thinking like, oh, these guys are so whatever, like, no, get the fuck out there and do something. And I promise you, your fucking doors will open for you, including mine. Because Troy, I know I owe you a message back, but you're coming down to Dallas this week. I think I saw you say, dude, come stay at my place. I got you. Yes, sir. About hotels in our area. Fuck it, dude. I live a mile from By Night. Come on. And it's like that for everybody. Come hang out. Come do your thing.
Yeah.
And dude, it's I don't know. You don't. It's not Instagram. It's hanging out. That would be my thing.
I think I want to say this trip, you know, in one way, it's been a very different one. Maybe one that I didn't expect to be what it is. I think my expectations on this trip was for more of what I've already experienced on the West Coast. And I wasn't really prepared for the amount of people that are on the Northeast, the amount of towns, the lack of space between things, the lack of open road. But equally so, as much as I didn't necessarily enjoy the riding, not because it wasn't amazing riding there, but because our schedule didn't allow for it.
Right.
The people made it something that we had never experienced on any of our trips before.
Yeah.
Right. And so for that, it's like it feels unfair to say that it was an amazing trip because it was, in the fact that it was something truly unique to itself. You know what I mean? With everybody from pretty much Chattanooga to the day we got home,
Tons of
we were hanging
hospitality.
out with homies. Even
Yeah.
if those homies are Craig, which he's everywhere. He's like fucking
Yeah.
HIV, I guess you'd say. He's everywhere. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
If that's the
No,
right
there's just
pronounce-
tons of
Craig the Hurt.
hospitality on
Yeah.
this trip, you know, and you know, like you said, it's way more congested going east, you know, north, northeast, anything east. The towns are closer together. It feels like in the big towns,
Way
the big
more
cities,
closer together.
and you go west, like you said, we've hit on it earlier. Shit, you might go 100 miles and not see nobody. Like it's fucking way very more vast.
You're hoping you got fucking 90 octane in this motherfucker.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
your only worry.
exactly.
You know.
I guess
I do want to go back. I do. I'm not saying I'll never want to do East again.
Oh no, I'd love to do it again.
But now that
I'd
we've
like to
done
do it
one,
differently.
I would do it differently. I would avoid certain things that maybe unfairly didn't appeal to me to where I'm like I'll be honest with you, I have no desire to go to Boston on a bike.
Hater.
I don't on a motorcycle. I don't care to. You know, I would love to do New York again, and I would probably more than
On a
anything
bike or just
on a
go?
bike. I would love to do New
But
York
can't
again.
fucking
We
ride
rode
in
so
New
much
York.
in New York.
No,
Is
not
that
saying New
why?
York, but there's so much. There's like New York directly north. You're in New Hampshire. You're doing all the shit we want to
I
do.
want to do it all again.
He gets his $300 toll tag bill.
Yeah.
Yeah, until I get that.
Thank you, New York.
No, I want to do it all again on bikes, but when I say that, it's with the people that we've met and stuff like. I want to do New York with Tim, like
That'd be good.
I remember talking to him, whatever. He was like, "Yeah, you guys can do this and this." Like, no, hey, dude, let's go. Fucking like, you show me New York,
Yeah.
and vice versa. And I want to do
That's
Boston
totally
with
different
Taylor and Brendan,
experience, you know?
and that kind of stuff. Like, I want to do stuff with the people that know it. Like,
I don't feel like a lot of people that ride bikes are Manhattanites, if that's the word.
Fuck,
You know
they're
what I mean?
outside of
They're
the city.
probably in Long Island or
Yeah.
We
maybe
didn't see a
upstate.
single bike in the city,
Yeah.
right? They're not in the city.
No.
So-
because you get your fucking ass run over.
But I mean, ultimately, like it was a great trip, man. It happened.
enjoyed it.
It was like it was something that it was a lot of we knocked off a lot of states on our map.
23.
You know what I mean? And for that, I'm fucking stoked about. And there's so many accomplishments there, but there's just like I said, it's a real love-hate relationship in my opinion
Fuck
with
yeah,
that
it
state,
is.
with that whole
It's rough.
trip.
It's rough.
I loved it. I hated it,
With
but
the-
I loved it.
I loved
So
it.
we crossed off a lot of states that I would have loved to spend a ton more time in.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
at the same time,
That can be
Yeah.
said about
You're a-
any place.
That's why
You-
it's unfair. It's
you're a big-
unfair to say that
you're
about.
because dude, I can't tell you that I fucking I rode New York. Like I was like no, dude, I rode New York, but it was mainly interstate. It is like that was the trade off for as much shit as we hit on this trip. In the amount of time that we had to do, that was the trade off. Is we're hitting a lot of interstate. Like we got lucky a couple times. We're able to hit some awesome non-interstate roads, and for that, dude, I will ever be grateful. And luckily, we got some really cool interstate along the way too.
Yeah.
Black Mountain. After that guy said that, I was looking through my phone.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh, dude, I remember." Like, I saw like videos of us go through
That's dope.
tunnels. And I was like,
Yeah.
"Dude, Black Mountain was awesome." Like, it is what it is. I don't know. It's I'm grateful for every fucking thing I did. The stuff that I would redo. It's small. It's like small. It's not like, oh, I've got regret on this. Like, that's fucking dumb, dude.
No.
Like,
Well, like for instance, like I enjoyed Virginia Beach and I enjoyed Raleigh and Greensboro, but if I was going to go to New York again, I'd probably go. I would probably skip those areas just for the
Well,
sake
you
of
have
getting.
to make time.
Yeah, to
I
make
go
time.
through the mountains the whole way.
Yeah.
but
yeah.
I probably
'Cause
won't
let's
ever
be
be
honest,
doing it
we
again
love
with
the mountains.
9
Yeah.
other of my buddies. Like,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah.
the difference. Like, if I do it again, yeah, dude, I'm not doing it the same trip we just did. It's a lot more of a
Oh yeah, for sure.
solo ride, that kind of thing. But dude, it was enough. I guess to get your beak wet. That's a good thing to say about it. But
That's the thing. I'll say that I
the
miss
relationships were worth every fucking mile on this trip.
Yeah.
I miss the fact that we didn't get as much opportunity to ride with just us. We fought traffic almost the entire trip, right? That always puts me in a different headspace when
Yeah.
it's just us on the bikes and there's
Yeah.
nobody around us. It really does put me in a almost transcendent headspace. I miss that on this trip.
And you can tell everybody's enjoying themselves at that
For
moment.
sure.
Everybody's laughing,
because you
looking
can
at each other. Like
you can
just
kind of get the
fucking-
guard down. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah, right.
So I miss that very much on this trip because I love that personally. But what I did love was the fight. We all fought together for 2 weeks. and then also not only did we fight with the men that like we travel with, but we added a couple guys that we've never traveled with really, and that's like you're joining the fight that these men will now be able to understand and experience themselves and say that they've done it the same way that we have, the same way that we glorify trips in the past. These men can now say they've done the same, and for that, I feel like it's a forever blessing, and it really is one of those things that I love you all, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. I really wouldn't.
It's a real if you've ever played football, like on any level, it's some real football player shit. Like, we did it, dude. Like,
camaraderie.
No matter what it is, like, we're a fucking team. Like, we did this. Like,
dude, Chance is still talking about this trip. Like, dude, he's fucking pumped.
Chance was always just your cousin.
Yeah.
Chance is now as much my brother as these guys.
Well, that's what I'm saying, man.
Did he show the Did he tell you that he showed the Renos and he fucking walked in? I was like,
and then BA
I
came
had
the
a
next
bike roll
week.
and I was like, all right, that's a decent. I thought it was you. Honestly, I was like, man, that sounds like a fucking. Turns out it was 131 or whatever, stage 4, and not a 131. Sorry, stage 4. Oh,
I'm stage 5, motherfucker.
But anyways, like I was like, oh fucking, that's somebody's here.
Yeah.
And then dude, he walked in. And it was just the most like, what are you doing?
Chance said he's the fastest one.
He is.
He probably is.
He is.
He's definitely
Especially now that Larry sold his bike.
Yeah.
And he said that he could beat.
Go to one of the
No, Larry's
cul-de-sacs.
definitely the
Now
fastest.
Larry's
now.
the fastest
Yeah,
one.
we got to run that Pan Am and
Larry
that
has a
131,
stock
baby.
Pan Am.
Young Sacks. Let's see the bottom of the comments. Hit
But,
that little blue. There you go.
So Chance is my cousin or whatever. We've done a lot of shit together growing up, a lot, and I was just super, super stoked that he decided to go on this trip, and we got to experience that together, man. Because it meant a lot to me, like him going. I'm glad he fucking decided to go, and like I said, now, dude, we're back home. Last night,
It's like over the moon.
he enjoyed it so much, and he loves all you guys. And he's like, man, that's a good fucking crew right there.
He brought such a good vibe to it too, because that's the
He
thing.
did.
Like we have traveled with some folks that it's not exactly the appropriate fit,
Right.
And let it be what it is. But he brought so much strength and
Excitement,
positivity
yeah,
and I love that.
Dude,
I
he just
respect
he's
the hell out of
he
it.
was down to party.
He said I-
multiple
so
nights,
down.
dude.
He said I got
it was
more
me and
fucking
Chance at
pictures
the
of
end.
Jaden on my phone than anybody. He said every time I turn around, Jaden's like fucking just like riding beside him, just back and forth.
Dude,
Woo!
so many, yeah.
Because Jake doesn't ride in line, goddammit.
Yeah.
This
No, but
motherfucker's
it's-
all over the
it's like,
place.
dude.
So many pictures I have a chance too, or it's just one of those things where I looked up and I was like, dude, we're together. Fuck yeah, bro. Like, I love him. I
Yeah,
love him.
It's fucking good. I'm glad we got to experience that together.
Absolutely.
It was a good
Beautiful
time.
thing.
And one thing I was gonna throw in there is like that second night we were in Boston. I can't remember who was all out there. I think you was out there, whatever. But Joe Kidd was talking, man. You know how Joe Kidd, he's inspirational or whatever, and he was just like, man, y'all are fucking killing it. And like he was pumping us up, to continue. Of course we're gonna continue to Maine, but like just keep going, man. Do what the fuck y'all are doing. Y'all are fucking living your best life. There's so many people that would kill to have this or be able to do this or whatever it was, And that shit got me pumped up that night. I mean, that gave me more energy that night too. Like the next day we was going to Maine, I was like, yeah, man, we're fucking doing this shit,
Who knows more guys than that dude?
Yeah.
And to see it on both sides of the coast, and for him to go, you fucking dudes out of Texas are like, he's on record for going, I want to move to Texas, and it's mainly because of this
The
group
Texas
of guys.
boys, yeah.
Because nothing feels more like family than what these dudes out.
Yeah.
California's always his home. He said that. That'll never change.
Right.
But he said nothing feels more like family than what these guys in Texas have going on.
Yeah.
And man, I don't know, fucking feathering your cap.
It
whatever
hits
you-
home, yeah.
Dude,
It's
yeah,
like
it makes you feel fucking proud.
Yeah, it makes you feel good.
And it's one of those things where, but I don't feel like we're doing anything different. Like, I feel like we're doing the same thing we were doing 3 years ago. And even then, I don't feel like we're doing anything to try to fucking gain that or to garner that. I feel like we're doing what we want to do.
What we
like
wanna
the
do.
shit that makes us happy. Like, this is why we're all badass friends, because we want to do that.
Right.
So the fact that someone like that recognizes it
Yeah.
and throws it, dude,
Yeah.
I think that like we have a.
Tell my chick, hey,
I think
fucking refer to Joe Kidd, bitch. Get off my ass.
I think that we've created a.
It's called the fast life. It's what we do.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Step up.
yeah.
It's
Walk out.
Well, it's not even step up.
My
Like I
mic
said,
drop.
there's so many. Like you don't have to have 9 dudes to do what we do.
No.
If it's you and one other buddy, you and 2 other buddies, again, take what you can from what we've told you. Hey, talk about it. You know what I mean? Depending on the trip, you may be able to freestyle. If it's you and 2 other dudes, you can freestyle the whole fucking thing because you can split a hotel, 1 hotel every night.
Right.
You got 6 dudes, 7 dudes. Guess what? Y'all need to have a fucking plan.
It's
You need to
tough.
sit down, set a budget, get everything. Because guess what? You're doing 2 hotels every night, and it depends on the kind of trip you're doing. But the bottom line is, if this is inspiring you, talk about it. Do something about it. Fucking make it happen. Because I'm telling you, you don't get this shit back. And bike nights are fucking rad. And your regional events, once quarterly, whatever, a year, those are fucking rad too. You got to show up to those. I look at that as kind of like non sequiturs. Like, those are the prerequisites. You got to do those. And if you fucking do those and you're not a fucking cocksucker and you hang out and people like you, then guess what? That's where you fucking build the relationships to do shit like this. And that's the shit that you cannot fucking buy.
Right.
You can buy your way in just about anything else, but you can't buy your way into a trip with a handful of dudes with the same fucking, like, it just, if
can't-
you're,
yeah,
if you're a
you can't
fucking
do that.
dickhead, it's the cream is going to rise to the top.
Right.
It is what it is. You have to fucking swallow your pride a little bit, be a fucking part of
drank your
something
water?
that's bigger than you, and have a
Jay's
good
water?
fucking time.
Exactly, man.
I'll just say
It's
thank you.
nothing true. Yeah. I mean,
All this is really big thanks to all the
Again,
dudes
yeah.
that
It's-
put in the same work and the same effort.
it's
because
thank you for your effort. Thank you for your effort. Thank you for your effort. It's fucking. When you're having the worst day, when you're sweating your ass off, when you're fucking miserable, when you're fucking hangry, you're pissed off, you just look at your buddy over there and be like, "Fuck it, man. We're on the road. We're on vacation. Let's have a good time."
You realize you got 2,
They get-
3,
everybody gets
8
there, you know?
buddies that would spill fucking blood for you right
Oh,
now if
they're-
they had to.
People would fucking kill. Yes.
But hey, you know what? Let's be honest. Most of y'all aren't going to get to this. If you want to be the goddamn honest truth, most of y'all won't get to what we're at. But dude, don't fucking stop for fucking trying. Honestly, I swear to God, if it's fucking you and 2 other guys in your fucking area, you won't fucking regret it.
No.
You will not. You don't compare yourself to the shit. Don't think you got to have 9 fucking dudes and some epic fucking.
just move
no.
to Texas like Steve did.
Just fucking.
You moved to the
Just
wrong city
fucking
though, bro.
Yeah, he moved a good opportunity.
Yeah.
You did.
Well,
No.
we need to wrap this one up, man.
Let's wrap it up. Let's give a shout out to Kyle, Trent, Larry, Jacob, Chance, all of the homies on the
All
trip.
All these
fucking
motherfuckers
dudes on
around the table.
Fucking love all y'all, man. Love all
Yeah,
y'all.
thank you
for
guys.
Adam, Lauren, was it 4 Munchkins?
For
Mun- yeah.
Munchkin's
Okay.
mama.
Oh, you're gonna list all the people on the
Adam-
trip?
Well, I'm just, well,
Okay,
those,
one, two,
I'm,
three,
trying,
go.
I'm trying to think of the host, the people that actually put us up.
Mark.
I don't know if we
Lexin,
actually got them to. Yeah, we got Heather and Mark from Lexin.
homie
And then
himself.
Homie, oh my God, homie. If you don't follow Brian, at homie himself, you're fucking up, dude. That fucking guy. And hey, them motherfucker ain't slowing down, baby. He's only got more shit coming out. So you're shortchanging yourself.
Okay,
you're not following
Jeremy.
him.
Okay,
Brooke.
Jeremy.
And Brooke.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Lauren
all
and
y'all.
Adam. Who else put us up?
Lauren and Adam. Oh.
Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Jeremy and
That's it.
Paige.
That's it.
Or is it Paige? No.
Justin and Rachel.
Justin and
Yeah,
Rachel. I
thank
always want
y'all.
to call her Paige.
Yep.
Justin and Rachel. Dude,
Awesome
Justin
time.
and Rachel. Oh my God. I use their own personal shower. In fact, I think I use some of Rachel's personal like marijuana lotion. It was like CBD, but I was sunburned as fuck. It had a big weed plant on it. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I made sure to use whatever bar of soap they had in there on my nuts.
well, I didn't jerk off with the lotion. or
How
nothing. I'm just
fucking
saying I use it
dare
on my
you, bro.
arms after the shower.
All right. Love y'all.
Love y'all.